Longhua. A black Volkswagen was speeding along the road from Quanshui City toward Modu Jiaotong University. During the 200-kilometer journey, Tang Luochuan had the impulse to jump out of the car countless times. Yet when he glanced at his father in the driver's seat and his mother in the back, he forcibly suppressed the thought. System, can I really not be honest with my parents? Tang Luochuan asked silently in his mind. System notification: the host is not permitted to reveal the existence of this system to anyone. Otherwise, the system will become invalid. The purpose of this system is to allow the host to live a shamelessly carefree and joyful life. A basic daily living allowance of 100 million yuan has already been transferred into your bank card through entirely legal means. Please check your account. This system has no missions and no designated strategy targets. The host may act entirely according to his own wishes with a stable daily income of 100 million yuan. However, if the host voluntarily pursues targets with a beauty rating above 9 out of 10, the system will grant one special reward. For example, an ultimate AI system, bodily enhancement, unlimited energy, top-tier personal charisma, and so on. Tang Luochuan did not respond. He simply sat in the front passenger seat, clutching the handle in a death grip. At this speed, if he jumped out, wouldn't he just end up a corpse? Yet now that he had money, he did not want to go to university, did not want to do military training. He wanted freedom. Luochuan, you've never seen how bustling Modu is, have you? Make sure you enjoy your university life, his father Tang Hai said, assuming his son was stunned by the splendor of Modu. He had no idea that the boy's mind was filled only with thoughts of escape. His mother Zhu Xiaomei sat in the back and patted her son's shoulder. Luochuan, study hard. Don't slack off just because you've entered university. Learn some real skills so you can find a good job in the future. And by the way, she paused to ponder for a moment. By the way, bring me back a daughter-in-law. The more you bring back, the better. That won't be a problem, Tang Luochuan replied casually. With 100 million arriving in his account every day, how could there possibly be a shortage of women? Zhu Xiaomei had not heard him clearly. Tang Luochuan hurriedly corrected himself. Oh, I said I'll study hard. Study my ass, he cursed inwardly. I get 100 million every day. After graduation, I'm supposed to work for someone else. Am I insane? Start a business. Am I insane? Even a dog wouldn't dare. He tightened his grip on his newly bought 4,000 yuan phone, wanting to transfer some money to his parents, yet not knowing how to bring it up. He could only wait for some time to pass, then lie that he had won the lottery or made a small windfall by chance, and slowly give the money to his parents. Soon the car arrived at the gate of Modu Jiaotong University. His parents helped him settle into the dormitory, and after the three of them strolled around the campus for a while, the older couple prepared to leave. Before departing, Zhu Xiaomei pulled Tang Luochuan aside. Son, is 2,000 a month enough? If it's not enough, I'll give you more. You must eat well and rest well. It's enough, Mom. If it's not enough, just tell me, and I'll transfer more to you. She set her eyes full of reluctance, yet she did not dare linger. She was afraid her son would not bear to part from them, for this was the first time he had gone so far away from home. But Tang Luochuan felt no reluctance at all. For him, this university was something he could attend or not. When the time was right, he would bring his parents over and settle them nearby. After waving goodbye to his parents, Tang Luochuan found the teaching building of the School of Information Engineering and began searching for his class. Digital Media Technology. Classmate. A clear, bright call sounded in his ears, and Tang Luochuan instinctively turned around. A girl walked toward him wearing a blue baseball cap. Her long black hair was coiled up neatly beneath the brim, giving her a crisp, tidy look. Her face was lightly made up, highlighting a clean and pleasant complexion. She wore a white cropped t-shirt on top and fitted athletic pants on the bottom, her whole person looking fresh and striking. Are you a freshman? The girl asked. Tang Luochuan's gaze lingered on her face for a moment. She gave off a very refreshing feeling, and as for her looks, they were without question exceedingly rare. Yes. Hello, Tang Luochuan replied calmly. When the girl smiled, her eyes curved like crescent moons radiating warmth. Hello, I'm a sophomore here. My name is Shen Mayan. Which major are you in? Digital Media Technology, Tang Luochuan answered honestly. Oh, so you're my junior in the same major. A hint of delight flashed across Shen Mayan's face. I'm helping with freshman reception right now. You can't find your classroom, right? I'll take you there. All right, Tang Luochuan said. His heart remained calm. His mind was still preoccupied with how he might withdraw from school. Compared to the shock of seeing another 100 million added to his account, the appearance of a beautiful girl was hardly enough to move him. Guiding him upstairs, Shen Mayan said, all the first-year students in our major are on the second floor, and our teaching building has a particular advantage. What advantage? We're close to the cafeteria. Shen Mayan was indeed outgoing, but it wasn't because she had any special feelings for Tang Luochuan. Her personality was simply like this, equally friendly to everyone. Heh. Not funny, huh? Heh. Shen Mayan walked ahead, chattering as she went. Tang Luochuan inadvertently raised his head and caught sight of the faint outline of two rounded curves beneath her athletic pants. His gaze followed the little perky sway of her hips moving back and forth with each step she took. Junior, where's your hometown? Shin Mayan suddenly turned back to ask. Tang Luochuan hurriedly pulled his gaze away. Oh, where am I from again? Oh, Quanshui City. The image just now lingered stubbornly in his mind, making him forget his own hometown for a moment. After just a few more steps, they arrived at the digital media technology classroom. The room was completely empty. At this time of day, everyone is either eating or in their dorms. Just remember which seat is yours. You probably won't have anything this afternoon. Tonight there's the first class meeting. Don't forget to come. Although Shin Mayan was an upperclassman, every frown and smile of hers carried a girlish liveliness like a little sister with a hint of playful charm. Oh, okay, senior sister, Tang Luochuan said, sweeping his gaze around and memorizing his seat. The girl couldn't help but steal a few more glances at this delicate-looking junior. The corners of her lips curled into a constant smile. All right, I'll leave you here. I still have to go welcome other freshmen. Okay, goodbye, senior sister. With that, the two parted ways. Since it was just about lunchtime, Tang Luochuan did not intend to linger idly. He had no intention of eating in the school cafeteria. For 3 years of high school, he had fought like a dog. Now that he was finally free and had money as well, he naturally needed to enjoy himself properly. At the school gate, Tang Luochuan hailed a taxi. Where to, young man? The driver asked. To the BMW 4S dealership. Huh. Oh, the driver clearly hadn't expected that answer, as students rarely headed to such places. As the car started, the driver made small talk now and then. So what are you going there for? Looking for someone. To buy a car, Tang Luochuan replied. The driver's mouth twitched. He had no idea how to respond. A student. Going to buy a car. It might not be earth-shattering, but it was certainly rare. And he was even heading to a BMW dealership. Sitting in the front passenger seat, Tang Luochuan unlocked his phone to check his balance. 600 yuan. 100 million plus the 600 yuan in living expenses his parents had given him. In truth, Tang Luochuan's family was doing reasonably well. Not exactly wealthy, but far from poor. Tang Hai and Zhu Xiaomei were workers in a state-owned enterprise. The work was tiring, but the jobs were stable. Little brother, we're here. This is the nearest BMW 4S dealership. What kind of car are you planning to buy? The taxi had already pulled up at the entrance. Tang Luochuan scanned the code and glanced at the fare, barely the 12 yuan base price. An X7. I quite like it. Oh, the driver responded, then chuckled. You've got ambitions. Not bad. It was hard to tell whether the remark was praise or mockery, but it was laced with disbelief. I'm heading in, master. Waving the payment screen in his hand, Tang Luochuan opened the door and strode quickly into the 4S dealership. After confirming the payment had arrived, the driver opened his rideshare app's driver group chat, pressed the voice button, and said, Laozhang Lao Lu, do you know what kind of passenger I just picked up? A university student going to a 4S shop to buy a BMW X7. With a whoosh, the voice message was sent. Not long after, Lao Zhang's reply came through. Nonsense. Is he really a student or a teacher or some kind of family member? Get it straight. A student buying that thing. Lao Lu chimed in, there are some rich young masters around. Don't be so skeptical. The three of them chatted on and off. Glancing at his rideshare app, the driver sighed. Business is really tough these days. Near noon, the taxi was parked beside the 4S dealership. The driver got out and walked to a nearby stall. Boss, 1 bowl of sesame cold noodles. Got it. Inside the 4S shop, a female sales consultant watched as Tang Luochuan signed his name stroke by stroke. She could not figure it out. The young fellow in front of her looked every bit a student, yet he was spending 1 million yuan on a car. And that wasn't even the most shocking part. What truly astonished her was that in all her years in the business, she had never seen a client who didn't haggle or hesitate in the slightest. The very first thing he said upon entering was that he wanted a black X7. His second sentence was, I'll pay the full amount by card. His third, I still have a meeting tonight, so please spare me the explanations. Hearing the word meeting, she felt she must have misunderstood. Perhaps he was actually a young-looking CEO, not a student at all. Yet when she casually asked what meeting it was, the boy replied, a freshman class meeting. You must be very good at your studies then. Huh, she managed awkwardly. A few minutes later, she said, Sir, you don't need to sign so slowly, stroke by stroke. Watching his pen move, her scalp tingled. His handwriting was beautiful, but he was far too earnest. Tang Luochuan looked a bit embarrassed. Sorry, I just graduated from high school. Our teachers insisted we write properly. After signing his name several times and completing the payment, the saleswoman's eyes shone. Earning this commission was almost too easy. If only more customers like him would walk through the door. Meanwhile, Tang Luochuan at last received his own car key, as well as that matte black BMW X7. Driving out of the dealership, he felt his stomach growl with hunger. Not far down the road, he pulled up beside a small stall. Boss, a bowl of jjiang noodles. Tang Luochuan casually found a seat and sat down. Directly opposite him, the same driver from before stared at him dumbfounded. Little brother, you really picked up the car? Tang Luochuan paused, surprised. You're eating here too. Why wouldn't I pick it up? Oh right, master. Is the nearest Porsche dealership far from here? A wave of sour, indescribable emotion surged in the driver's chest, leaving him utterly shaken. Just go out, then turn right at the end of this street. That entire afternoon, Tang Luochuan ordered a purple Porsche Taycan and a black Panamera. Then he went to the Lamborghini showroom and put down a deposit on a flamboyantly multicolored Aventador. Unfortunately, none of these cars were in stock. He would have to wait a few days. Afterwards, he bought some clothes and picked up the latest threefold smartphone. By dusk, the X7 rolled slowly onto campus, attracting little attention. In the magic capital of moda, luxury cars were everywhere. A single X7 was nothing remarkable. Only when the car stopped near the cafeteria did things change. Through the window, Tang Luochuan spotted senior sister Shin Mayan, whom he had met at noon, playing badminton with classmates on an open patch of ground nearby. He stepped out of the car, still wearing the same plain outfit from earlier that day. Hello, senior sister. He had not meant to show off the car. He was simply hungry and had come for a meal. Huh. Hearing him, Shin Mayan turned her head just in time to see him stepping down from the car. Luxury car, handsome guy, junior student. 3 words flashed through her mind. Mayan. A classmate shouted. Shin Mayan had already lost focus. The shuttlecock, perfectly timed, fell right onto his head. Oh no. Startled, Shin Mayan flushed for reasons she could not explain. Hello, junior. Your name is Tang Luochuan, isn't it? That's right. I'm going to grab some food first. He offered her a brief greeting and a faint smile before heading off. Shin Mayan's gaze drifted back and forth between the car and his departing figure, an indescribable feeling stirring in her heart. Mayan, who was that? Several female classmates quickly gathered around. Who wouldn't want to ask about a handsome guy? Oh, a new junior who enrolled today. Tang Luochuan, Shin Mayan replied. A BMW X7. His family must be pretty well off. Wow, driving to school. That's rare. Definitely top-tier boyfriend material. Hey, what kind of girls do you think he likes? These first-year chicks always rush into relationships. So, what do you say, should we give it a try? The girls chirped away. Shin Mayan remained silent. It wasn't as if she lacked suitors on campus. With looks like a fairy's, her standards had naturally risen. Besides, she could easily tell the difference between having a bit of money and truly being rich. Moreover, finding a boyfriend was genuinely difficult for her. It wasn't that she didn't want one. Rather, the school had formed a sort of protective circle around her. Every boy who had pursued her had quietly marked her as his own property in his heart. Whenever a new boy dared to approach her or show goodwill, this group would quickly band together, targeting him, warning him openly and in secret, and pressuring him to stay away. They all knew perfectly well they could never truly have her, yet they insisted on lingering as friends, clinging shamelessly. In private, they kept declaring their ownership in all sorts of ways. They all shared one trait, each had a bit of money. So everyone kept to their own lanes and indulged quietly in their fantasies. Mayan, just as she had this thought, a voice she found particularly repulsive sounded behind her. The so-called talent of the finance department, Zhou Ziyu, appeared. That title of talent was nauseating, and no normal person would crown someone else with that. Many of the rumors said he had proclaimed himself a talent, even arranging for a few friends to put on a show and brag about him in front of others. All the while he had to pretend to be modest. Haven't eaten yet. Want to grab something together? Zhou Ziyu strode up carrying a large bag of snacks and held it out to Shin Mayan. Bought these for you. Hope you don't mind. Shin Mayan gave it a quick glance. That bag of snacks would add up to 300 or 400 yuan. No small sum for students like them. No need. Having learned her lesson, Shin Mayan refused. When she had first enrolled the year before, Zhou Ziyu had also given her snacks. Back then it had only been a small pack of crispy noodles worth a single yuan. She hadn't thought much of it, assuming he simply wanted to make friends. Yet somehow that one snack had turned her into his girlfriend, at least in his stories. Rumors spread everywhere that Shin Mayan's boyfriend showered her with snacks, that they were so sweet together. Worse still, after she learned her lesson and refused to accept snacks from anyone else, Zhou Ziyu shamelessly declared, "See, she only takes what I give her." When in truth it had only happened that one time. Looking at Shun Mu Yan's cold demeanor, Zhou Ziyu could no longer contain her impatience. After a year the other party remained the same. It was only because Shun Mu Yan had a good temper that she hadn't scolded her directly. She had clearly rejected him many times in private, but with such divine looks he was worth the effort. However, this did not stop Zhou Ziyu from dating. She occasionally dated girls, but in his eyes they were nothing compared to Shin Mu Yan. Mu Yan, don't be like this. I broke up with Zhang Ting, don't be mad at me. Shin Mu Yan nearly cursed upon hearing this. What does it matter to me whether you dated Zhang Ting or not? I'm not mad at you, but we aren't even friends. I don't want to know you, okay? Her voice was soft, not wanting to attract others' attention. But with the school's #1 goddess present, how could past students not glance over a couple more times? The nearby X7 was hardly appealing. Who knew which parent drove over to drop off their child? But Tang Luochuan cared. The goddess wasn't his, but the car was. Suddenly he dashed out again. Senior. That. He glanced at Zhou Ziyu, whose face was pale with anger, then turned his gaze back to Shen Muyin. Sorry, senior. Shen Muyin gave a sweet smile. What's wrong? She herself did not realize that she usually wouldn't use such expressions toward a boy she just met. The school cafeteria requires a meal card, and I seem to not have one. She had been too focused on buying a car, forgetting about the meal card. The cafeteria only had a few special windows for QR code payments, and they were all for food she didn't like. Oh, the cafeteria office. It's probably closed at this hour. You'll have to go tomorrow morning. Shen Muyin pulled out her meal card. Let's go, it's my treat. Off. Tang Luochuan felt a bit embarrassed. Is that all right? Shouldn't I? Find a classmate. Oh no, I don't know anyone. Today was the first day of school. He had been to the dormitory first, then looked at the classroom door. Not a single classmate was seen, as others were busy getting to know each other in the afternoon. He had only gone out to buy a car. Oh, it's fine, handsome guy, the sisters will treat you. A female classmate of Shen Muyin shouted, fearing Zhou Ziyu wouldn't hear. However, Zhou Ziyu maintained a faint smile. No need to go through so much trouble, I'll treat the junior. Hee, hello, senior. Tang Luochuan finally looked Zhou Ziyu in the eye, feeling quite displeased with her insincere smile. He continued, since Senior Shen is treating me, I won't trouble you anymore. I want to be treated by the senior, I'm familiar with her. Zhou Ziyu's smile instantly stiffened, as if someone had thrown a cup of ice water in her face, forgetting how to retract the corners of her mouth. Familiar. He repeated this word in his mind. Was this kid new here? How could he be familiar? Shen Muyin was not the type of girl you could easily flirt with. This woman indeed maintained an openness towards strangers along with just the right distance. It easily led to misunderstandings, especially since boys often overthink when faced with such a girl's enthusiasm. But Shen Muyin didn't think too much, as she only found this junior's directness somewhat cute. She shook her meal card. Let's go, if we dawdle, all the good food in the cafeteria will be gone. Got it. Tang Luochuan waved to Zhou Ziyu goodbye, senior. His tone and demeanor were as if he were bidding farewell to a gatekeeper. Zhou Ziyu clenched the bag of snacks, her gaze locked on Tang Luochuan with a hint of resentment in her heart. Just a hint, as she had seen many boys like him. Did he really think he could pursue Shen Muyin? It still depended on one's abilities. In the cafeteria, Shen Muyin somewhat regretted inviting him to dinner. This kid ordered something too expensive, everything was pricey. He ordered a lot totaling 260 yuan. The table was filled where kids from wealthy families really like this. Junior, can you finish all this? A girl asked. Tang Luochuan gestured for everyone to sit down. I'll treat you. I'll transfer money to the senior later. This meal is on me. Everyone was taken aback by his words. Shen Muyin softly said no. She wanted to refuse, but with over 200 yuan, her monthly living expenses were only about 2,000. She still had to save a bit for when she had time to buy clothes or go out shopping. Then. Okay. Shen Muyin silently opened her phone, looking quite unnatural. I'll add you as a friend. Tang Luochuan took out his newly bought folding phone and opened WeChat. Wow. A folding phone, your family must be doing well. A nearby girl teased. Tang Luochuan didn't mind, already taking a bite of the bun while his other hand gripped the chopsticks. It's fine. After they added each other on WeChat, Tang Luochuan directly transferred 300 over. That's a bit too much. It's fine, just take it. Consider it my thanks. Tang Luochuan didn't even look at Shen Muyin, focusing on his meal. It had been a long day. He traveled from his hometown, had a light lunch, and spent the afternoon buying a car, clothes, shoes, and even a phone. The kid was hungry. So delicious. Tang Luochuan gorged himself and called out to everyone, sisters, don't be shy. A senior girl frowned, glancing at Shen Muyin, then shook her head. She had wanted to tease him several times, wondering if he liked Shen Muyin. But this guy's attitude was completely genuine. He looked really hungry, and it was true, he didn't have a meal card. Generally speaking, to treat Shen Muyin to a meal, to pursue her, one would have to say something nice. Communicate emotions, and not to mention savoring slowly, at the very least pretend to be a gentleman. But now Tang Luochuan had already finished one bun and was lifting another bowl of rice, shoveling it down. He couldn't care less about chatting. At most he would say, wow, this is so good. After finally being full, the group sat for a while. Tang Luochuan wiped his mouth and said, senior. The senior girl immediately signaled Shen Muyin, here it comes. He's going to flirt. Shen Muyin felt a bit nervous, afraid he might directly ask, can you be my girlfriend? Such a direct approach was unacceptable to her, but the boy in front of her did indeed pique her interest. What is it? Is there any way to avoid military training? Off. Shen Muyin felt her ears were malfunctioning. Oh, why was he asking this? Ha! A nearby girl couldn't help but laugh. Shen Muyin thought for a moment and blinked. You don't want military training? It's too tiring. Ew, I can't endure even a little hardship. Looking at the other person's silly expression, Shen Muyin felt her heart melt. When is a boy most attractive? That is when he is serious, showing no pretense at all. At this moment, Tang Luochuan's expression was just like that, earnestly waiting for the other person's reply. Unless you have a serious illness, I can approve a leave. But you have to find a teacher, Shin Yin replied. Her eyes couldn't help but scan him. Tang Luo Chuan frowned, remaining silent. Seeing him like this, Shin Yin was shocked. You really don't want to participate, huh? What else? I thought you were joking. Stop thinking about it. Participate in the class meeting later. As your senior sister in the second year, I'm also from the student council. The lead you also know being late. Shin Yin said playfully, also puzzled as to why interacting with this boy felt so easy. Boom. Suddenly, a loud bang came from outside the cafeteria. A flash of lightning streaked across the sky. Everyone shuddered at the thunder. It had been clear all day, and now who knew such a storm would hit at night? What the heck? Tang Luo Chuan jumped up suddenly, his eyes wide open. Heaven is helping me. Shin Yin was startled by his reaction. Why are you so startled? Tang Luo Chuan had already pulled out his phone, his fingers sliding quickly as he muttered, Let me see. Let me see. The next 10 days? Thunderstorm. Localized heavy rain. His voice grew more excited, finally bursting into laughter. Ha! The heavens want to spare us from military training. It's not my fault. Are you crazy? A senior girl next to him couldn't help but retort. Why are you happy about the rain? Tang Luo Chuan put away his phone, looking mysterious. What you don't know, senior, is that this transportation university in the Magic City has a fine tradition of suspending training on rainy days. Huh? Shin Yin was taken aback. Is that so? It must be. Tang Luo Chuan said seriously. I just bided at a last year's freshman military training was suspended for 3 days because it rained for 3 days. Shin Yin. Oh right, I forgot. And Tang Luo Chuan lowered his voice, speaking mysteriously. Did you not notice? The school's playground has a terrible drainage system. As soon as it rains, water collects. It's like a swimming pool. Several girls exchanged glances. It seems. That is indeed the case, one senior girl hesitantly said. So, Tang Luo Chuan slapped the table, making the chopsticks jump. If it rains for 10 straight days, I can just lay back for 10 days. Shin Yin looked at him in both amusement and annoyance. Do you really want to avoid military training that badly? Senior, do you know how comfortable it is to lay down every day, eh? Ano, do you know how meaningful it is to lie down and think about life every day? Did you just say a billion? Shin Yin narrowed her eyes. You heard wrong. It was meaning the meaning of life. Outside, thunder rumbled and raindrops began to patter down. Tang Luo Chuan looked out at the curtain of rain, a wild smile appearing on his face. This rain is really damn well timed. As a few prepared to leave, a cold wind rushed in as the cafeteria door opened. Brr, it's a bit cold. Shin Yin couldn't help but shiver, as she was still wearing that white short-sleeved shirt from earlier. Tang Luo Chuan noticed and quickly said, Wait. He hurried a few steps, pressed the car key, and directly took out a newly bought piece of clothing from the trunk. A men's recycled nylon short jacket bought from Prada, costing 21800 yuan. Here, take this. Put it on. I haven't worn it yet. Tang Luo Chuan had an excellent sense of timing, which was lucky for him, since he had new clothes. Looking at the tag, Shin Yin was stunned for a moment, then shook her head. No need. You haven't worn it. How can I? It's fine, just wear it. Or do you want to go back to the dorm to get something? The girls' dorm is not closed. Thinking for a moment, Shin Yin also considered that this was new clothing and no longer had any misgivings about gender propriety. Thank you, will return it after wearing it. You're welcome. As mentioned earlier, the cafeteria is very close to the teaching building, and they didn't even need to drive. They quickly arrived after walking a few steps. In the second-floor classroom, quite a few people were already seated. The moment Tang Luo Chuan walked in, several girls looked up and couldn't help but glance at him a few more times. However, there weren't many familiar faces in the class, so he planned to find a corner to sit down first. Hey buddy, you're from dorm 502, right? A boy suddenly whispered. Tang Luo Chuan was slightly taken aback, then smiled. I'm Tang Luo Chuan, are you from 502 too? Yeah, the boy nodded. I'm Zhou Qi. How did you know I was from 502? Tang Luo Chuan naturally sat next to him. Zhou Qi smiled slightly. I know all the boys in the class except for you. There's one bed in the dorm that's occupied by someone else, but I couldn't find that person all afternoon, and it turned out to be you. Tang Luo Chuan gave a thumbs up. How many people are in your dorm? There's me, we're 3. Zhangming, a boy behind him wearing glasses, patted his shoulder. Nice to meet you. Tang Luo Chuan also showed his friendly side, and the 3 boys quickly hit it off. Have you found a girlfriend yet? Zhou Qi suddenly asked. Tang Luo Chuan was a beat slow to react, thinking he meant if he had a high school sweetheart, and shook his head. I had a girlfriend in high school, but we broke up. Tisk, I meant do you have one now since you've come to university? Huh, we just arrived for a day. So what? Have you found one yet? So soon. I just got one. Do you want me to ask my girlfriend to introduce you to other girls? Tang Luo Chuan gasped. He hadn't been idle all afternoon, and neither had his roommates. Not for now, I'll look around. Just as he finished speaking, Zhang Ming suddenly lowered his head and whispered, She's coming. She's coming. That girl Zhang Jinyu. Tang Luochuan felt that Zhang Ming seemed shy and followed his gaze. At the classroom door, a figure stood against the light. The curtain of rain outside became her backdrop. Jiang Jinyu. She wore an extremely simple black outfit, a high-neck thin shirt that accentuated her long neck like a crane. Her wide-leg pants revealed a fair ankle stepping into clean white canvas shoes. No jewelry, no makeup, yet she looked like someone who walked out of an ink painting. The moment she walked in, everyone couldn't help but look at her. The girl's eyes carried envy while the boy's eyes were filled with anticipation. But Jiang Jinyu gave off a very cold vibe. She had no friends around her, just by herself. The tips of her hair were slightly dampened by the rain, making her seem even more distant. No one dared to approach her. Damn, she's so beautiful. Zhou Qi couldn't help but mutter, compared to the one I just found, she's simply crushing. Tang Luochuan laughed upon hearing this. Then why don't you chat with her? Buddy, look at someone like her. Is that someone we can flirt with? Zhang Ming's voice suddenly dropped even lower. She's coming over, she's coming over. Tang Luochuan was quite open about looking at the girl, his eyes more filled with confusion. Oh, why does this woman act so pretentious? The front row had 2 empty seats, and the girl didn't even glance at anyone. She simply walked over quietly, dropped her bag, and sat down. Throughout, she never raised her eyes, as if the dozens of people sitting in this classroom had nothing to do with her. After Jiang Jinyu sat down, the classroom fell silent for a few seconds. Zhang Ming nudged Tang Luochuan, who leaned in, and asked, "What? Why don't you give it a try?" Zhang Ming raised an eyebrow, signaling Tang Luochuan to strike up a conversation with Jiang Jinyu. "Why don't you try? I'm not good-looking enough. Do you think I could possibly win her over?" Zhang Ming smiled sincerely. Indeed, Jiang Jinyu had an air of coldness about her. Compared to her, Shun Muya's warmth was like the sun, while Jiang Jinyu resembled the moon. Tang Luochuan shook his head, having no interest in Jiang Jinyu. There were plenty of women around, and Shun Muya was quite appealing. At least she looked easy to talk to. He was wealthy, but he didn't want to be a wealthy sycophant. "Hello, everyone." A clear voice rang from the door as Shun Muya walked into the classroom, holding a stack of materials and wearing a Prada jacket. She scanned the room and paused for half a second on Tang Luochuan. "I am Shin Muya, a sophomore, and also a member of the cultural department of the student council. He'll be hosting tonight's class meeting." She placed the materials on the podium and clapped her hands. "First, welcome everyone to the digital media technology major. Our male-to-female ratio is quite balanced with 28 boys and 26 girls. There are plenty of opportunities to find a partner." A burst of laughter erupted from the audience. "Next, let's have everyone introduce themselves, starting from the first row." The first boy to stand up stuttered nervously, clearly anxious. Tang Luochuan wasn't paying much attention. He was searching for the most expensive restaurant in Magic City on his phone, thinking he might give it a try if it continued to rain tomorrow. "It's your turn." Zhou Qi nudged him. Tang Luochuan looked up and found all eyes in the class focused on him. Even Jiang Jinyu in front of him turned around to look at him calmly. Of course, everyone's gaze was not only on his face, but also on his new foldable phone. My name is Tang Luochuan from Quanshui City. What are your hobbies?" Shin Muya asked with a smile. Tang Luochuan thought for a moment, realizing he didn't have anything particularly special, and casually said, "I like playing ball." "Actually, I don't really like it. I just do it to pass the time when I'm bored." It was a very ordinary answer. Then others continued with their introductions. A boy in a trendy t-shirt stood up, wearing a seemingly expensive watch, deliberately flaunting it while speaking. "I'm Chun, how a local of my family runs a small business. I usually enjoy playing golf, but I'm quite familiar with the course next to our school. If you have time, I can take everyone to check it out." After he finished, he cast a seemingly casual glance at Jiang Jinyu. Jiang Jinyu was looking down at her notebook, her pen lightly gliding over the paper, not even raising her head. The smile on Shun Hao's face momentarily stiffened, and he sat down frustrated. The next boy stood up, wearing a plain white t-shirt that didn't reveal the brand, but fit exceptionally well. "I'm Zhao Kai, who I have various hobbies, and I've recently become fascinated with hand-brewed coffee. I'm used to the espresso machine at home, so I can't quite get used to the coffee at Luckin." He smiled and continued, "Also, I like to explore the surrounding areas on weekends. There's a guest house near Moganshan that I often visit. I'm familiar with the owner, and the environment is decent, though there are a lot of mosquitoes." After he finished speaking, he looked at Jiang Jinyu, as if waiting for a follow-up question about which guest house. Jiang Jinyu raised her eyes slightly, politely nodded, and then lowered her head again. Zhao Kai touched his nose and sat down. The third boy was even more subtle. He pushed up his glasses, looking scholarly. "I'm Sun Leo. I usually love reading. I've recently been rereading 100 Years of Solitude. The magical realism of Marquez is best appreciated in the original version." He paused. "I spent 2 years in the Spanish class in high school, and my speaking skills are decent, though I've regressed quite a bit since I haven't practiced in a long time." After he finished, he looked around, as if waiting for applause. The classroom was silent for 2 seconds, and someone quietly asked, "So, you read the Spanish original?" "Ah, yes." Sun Lei adjusted his glasses. I have a set at home bound in sheepskin pretty heavy, so it's not convenient to bring to school. After he finished, he finally looked at Jiang Jinhua, his gaze carrying an expectation of you should understand. This time Jiang Jinhua didn't even look up. She simply flipped a page in her notebook, the paper making a faint rustling sound. Tang Luochuan found it amusing. These guys' one was more high-end than the next. In skiing, they don't mention equipment, but talk about snow quality. In coffee, they don't mention price, but say I'm used to it. In reading, they don't mention collections, but say the sheepskin cover is quite heavy. Every word avoided mentioning money, yet every sentence implied it. Yet Jiang Jinhua seemed to have an aura of shielding around her, remaining unmoved despite the winds from all directions. It's your turn. Shen Muya's gaze shifted to Jiang Jinhua. This girl had caught her attention early on. She was indeed beautiful. In the entire school, she had never seen anyone who could compare with her, and now she had indeed encountered a rival. Just as Shen Muya's gaze moved over, she inadvertently glanced at Tang Luochuan. All the boys in the class were anticipating Jiang Jinyu's self-introduction, while only this guy was playing on his phone. Tang Luochuan had too many things to buy. He had just ordered the latest model of a laptop and needed to recharge his favorite online game. He had bought a car and was considering the nearby housing prices to see if there was something suitable that he could buy. A villa or a large flat. Just as he was thinking, Shen Muya reminded Tang Luochuan, don't zone out. Her voice was still so gentle. However many were stirred by their thoughts, this senior sister was quite impressive. Unfortunately, she was a senior. No one knew if she had a boyfriend. Since she entered, everyone had noticed that Shen Muya's looks were on par with Jiang Jinyu's. But due to her status as a senior, no one dared to act recklessly. Oh, Tang Luochuan quickly put his phone away. When he looked up, he found Jiang Jinhua also looking back at him. Sorry. Tang Luochuan apologized calmly. Jiang Jinhua responded calmly, it's fine. This was the first sentence she spoke in class. The girl spoke with composure. My name is Jiang Jinhua, a local. I live in the Bund. Just the mention of the Bund made the air grow quiet once again. Many people knew what that implied. Oh, what were the housing prices over there? What were the layouts? Old foreign house. Someone couldn't help but ask. Jiang Jinhua finally wore a hint of a smile, faint, but seemingly approving. Everyone understood. It turned out she was a princess of the Bund, and the prices for those old foreign houses need not be elaborated upon. Even in a downturn, the minimum would be over 90 million. That's it. Shen Muya was taken aback, not expecting the introduction to be so brief. That's it. Jiang Jinhua turned back, leaving the crowd with her cold back. Old foreign house. The Bund. These two terms were absorbed by Tang Luochuan. They sounded pricey. They suited him well. The class meeting ended, and everyone prepared to leave. The rain outside gradually lightened. Jinhua. Shen Muya suddenly called out to Jiang Jinhua. What's wrong, senior? Why are you alone? Where's your roommate? Oh, I haven't had a chance to meet them yet. Shen Muya noticed Jiang Jinhua was alone and thought perhaps the girl was feeling neglected, so she wanted to show some concern. Jiang Jinhua, noticing the Prada jacket on Shen Muya, sought to chat and asked, Senior, do you like Prada? But isn't this a men's jacket? Seems a bit big. Huh? What Prada? The clothes. Yes. Oh, this isn't mine, Bits. Shen Muya felt a bit embarrassed having worn her junior's clothes. How could she explain that? Jiang Jinhua seemed to understand. Oh, is it your boyfriend, Senior? Not bad conditions. Why do you say that? This piece costs over 20,000. Jiang Jinhua had been surrounded by luxury goods since childhood, so she recognized it at a glance. Hearing this, Shen Muyan was taken aback, incredulously touching her clothes. How much did you say? More than 20,000, Jiang Jinhua replied. More than 20,000. Shen Muyan's voice suddenly rose by 8 degrees. This torn piece of clothing costs 20,000. She looked down at her dull gray nylon jacket, glancing left and right, unable to see where it was worth 20,000. There wasn't even a logo if it weren't for Jiang Jinhua saying so. She would have thought it was a discounted item from some sports brand. At this moment, Tang Luochuan also stepped out, looking solemnly at the sky outside the window. Shen Muyan could no longer care about feeling embarrassed. She had just tried to be careful not to get the other person dirty, but still splashed some rainwater which she could not afford to compensate for. Tang Luochuan, your clothes cost more than 20,000. Shen Muyan's words drew everyone's attention, and the students stopped in their tracks, staring over here. A coat costing more than 20,000 is indeed attractive. Tang Luochuan was brought back to his senses by this shout, and looked at her saying, I don't know, I bought a bunch, and I don't know how much each one costs. Didn't you ask? What would I ask that for? They can't bargain. Everyone. Shen Muyan was rendered speechless by Tang Luochuan's logic. Was it really a matter of bargaining or not? Shouldn't this be a matter of whether one can afford it? Yet the boy's financial power still shocked her, and many girls began to scrutinize Tang Luochuan, carefully, seemingly calculating something in their minds. Jiang Jinhua also cast a curious glance. The clothes are yours. All right. Tang Luo Chuan replied, casually looking out the window again, annoyed that the rain was taking too long to stop. The weather forecast clearly said it would rain continuously for several days. If tomorrow turned out to be a sunny day, wouldn't they have military training? What are you looking at? Jiang Jin, you looked at the boy quite curious. Tang Luo Chuan muttered, checking if it will stop raining. I don't want military training. For some reason this sentence hit Jiang Jin's funny bone, making her unable to hold back her laughter. Zhou Qi also walked over. Luo Chuan, your clothes cost more than 20,000. Yeah. Wow. I can't tell you're so rich. Whether I have money or not, I can't just go to school without pants. Ha. Jiang Jin, you couldn't help it. The boy's sarcasm made her feel overwhelmed. Tang Luo Chuan looked at the girl whose personality had suddenly changed, frowning. Did I hit your funny bone? You. Jiang Jin held back her laughter, not even sure why her sense of humor differed from others. The more he spoke, the more she wanted to laugh. He. Ha. Stop talking already. Jiang Jin held her stomach, her cold persona shattered, laughing so hard her shoulders shook. Tang Luo Chuan looked utterly perplexed, turning to Shen Muyan. Is her sense of humor that low? How would I know? Shen Muyan was still worrying about the clothes. It got a bit wet, we'll clean it and return it to you. No need, just wear it, or anyway I won't be wearing it again. Tang Luo Chuan waved his hand and glanced back out the window. Why is the rain getting lighter? Just as he was speaking, a sound of footsteps came from the end of the corridor. Muyan. A boy wearing a checkered shirt hurried over, holding two umbrellas in his hands, a fawning smile on his face. I see the rain is about to stop, but the ground is still wet, so I specially came to pick you up. Shen Muyan's brows instantly furrowed. She recognized this person, a sophomore from the computer science department named Lu Yang, whom she had coincidentally encountered 3 times in the library last week, and he had happened to sit at the next table in the cafeteria this week. No need, I can go back by myself. She leaned half a step closer to Tang Luo Chuan. Lu Yang seemed not to notice her resistance. His gaze fell on the Prada jacket, and he paused for a moment before smiling. This outfit looks quite realistic. Grade replicas are getting better and better these days. The air suddenly fell silent. Tang Luo Chuan finally turned his gaze back from the window, sizing Lu Yang up and down. Your eyesight is quite sharp. Can you tell the real from the fake from 3 meters away? Of course, my cousin does purchasing, so I've seen a lot. Lu Yang puffed up his chest. This cut, this stitching, it does look like a replica, but the authentic lining has a special. Lu Yang. Shen Muyan interrupted him. Are you done yet? Lu Yang awkwardly replied. If this jacket were real, it would cost more than 20,000. What student in our school can afford that? I can afford it. Tang Luo Chuan dug in his ear. Is there anything else? If not, please step aside. You are blocking my view of the rain. Lu Yang's expression changed. He wanted to say something, but was interrupted by a voice behind him. Luo Chuan. You left your keys on the table. Zhang Ming ran out of the classroom waving a BMW key in his hand. Is this yours? Tang Luo Chuan touched his pants pocket, and indeed the keys were not on him. He hurriedly took it, mumbling, my mom keeps scolding me for being forgetful. She was right. Thanks, bro. Then he looked at Shen Muyan. Senior, let me drive you home. Didn't you say the girls' dormitory is far? Shen Muyan suddenly remembered his BMW X7 and felt a thump in her heart. The current freshmen were only a year younger than her. Why are there so many rich people? No need. It would be too much. No problem. It's just a matter of stepping on the gas. Tang Luo Chuan said casually, and the difference between him and Lu Yang and Zhou Ziyu was in their attitude. Those two always carried an air of superiority, thinking highly of themselves. They could put on a gentlemanly demeanor. But Tang Luo Chuan was very casual. Of course, this was also because he currently had no thoughts about Shen Muyan. Lu Yang stood aside watching the car keys in Tang Luo Chuan's hand, only knowing it was a BMW. He had no idea what model it was. What car do you drive? X7. Oh, 3. Lu Yang's mouth had already curved into a mocking smile, just waiting for him to say the word 3. The 3 Series entry-level model costs less than 300 when it hits the road. His cousin bought one last year and had been scolded by the family for pretending to be wealthy. He had even prepared his lines, the 3 Series. No one buys it anymore. The second-hand market has fallen dramatically. It's worthless. The words were on the tip of his tongue, but he suddenly stopped. X7. He turned it over in his mind 3 times before connecting the letter to that massive vehicle. Wasn't that car worth over $1 million? That's pretty good. Lu Yang forced out those 3 words, and the 2 umbrellas in his hands suddenly felt incredibly heavy. Tang Luo Chuan finally looked at him with a hint of genuine confusion. Do you know cars? I know a bit, just a bit. Lu Yang took half a step back. I have something to do, so we'll go first. Don't need the umbrellas. Tang Luo Chuan pointed to the 2 unopened umbrellas in his hand. I'll give them to you. As Liu Yang walked out of the teaching building, he just happened to see the X7 parked in front of the nearby cafeteria. His mouth couldn't help twitching a couple of times thinking, oh no, the one who can take Shen Muyin away has come. A few people walked out of the teaching building. Zhang Ming, Zhou Qi, let's go together. We'll head back to the dorm, just right with 5 of us, Tang Luochuan called out to his 2 roommates. The 2 of them didn't hold back and followed closely behind. Naturally, the front passenger seat was given to Shen Muyin. The other 3 seemed to sense something, especially since Shen Muyin was wearing someone else's clothes. Senior, you sit in the front. Zhang Ming kindly opened the car door. Shen Muyin opened her mouth, realizing that the other party had misunderstood. I should explain. I should explain that he and I are just friends. No, just classmates, a senior and junior relationship, she thought to herself. Yet she honestly replied, okay, thank you. After the car started, Tang Luochuan suddenly felt in high spirits because it began to rain again. Heaven does not deceive me. Inside the car, the 5 of them remained silent. Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi were squeezed together, feeling that Jiang Jinyu beside them seemed to emanate a chill. Meanwhile, Shen Muyin sneakily glanced at Tang Luochuan. Is he so happy because I agreed to sit in the passenger seat? Just then, everyone's phones rang simultaneously. It was a message from their counselor in the group chat. Shen Muyin was the first to take a look and said the military training has indeed been cancelled, but you all have to attend self-study tomorrow. Self-study is better than military training. Zhang Ming's voice came from the back. Those people in the group are showing off again, so pretentious. Tang Luochuan remained silent. It wasn't that he disliked school, but rather that he hated doing things that held no meaning for him. I heard there's a Huangting banquet nearby. Has anyone been there? He suddenly asked. What? The others were puzzled by what he meant. Only Jiang Jinyu replied. I've been there. Their New Year's dinner is quite good. What about the regular dishes? They're okay, suitable for inviting friends. How much does a meal cost? It ranges from a few thousand to tens of thousands, and drinks can make it even more expensive. Oh, this restaurant was the closest 5-star hotel he found online. Not for the food, but for the novelty. After all, it would only be a one-time visit. They'll treat you tomorrow. Are you going? Let's have a drink. Tang Luochuan invited everyone. For a moment, no one responded. Treating right after just getting acquainted. It wasn't just a couple of hundred for a simple barbecue. Earlier, he heard Jiang Jinyu say a meal could easily cost thousands, and the expensive ones were over 10,000, not including drinks. Anyone with a bit of decency wouldn't easily mooch off this meal. Everyone was puzzled. How could Tang Luochuan's family be so wealthy? Is it true tomorrow night? Tang Luochuan presented himself as a typical nouveau riche. He couldn't become a noble son just yet. The system provided him with money, not ideals. Luochuan, let's not splurge like this. Zhou Qi spoke first. It wasn't that he didn't want to go, but he was somewhat shocked. The clothes worth 20,000 were already frightening enough. Huh, you're not going. Then I'll go by myself. Tang Luochuan was determined, planning to find a high-end restaurant. In a few days, he would try out luxury hotel suites. Then he would go to Disneyland for fun, and after a week claimed he made money from stock trading. He would transfer some money to his parents and continue to enjoy life. As for the girlfriend situation, he glanced at Shen Muyin and caught a glimpse of the silent Jiang Jinyu in the rearview mirror. The former was fine, and he could connect with her naturally. In fact, once he had money, it was either to avoid emotions entirely or just have fun. If he were to pursue a relationship, it would make him feel a bit uneasy, always considering whether the other person was after his money. Therefore, he still wanted to rely on feelings without flaunting or forcing anything. It was like turning a blind eye, or if it felt right, he wouldn't think too much about it. Meanwhile, Shen Muyin felt conflicted. She wanted to go, but was too shy to say so. Tang Luochuan did indeed meet her criteria for a boyfriend. He even exceeded her expectations in terms of financial capability and looks. But still, it was only the first day. Moreover, others had not expressed their opinions, so she couldn't rush. Senior, are you going? Tang Luochuan noticed the girl's thoughts and deliberately called her out directly. Huh, I have something. Shen Muyin turned her face, looking out at the scenery. Students on the road hurried by with umbrellas while she was sitting inside a car worth over $1 million. In an instant, the unspoken sense of class disparity quietly crept into her heart. It was subtle, like an illusion, yet it made one feel an inexplicable superiority. There were always boys chasing her, but those affections were often wrapped in calculations, and the care was performative, making it wearisome, let alone any sense of superiority. But Tang Luochuan was different. Just that one glance sparked a thought in her mind. If she became his woman, would she be able to live in a way that others envied? Look, you all aren't going, and even the senior isn't going. Tang Luochuan spoke his mind, honestly sensing the other's emotions and directly revealing her thoughts. But this kind of candidness eased the atmosphere in the car. Zhang Ming leaned on the front seat, poking his head over. If you're going to say that, then why not? I'll go. Are you going or not? I will. Good one. Zhou Qi hurriedly added, I'll go too. Shinmu Yin continued to maintain her Leda-like image, but her words began to lose coherence as she quietly murmured, "What about splitting the bill?" "Then I want go who can afford to split the bill with him." Zhou Qi immediately began to roast her. That's right." Shinmu Yin realized she had misspoken and quickly tried to amend. "Well, I'll treat you to milk tea." Her voice grew quieter, lacking confidence. However, Tang Luochuan thought the girl was quite nice, at least not wanting to owe anyone a favor, but after this meal, she could never repay that favor. "All right, no need for any milk tea. Since we're all going, let's meet after school tomorrow afternoon." After Tang Luochuan spoke, the atmosphere in the car shifted again. Jiang Jinyu leaned against the car door, her brows slightly furrowed, clearly overlooked. But it seemed she was meant to be ignored, as she was merely hitching a ride. Luochuan, there's also Jiang classmate." "Huh. Oh right, there's one more person." "Jiang Jin, where are you going?" Tang Luochuan called out her full name directly. His voice was not gentle, rather blunt. It sounded like a simple inquiry. Tang Luochuan understood that this girl was too aloof and not his type. Moreover, she came from a good family and wouldn't deliberately flatter him just because he had some money, so she definitely wouldn't go. After a few seconds of silence, Jiang Jin, you spoke, "Sure, since you're treating." Tang Luochuan misjudged her meaning and directly replied, "All right, since you're not going ITLL, just be the four of us." Zhang Ming patted him again. "She said she's going." "Huh. Oh, okay." Tang Luochuan glanced at Jiang Jinyu a few more times, secretly pondering, this girl doesn't play by the rules, as she's not short on money, so why is she following along? He couldn't believe that the other party was interested in him. After all, she was a rich girl from the Bund. Did she really think so highly of him just because of an X7? The car stopped near the girls' dormitory. Shinmu Yin and Jiang Jinyu were about to get out, and many people were entering the dormitory, many of them in pairs. Many boys were holding umbrellas for the girls, clearly there to pick up their girlfriends from school. When the car door opened, everyone turned their attention. While not everyone in the school knew Shinmu Yin, she was definitely a celebrity in this dorm area. Of course, there were those who couldn't resist making a fuss. "Hey Mu Yin, who gave you a ride back? Who was that handsome guy? I haven't seen him before. What's their relationship?" "Mu Yin, you're blushing. Is he a freshman?" "Mu Yin, you move fast, don't let this little brother bully you." A few girls who were close to Shinmu Yin joked around. Shinmu Yin kept waving her hands. No, it's not what you think." One girl teased, "Not what we think. Then why didn't I get a BMW?" Yet more eyes were filled with envy. Many boys stood there gazing at the X7. They didn't want to feel jealous or envious, but they couldn't help it. Looking at Shinmu Yin's beauty only made them sigh. And among the girls who didn't dream of having a boyfriend as wealthy. Just then Jiang Jinyu walked down holding her bag. A wave of gasps filled the air. One stunning beauty was enough, but there was another. Are beautiful women that cheap now? Isn't it too easy to get two girls just by driving an X7? However, Jiang Jinyu ignored everyone and simply walked up the steps, whispering to Shinmu Yin's sister, "We must meet again tomorrow afternoon." Shinmu Yin nodded slightly. "Okay, then I'm leaving." Tang Luochuan waved and drove away. "Hey Luochuan," Shinmu Yin suddenly called out, her tone becoming more intimate. "What?" Tang Luochuan had just opened the car door preparing to get in. Shinmu Yin waved. "See you tomorrow." "See you tomorrow." The car left and the news spread. Tonight some people were destined to have a sleepless night. Zhou Ziyu sat in the dormitory looking at the images of Shinmu Yin arriving in a BMW X7 shared in the WeChat group, feeling very uneasy. "Old Zhou, what's wrong? Did your character collapse? Did someone steal your love?" A roommate joked. Zhou Ziyu looked displeased, not even glancing at them, and irritably said, "Stop talking nonsense. That new freshman is pretty rich, huh? You mean the one driving the BMW? You know about him too." "Oh come on, who doesn't know? He hooked up with Shinmu Yin on his first day. It's already spreading in the third year." Zhou Ziyu felt helpless, putting down her phone, as she simply couldn't afford a car. At least she couldn't bring it up with her family right now. Given her family's situation, maybe she could afford a car worth 300,000 to 400,000, but over $1 million. Forget it. Suddenly her roommate said with disdain, "These freshmen know how to play damn. Renting a car can get you girls, oh what a genius. Why didn't I think of that back then? Rent a car." Zhou Ziyu's eyes suddenly lit up. "Are you saying that car is rented?" "Of course. He's a freshman. What kind of family background does he have?" The roommate sat up. "Let me tell you, even if his family is rich, can they afford to buy their kid a car while in college? Just think about how many of our peers are wealthy. Li Minghao's family is rich, right? His dad makes 3 to 4 million a year in building materials. Did they buy him a car? Son Junkai's family runs a restaurant, and they're also wealthy. He has 3 houses and 2 cars. Did his dad let him drive to school?" "Oh, now that you mention it." Zhou Ziyu suddenly got excited. "That's right, they're all students. Even if the family is rich, they wouldn't easily provide a car. They would still urge them to study hard. Hiss. This kid must be renting." They both believed what they wanted without any evidence. So they concluded that Tang Luochuan was renting the car. The roommate continued, let me tell you something about Li Ming Hao and Sun Jun Kai. They actually rent cars outside too. Even if their families won't buy them one, these two occasionally rent a Ferrari or Lamborghini to pick up girls at other campuses. Is that so? Josie, yes, eyes sparkled even more. Why not on our campus? Because there are too many people they know here, but it's easy to be exposed. They've known each other for over a year. They know each other's backgrounds too well. That kid with the BMW is definitely relying on his status as a freshman so he can flaunt a luxury car. After a while, everyone will know what he's about, and he won't be able to pretend anymore. Damn. If you say it like that, I want to rent one too. Do you have a channel? Channel? Yes. I know a guy, but it's $1,200 a day for the same X7. Usually it's $1,500. I want to rent a Porsche. Don't girls love Porsches? Porsche, he'll ask. After reaching this conclusion, Zhou Ziyu was already too excited to contain himself. This was simply a good opportunity to slap himself in the face. He certainly wouldn't miss the chance to promote. In the girls' dormitory, as soon as Shun Mu Yin entered, the girl she had played badminton with rushed over. Mu Yin, was that guy who sent you back today? The girl is my roommate and best friend, Wang Fong Fong. Shin Mu Yin felt tired mainly from mental exhaustion. Yeah, I forgot to give him my clothes. I'll wash them and return them later. She took off her outerwear, and today's sexy sports outfit highlighted her figure, which was indeed enviable. Mu Yin, my boyfriend, mentioned it today. Zhou Ziyu from their class and Lu Yang from the next class don't seem to be in a good mood. Another roommate, Li Jiaqi, turned over, her gaze scrutinizing. Oh, those two are quite annoying. Shin Mu Yin didn't say much, as she really disliked those who called their boyfriends hubby in college. How nauseating. Li Jiaqi was different from her, and Wang Fong Fong. This woman knew how to play her cards right. In a year, she had dated 3 or 4 boyfriends, each one wealthy. They were all under her control, either delivering meals or fetching water every day. Li Jiaqi occasionally boasted that she hadn't spent any money in a month. It was all boys spending on her. Wang Fong Fong was carefully stroking a dress worth over 20,000. This dress costs more than 20,000. I heard it from someone else. Shin Mu Yin said casually, don't break it, you, I can't afford to pay for it. Oh, okay. Wang Fong Fong replied. Li Jiaqi sat up, glancing from 4 or 5 meters away for a while, unsure where her confidence came from, and said the color is wrong. The style has issues. It doesn't look real. Let me take a look. Wang Fong Fong was taken aback, and Shin Mu Yin exchanged glances with her, nodding slightly, as if granting permission. Wang Fong Fong foolishly handed the dress to Li Jiaqi and asked, how did you notice? I've seen a lot, so I can tell. Li Jiaqi pretended to examine it with her fingers and thumb, looking just like a professional, decisively stating it's a knockoff. Li Jiaqi raised the Prada jacket under the light, squinting his eyes as he examined it, for a while, a confident smile gradually appearing at the corner of his mouth. Mu Yin, you really misjudged this time. She shook her clothes. The stitching and the hardware are clearly high replicas from Baiyun district in Guangzhou. She handed the clothes back to Wang Fong Fong, who was stunned. No way. That junior looked quite wealthy, driving a BMW X7 car. Li Jiaqi scoffed, jumping off the bed and walking in slippers to shun Mu Yin. Mu Yin, today's young boys are quite clever. They could easily rent a car for a bit of cash. Who knows? I just saw in the group that someone confirmed this junior rented the car. In fact, Li Jiaqi knew nothing about luxury goods. He just often browsed online or in physical stores. Some of her past boyfriends had indeed bought her a few light luxury items, either a useless silk scarf or a high-end lipstick. With the richest boyfriend, she once wanted a Chanel worth over 2,000, but directly dissuaded him. Although she couldn't tell the authenticity of the clothes, she could certainly pretend. Anyway, she learned the moves from short videos. However, she was indeed an expert among girls when it came to luxury goods, as other girls were completely clueless. If she encountered someone who could talk for a while and mention a few professional terms, she would naturally believe them. If it were before Shin Mu Yin might have really believed her. But today someone else identified the authenticity of the clothes, and that was Jiang Jinyu. 2 frauds. No way. If Jiang Jinyu also misjudged, was she pretending to know? But what was she after? She didn't interact with others and had no friends. Wang Fong Fong blinked, feeling a bit incredulous, and quickly opened her phone to check the campus news. Indeed, many groups were discussing this matter. Some even demanded the school provide a resolution and punish students who flaunted wealth by renting cars. Mu Yin, should we inform that Tang Luo Chuan? She handed her phone to the other party. Shin Mu Yin glanced at it, her heart stirred. How could so many people know in such a short time? It was just shy of being made into a PPT. Various versions of the story had already emerged, even a personal background story of Tang Luo Chuan. Screenshots of major group chats in campus. Version 1. The impoverished students comeback. According to insiders, Tang Luo Chuan hails from a poor county in Quanxue City, with both parents being laid off, workers surviving on subsistence allowances. The student excelled in high school and completed his studies with poverty assistance. After entering university, his mindset became unbalanced. To fit in, he borrowed money to rent cars, and by counterfeit luxury goods accumulating over 1.0 in online debt. Version 2, the professional fraudster version. Warning to all girls. Tang Luochuan is a professional emotional scammer. He has a criminal record from high school, specifically disguising as a rich second generation to deceive girls' affections, then borrowing money with various excuses, with 3 girls already being victims. He is now on the run at our school, so everyone should be vigilant. Version 3, the sugar baby version. This version is the most widely spread shocking news. Tang Luochuan's BMW X7 was actually gifted by a wealthy woman. According to unreliable sources, he worked at a club during the summer where he caught the eye of a 40-year-old female boss, becoming her adopted son. The car and clothes were all gifts from the female boss, and the money for today's meal was also pocket money from her. Confession wall of Magic City University of Transportation. Wall, I want to submit. Today, that freshman driving the BMW X7, my brother works at a BMW dealership and checked his purchase records. There's no such name. The car is definitely rented. Furthermore, that Prada jacket my cousin is an appraiser, and it's a fake at first glance. Don't be fooled. Comments section. I said, how can a freshman drive an X7? Does his dad work for Ma Yun? Shinmu Yin is also unfortunate being targeted by such a guy on her first day. I have forwarded this to the advisor. This trend must be stopped. Looking for rental channels? I want to pretend to. Shinmu Yin looked at these chat records, her brows furrowing tighter. This is too ridiculous, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Li Jiechi said with an experienced look. Mu Yin, keep your eyes sharp. Some of the information here seems very fake, but flies don't buzz around an egg without cracks. If he really had no issues, others wouldn't be saying anything. There must be something wrong with him, but not to such an extent. These boys are just like that, loving to exaggerate. What should I do? Shinmu Yin was also a bit anxious. This matter had already reached the school. Is this serious? Li Jiechi said. Tomorrow give him back the clothes and part ways. After some time, everyone will forget. That would be somewhat decent, but Shinmu Yin still had some doubts. At the very least, Tang Luochuan didn't seem like that kind of person. If he really was driving to deceive, shouldn't he be more attentive? At this moment in the boys' dormitory, Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi were anxious, and Tang Luochuan seemed completely unconcerned, lying on the bed scrolling through short videos. Let me give you a tip. Seeing a seductive beauty, Tang Luochuan unhesitatingly rewarded a few small hearts. Successfully spent 0.5 yuan. He was wealthy, but not a fool, and definitely wouldn't seek out female streamers online. Without a second thought, that type of entertainment streamer with a bit of popularity and looks, how could they be clean? Why do boys reward streamers? Isn't it all about that? Luochuan, aren't you anxious, not angry? Zhang Ming asked, leaning against his bedside. Tang Luochuan continued to stare at the screen. What am I angry about? The school might get involved. They say it's an unhealthy trend. What does buying a car have to do with an unhealthy trend? But you said, could they expel me? If so, wouldn't I not have to go to school anymore? Thinking of this, Tang Luochuan laughed. He couldn't blame himself for that. Buying a car, and the school wants to expel him. Even if he proves that he didn't rent the car to flaunt wealth, he wouldn't turn back to come back to school. The vast world was waiting for him. Thinking this, he opened a travel app, planning where to go after being expelled. Early the next morning, Tang Luochuan was awakened by Zhou Qi shaking him. Get up, have some breakfast, and then self-study. Tang Luochuan looked at the time. It was only 6:30. A new day and 1 million had already been credited. It was still raining outside, and the rain was getting heavier. Just after getting up and finishing washing, his phone received 2 messages. One was a friend request from Jiang Jinyu. The other was a message from Shunmu. I'll give you your clothes later. I washed them yesterday, and they aren't dry yet. Tang Luochuan accepted Jiang Jinyu's request and replied to Shunmu Yin, okay. As he stepped out, Tang Luochuan did not drive this time. Holding an umbrella, the 3 boys walked side by side, chatting and laughing. Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi did not believe the information online. It wasn't that they were foolish, but their eyes weren't blind. Just last night, they witnessed Tang Luochuan playing a mobile game, spending on a package worth 648, a total of over 600 yuan. Watching Tang Luochuan's solitary figure depart, Shin Mayan already had the answer in her heart. She truly entertained the thought of getting closer to this boy. She and Jiang Jinyu were fundamentally alike. Both possessed exceptional beauty and were acutely self-aware. Those who are attractive often have a clearer understanding of the capital they possess from a young age. Being favored was the norm, and preferential treatment was commonplace. Over time, their standards naturally became exceedingly high. With education, looks, and vision, she excelled in every regard. Her criteria for a partner ingrained deeply within her. There were never many people who could make her willing to take the initiative to approach and interact. Tang Luochuan was the first one she willingly pursued. The reason was quite simple. She had never encountered someone who spent so much money on games, or drove a million-yuan luxury car to school, nor one who wore clothes costing 20,000. Her difference from Jiang Jinhua lay here. Her family background was ordinary, and the wealthy individuals she encountered were limited to a classmate whose family had a few million. A relative making a business profit of about 1 or 200,000 a year. The rain fell heavier and heavier. Tang Luochuan held an umbrella, strolling leisurely towards the administration building while contemplating how to address the situation. Should she directly admit her mistake to seek leniency, or should she stand her ground? Forget it, she would adapt to the situation. The counselor's office was on the second floor, and the door was slightly ajar. Tang Luochuan knocked, and a voice from inside said, "Come in." Upon opening the door, she saw 3 people in the room. Counselor Wang Zhengwo, in his 30s, wearing a pair of gold-rimmed glasses, had a serious expression. 2 student council officers, 1 male and 1 female, were seated beside him, holding notebooks as if they were there to record. "You are Tang Luochuan, right? Sit down." Wang Zhengwo gestured towards the chair opposite him. Tang Luochuan sat down confidently, her back straight. "Do you know why you were called in?" Wang Zhengwo got straight to the point. "Yes, it's about the car." "The car?" Wang Zhengwo frowned. "It's not just about the car. It's been circulating around campus that you rented a car to flaunt wealth, wore counterfeit items, and were being kept by someone." Tang Luochuan nearly laughed out loud. "These people truly have a vivid imagination, even suggesting I'm being kept." "Teacher Wang," he cleared his throat, "the car was bought by me, fully paid. I just picked it up yesterday. The clothes are real too. As for being kept, that's entirely unfounded." "Then why did you buy the car?" The female student council officer suddenly interjected. "A freshman just starting school buys a car worth over $1 million. Isn't that flaunting wealth? Is it wrong to have a wealthy family? How can you prove it was bought by you?" The female student council officer remained skeptical. The other male officer added, "Classmate, this matter is quite serious. We, the student council, have discussed this matter. Even if you bought it yourself, it is still considered flaunting wealth." Tang Luochuan was about to retort when suddenly his phone rang. "Excuse me, I need to take this call." He spoke calmly, showing no signs of agitation. "Hello." He answered the phone in front of the counselor and the 2 student council members. Wang Zhengwo and the 2 student council members couldn't help but cast cold glances at each other, feeling the other party was quite rude. They thought he was being very disrespectful. "You hang up the phone first. Whatever issue you have can wait, and let's talk about the current situation." The male student council officer signaled for him to hang up. Wang Zhengwo waved his hand, giving a look to the others. "Let him take it." Tang Luochuan listened to the voice on the phone. It was from the Porsche dealership. "The Porsche Taycan and Panamera have arrived." He also received a message from the Lamborghini dealership that his car would arrive shortly. According to Tang Luochuan's previous contract stipulations, the cars would be delivered directly to the school. Initially, Tang Luochuan thought he would be living on campus and wouldn't be able to move out temporarily. Just have the 2 dealerships deliver them to the dormitory entrance. But now it seemed the situation had changed. Just leave them at the school gate and send someone to wait. I might need to change where to park my car." All right. How long?" 30 minutes, right? Okay." After hanging up, Tang Luochuan quickly put on a good student facade. "Sorry, teacher, I have something urgent." "Urgent?" The female student council officer sneered. What urgent matter could be more important than school discipline? Tang Luochuan glanced at her, but did not respond. He didn't want to waste his breath with a fool. What was the point of showing off to her? He just needed to wait for the outcome. All right. Wang Zhengwo interrupted, rubbing his temples. "Tang Luochuan, the school does not prohibit you from spending money, but you must consider the impact. With the uproar in public opinion, the school is under significant pressure. I accept any punishment." Tang Luochuan cut to the chase, feeling anxious. "Hurry up, punish me severely for half a year to reflect. I want to go out and have fun." 7 days for reflection. Wang Zhengwo and the 2 student council officers exchanged glances and slowly spoke. "After the college's deliberation, you are given 7 days to reflect at home, during which you must write a report of no less than 3,000 words, deeply reflecting on your behavior. Moreover, you are not allowed to bring the car onto campus for now. We will discuss it once the situation calms down." 7 days. Tang Luochuan's eyes lit up. He thought half a year was a joke. Dreaming was one thing. But 7 days was still quite good. No problem. He jumped up. "Will go back to pack my things and ensure the report is submitted on time." Wang Zhengwo was taken aback. He had dealt with many disciplinary students. Some cried and begged, some argued vehemently, and some resigned themselves to their fate. But Tang Luochuan was the first to be so eager to admit his mistake. Wang Zhengwo felt a softness in his heart. He was not like those 2 young student council members who were too petty-minded. "I still consider the future of these kids. It's understandable for young people to be a bit arrogant. Luochuan, your attitude is commendable. You go back first. Let me discuss it further with the school to see if I can reduce your punishment." Tang Luochuan. He hurriedly waved his hand, bowing deeply. "Teacher, no need. I've realized my mistake. Oh, I don't want to trouble you to help me. I believe the school's handling is correct. Wang Jingwo was stunned for a few seconds. This kid was quite decent. Earlier, although it seemed impolite to take the call, it might have been due to his calm demeanor and stable mindset. Upon reflection, there was nothing wrong. Furthermore, when he entered, he was not like other students, timid and nervous. His manner of speaking was also quite appropriate. Luochuan, it's great that you can think this way. This week is supposed to be military training, although it has been paused. Classes are all self-study, so it won't hinder your learning. Wang Jingwo stood up and patted his shoulder. Remember, you must learn from this lesson. This matter isn't about whether you rented the car, but about flaunting, which gives some people an opportunity to exploit. Driving an X7 to school is fine. The school isn't punishing you merely for driving, it's because public opinion has risen. Tang Luochuan had a fairly good impression of the counselor. This matter was just a case of the old saying that a woman is always right and others insisting on calling it flaunting wealth could be justified. It's just a matter of scale. The counselor was also on a salary to do his job. When the higher-ups gave orders, he couldn't just ignore them. However, the two student council members were somewhat disgusting. They could have just taken notes. The solution was not up to them, yet they insisted on arguing. Then he'll head back first, Teacher Wang. All right. By the way, you still need to write a reflection. Let's make it 1000 words. Sure. Upon exiting, Tang Luochuan headed straight for the dormitory and sent a message to Shun Mia, and Zhang Ming reflected home for 7 days. The evening's royal banquet plan remains unchanged. Then he opened his phone to search for nearby hotels and suitable places to stay. Time was tight, and he was unprepared for buying a house, so he could only temporarily stay at a hotel for a few days. Fortunately, this matter hadn't notified his parents, otherwise he would have been scolded again. After packing his belongings briefly, Tang Luochuan's phone rang again. What's wrong? Tang Luochuan answered the phone. The staff from the Porsche dealership replied, Mr. Tang, sorry. The security at the school gate let us in, but parking at the entrance is quite obstructive and causes traffic. What should we do now? Oh, then go to the 6th teaching building. Follow my car later. Tang Luochuan packed a few of his personal items and prepared to go downstairs. He still needed to stay at the dormitory. It was convenient for attending classes and taking breaks. If there were any activities, or if he wanted to drink with his roommates or classmates, he could just stay in the dorm. Inside the car, a pile of luxury items he bought yesterday remained unopened. Tang Luochuan was intrigued for a moment, but at this moment he had lost all interest in these luxury items. At this moment, he somewhat understood that the handsome he had been proud of for so many years was insignificant in the face of money. The car started heading straight for the teaching building. It was now the break time. The first class had already ended. Shin Muya saw his car from the 2nd floor and hurriedly ran down. Luochuan. The girl appeared somewhat anxious, and many people's gazes were focused on the two of them. Why was that the guy who drove the X7 yesterday? Is Shin Muya really getting close to him? Look at those eyes, they're practically sparkling, as something must be going on. Isn't this too fast? Last year, so many people pursued Shin Muya, and she ignored them all. This freshman managed to win her over in just one day. He has a car after all. So what? Didn't they say it was rented? Who knows what's real or fake? But I heard there's a new star freshman named Jiang Jinhua. She's not any worse than Shin Muya. Should we check her out? I know I just heard someone mention it. But she's hard to pursue. I heard her family is particularly wealthy. The surrounding people were gossiping, and everyone tacitly avoided staring directly at Shin Muya and Tang Luochuan. Everyone pretended to be busy with their own affairs, yet their eyes were secretly observing. Shin Muya gritted her teeth. She was well aware that many people were watching them, and she had already gotten used to it. Luochuan, what's going on? Reflected home for 7 days. Yes, senior. Just call me Muya. Shin Muya was a bit anxious. If they had known each other for a year, it would be one thing, but 7 days wasn't much. They had only known each other for a day, and for the boy to reflect for 7 days could lead to unexpected changes. Luochuan, how about I ask the student council for you? What's the use of the student council? It's an order from the school leaders. 7 days just feels a bit short. Shin Muya was taken aback. 7 days felt short. She twirled her hair, her gaze somewhat unnatural. She needed to be more proactive. If she didn't speak up, it would be too late when he left. And who knows what women he would encounter in these few days. Shin Muya was innocent, but not foolish. She understood that a wealthy boy like this wouldn't just stay home honestly. Do you have time this weekend? I have plans with friends, so I want to invite you. Shin Muya had no such plan. She was purely making it up on the spot. In fact, she had always been the one invited in the past. She had never actively invited anyone, not even her close friend Wang Fangfang. Typically, it was others suggesting going out, and she would just go along with it. A few friends. Just us and Wang Fangfang. 3 people, that seems a bit much. Shin Muya paused slightly, looking at him with anxiety, nervously saying, it's just going out to have fun. Don't think about anything else. Will you go or not? He'll go. Tang Luochuan smiled. The girl's intentions were quite clear, and refusing would just be foolish. Why turn down such an opportunity? Shenmuya didn't have the courage to directly invite Tang Luochuan alone, it just felt inappropriate. So she brought Wang Fangfang along to make it less awkward. Hearing his response, Shenmuya finally raised her head and looked at him with courage. It's a deal. The corners of her lips, slightly lifted at her heart, had almost jumped out just now. She had always been the one receiving confessions. This was the first time she was confessing to someone, especially in front of so many onlookers, truly afraid of being rejected. All right. Just as they finalized their plans, a Porsche 911 suddenly made a sharp turn and drove in front of the teaching building. Slow down, if you damage it, you have to compensate. The roommate of Zhou Ziyu in the passenger seat reminded him. Meanwhile, Zhou Ziyu couldn't suppress his excitement. Indeed, you get what you pay for. This was also his first time driving such a nice car. His father owned a Tesla and an Audi A5L, but together they only amounted to around 600,000 or 700,000. His family conditions were relatively good, at least much better than Tang Luochuan's. Tang's father Tang Hai drove a Volkswagen Magotan. The car stopped and his roommate opened the door and softly reminded him, "Don't forget to return it by noon tomorrow." This was a reminder to return the car on time. If late, it would incur quite a fee, which was not worth it. Got it. Zhou Ziyu replied softly, fearing others would overhear. However, many second-year students knew Zhou Ziyu's background. He definitely couldn't afford this. Muya. Zhou Ziyu strode over, his posture upright, exuding confidence and composure. In this moment, he was the dazzling and outstanding senior. He was the domineering CEO with an overwhelming presence. He was the chosen one, admired by everyone present, radiating charisma. All the boys were filled with envy and jealousy, while the girls secretly admired him. At least that's how he perceived it. Shenmuya rolled her eyes and said softly, "SB." This curse was heard by Tang Luochuan. He was surprised, not expecting his gentle and lovely senior to also have a foul mouth. This contrast was quite surprising. Shenmuya blushed and quickly explained, "I didn't curse." "I'm sorry." This statement was contradictory, saying she didn't curse yet apologized. But she truly detested Zhou Ziyu. Zhou Ziyu approached and glanced at Tang Luochuan. The latter was also bewildered, thinking, why was this guy acting so arrogantly? This weekend, the best seats in the IMAX theater. "Muya, can you give me a favor?" Saying this, he pulled out 2 movie tickets from his leisure suit's pocket. If he chose a good angle at this moment and only filmed Zhou Ziyu, he would definitely exude a strong CEO vibe. But it was all too showy. Every movement and expression of it seemed rehearsed. Zhou Ziyu's dream was to become the CEO from a TV drama. Although his financial status fell short, he made up for it with his pretentiousness. Shenmayan didn't even spare a glance at the movie ticket, stepping back half a step to stand shoulder to shoulder with Tang Luochuan. No need. Zhou Ziyu still had a bit of tenacity, though she had been rejected by Shenmayan countless times. Besides that pack of instant noodles given during their first meeting, she remembered it vividly. Don't rush. Zhou Ziyu felt much more confident with a Porsche backing her. He looked at Tang Luochuan. Bro, when renting a car, you should at least rent a decent one. Don't girls like Porsches? Huh. Never really studied that. Tang Luochuan seemed puzzled. He could tell the other party wanted to show off. But he couldn't muster the interest to retort. This guy's car was clearly rented. If a dog bites you, you can't bite back, right? Zhou Ziyu also knew she couldn't keep pretending for long. He wasn't afraid of others knowing he rented a car, but how many could afford a 911? Besides, both he and Tang Luochuan were renting, so no one could look down on the other. No classes in the afternoon, want to take a spin together. Zhou Ziyu walked to the front of the car, opening the door. Want to hop in for a bit? Tang Luochuan scratched the back of his head. Maybe not. Zhou Ziyu frowned slightly, while Shenmayan covered her mouth, trying to stifle a laugh. I meant Mayan. Mayan, I have a lot to tell you. This car is indeed rented by me. I just wanted to show you that if he can rent it, so can I. Also, I'm a local from Modu, and I can get a household registration directly. I have 2 apartments in Modu. One of 110 square meters for my parents, and another of 120 square meters, saved for my wedding. Ziyu? Shenmayan felt a bit embarrassed upon hearing such blunt words. You say? Zhou Ziyu noticed the change in her tone, wasn't as resolute as before, and sensed a glimmer of hope. Shenmayan thought it was still best to be straightforward, so she said, Actually, you're quite decent. Zhou Ziyu smiled faintly, naturally. Shenmayan quickly added, I mean, as a person, you're not bad. But you sure can show off too much, can't you? You're really not that impressive. Why do you always act like you're the best in the world? And you're really not handsome, at least not compared to Tang Luochuan. I know you two can't even be compared. Even in your own class, you can't be considered handsome. She took a deep breath, speaking even faster, and without holding back. Furthermore, among those pursuing me, there are several with Modu household registrations who are more handsome and better off than you, and I've never been moved by any of them. Among those chasing me, you rank at best in the middle tier. Stop pretending to be something you're not by renting a car. Hurry up. and ask if you can return it, or wouldn't it save you some money? Shin Mayan finished her speech in one breath. The surrounding air instantly fell silent, with everyone watching the unfolding drama, their excitement palpable. Such a blunt and ruthless response was indeed a first. Did Shin Mayan not even give a good person card this time? But she couldn't be blamed, as Zhou Ziyu had received at least a dozen, even dozens of good person cards from her. But this guy never changes. Moreover, he was getting more excessive, privately claiming to be his girlfriend to friends. Shin Mayan had had enough. That's too much. A deep voice suddenly rang out. It was Tang Luochuan. He felt completely uneasy, awkwardly shifting his hands and feet. Shin Mayan's tone was clearly so gentle and sincere, yet her words pierced like daggers, carrying maximum impact. Even as a bystander, he felt embarrassed for Zhou Ziyu. If Shin Mayan had been a bit more sarcastic or snobbish, it would have been fine, ere most people would just say she's materialistic or pretentious. But the way she looked was genuinely caring for Zhou Ziyu, as if advising a friend who clung to delusions. This sincerity only made the situation more awkward and hurtful. Both Zhou Ziyu and Tang Luochuan felt somewhat uncomfortable. The former's face instantly flushed. The latter bit his lip, a mix of emotions swirling inside, wanting to laugh, feeling awkward, pitying Zhou Ziyu, yet also feeling satisfied. It felt like having a pimple on the sole of your foot. The more you scratch, the itchier it becomes. Zhou Ziyu stood beside the Porsche 911, the color draining from his face, his hand gripping the door with bulging veins. He opened his mouth wanting to retort, but found each of Shin Mayan's words like nails hammered in place. Renting a car was true, showing off was true, and being average-looking was also true. But he was unwilling to admit that he was immersed in this enjoyment, suddenly being punctured by someone, and that feeling was incredibly uncomfortable. I never said I was great, I wasn't showing off. I'm just being myself. Then I don't like you. Not at all, never have. And Shin Mayan could hardly contain herself, recalling all those things that annoyed her. She raised her voice. Please tell your friends that I have nothing to do with you. And there has never been any special relationship. Don't look at me with those they understand eyes all the time. It's not that I'm shy to say it, it's that I find it too shameless. With those words, Shin Mayan's emotions erupted. She directly revealed all those troubling matters from the past year. Zhou Ziyu suddenly raised his head, his eyes mixed with shame and astonishment. Tang Luochuan looked down, not daring to speak, his toes pressing hard against the ground. If such a thing were to happen to him, he'd find a crevice to hide in. A considerable crowd had gathered around as students passing by stopped, some peeked out from the teaching building, and even a few who had been playing badminton had their rackets drooping in their hands, all their gazes fixed on him. Those gazes held curiosity, mockery, and schadenfreude, but none of the envy he had anticipated. Mind you, Zhou Ziyu's voice trembled. Do you really have to be this harsh? It's not me being harsh, it's you pushing me to it. Shin Mayan's voice had calmed down. I've given you face many times. But you don't want it, you just get more excessive. She paused, her gaze sweeping over the rented Porsche 911, her own anger subsiding. Girls are still a bit soft-hearted, her tone softened again. You should hurry and return the car, see if you can get some money back. Renting for a day shouldn't be cheap. Then why didn't you tell him? Zhou Ziyu suddenly threw the movie ticket to the ground, pointing at Tang Luochuan and shouting. He rented too, why are you only targeting me? Tang Luochuan rubbed his nose, feeling a bit embarrassed. It's not. I meant. Shin Mayan, Luochuan is different from you, at least he's sincere. And the car isn't rented by him. His clothes are real too. Some people are just talking nonsense online. Zhou Ziyu found a weakness, shouting, not true. The school punished him to go home and reflect. You're saying this isn't rented. Hey, how do you know this so quickly? Tang Luochuan was stunned, then quickly realized. One of those two student council members must have tipped him off. At least Wang Zhangwo as a teacher wouldn't stoop so low. What are you doing? Wang Zhangwo led two student council members out. He had just noticed that the students were crowded at the windowsill or in the lobby watching the commotion. Zhou Ziyu exchanged a glance with the male student council member and quickly looked elsewhere. The reason she received the news so quickly was that the other party had sent her a message. Upon learning that Tang Luochuan had returned to school, he was overjoyed. Luochuan, you should head home early. You should reflect and stay at home, and you. Zhou Ziyu, a sophomore, what does this mean? Wang Zhangwo pointed at the Porsche 911. We just finished dealing with Tang Luochuan, and you're committing the same offense. Zhou Ziyu looked panicked. No, teacher. He'll drive away immediately. I just don't have classes in the afternoon and wanted to go out to play, so I came to school to get something. Lying. Shin Mayan looked down on her even more. Didn't she come to confess to him? It has become about getting something. Wang Zhangwo sighed. No matter what your family conditions are, this is a place for learning. If the students have no objections, we don't care. There are students who drive to school, but this is a special situation. You need to understand the school. If this escalates, how will you resolve it? It won't just be a matter of 7 days of reflection. Yes. Zhou Ziyu nodded repeatedly. Tang Luochuan then asked, Teacher, how big is big? Will it lead to expulsion? What do you mean? I was just asking. Just as he finished speaking, several container trucks slowly drove over, completely blocking the teaching building. Is this big enough? Tang Luochuan thought to himself. Amidst the astonished gazes of everyone, several staff members from the car dealership jumped out of a large truck. At a glance, they spotted Tang Luochuan from yesterday. Mr. Tang, I am from the Porsche dealership. Mr. Tang, I am from the Lamborghini dealership. Your car has arrived. Tang. Mr. Tang. Wang Jingwo looked at Tang Luochuan in surprise. Zhou Ziyu was even more puzzled about what had happened. But the people around had already guessed wisely. The cars in this container must be for delivery. I've seen trucks delivering cars before. There are usually several vehicles in the back, but this can't be true. Those are ordinary cars. Luxury cars are delivered this way. Moreover, this is for the dealership, and personal deliveries are always like this. Really? Is it not a rental? It's not. So this kid, he really has money. Everyone held their breath, waiting for what was to come next. The two male and female student council members had looks of disbelief in their eyes. Tang Luochuan turned around feeling a bit embarrassed and politely said, Teacher, I really had no choice. My car has arrived. They delivered it to me. I don't have a place to park in Modu. I had them deliver it to school first. Once I find a suitable place, I'll have them drive it away. Wang Jingwo was taken aback. Oh, he was now more shocked than rational and didn't know how to handle it. Unload the car. Several staff members shouted to the driver at the back. The 3 container trucks immediately opened up. The tailboard of the container slowly lowered, and the hydraulic rods emitted a low hum. The first Porsche Tycoon shone with a ghostly glow in the rainy weather. The second Panamera was matte black with sharp lines that could cut through the air. The last Lamborghini Aventador was chosen by Tang Luochuan in an eye-catching multicolored design. Mr. Tang, please check the car. The Porsche sales manager handed over a pair of gloves. As per your request, all interior components are customized. The Tycoon features the Burmester sound system, and the Panamera is fully equipped with the SC components. Tang Luochuan took the gloves, but did not rush to wear them. He turned to Wang Jingwo, his gaze carrying a hint of sincerity. Teacher, driving the X7 is not for show. I just checked, and there were cars available at the BMW dealership yesterday. Wang Jingwo opened his mouth, his gold-rimmed glasses sliding down to the tip of his nose. He had been a counselor for 8 years, dealing with cheating, fighting, dating, and even last year there was a student who lost tuition money by trading Bitcoin in the dormitory. But the scene before him, 3 luxury cars delivered to the school in containers, and the owner was the freshman he had just reprimanded for showing off, was beyond his professional comprehension. Oh, teacher understands. The 2 other student council members, the male one, gazed at the 3 luxury cars, filled with shock inside. Combined with the rainy day, the visual impact was extremely strong. Thinking about how he had just pretended to be authoritative, treating the other party with an air of superiority, he felt a sudden wave of shame. No wonder the other party didn't even glance at him. What a pathetic student council. He couldn't even afford these cars if he sold himself. He had just scolded the other party in the office, calling it showing off and a bad trend. At this moment, it felt like countless slaps were hitting his face. The female student council member pressed her lips together, similarly feeling the shock before her. It's over. I just treated him coldly. Does this mean I have no chance now? Who wouldn't love an outstanding guy? Now the girl was thinking about how to ease the relationship with him, how to get him to notice her. But she saw Shen Mayan, who had already lost her senses, beside her. The female student council member felt a weight in her heart. Is Shen Mayan a formidable rival? With such looks and figure, it was impossible to compete. Tang Luochuan didn't waste time. He simply checked the car. Right. I just checked a place not far from here, a hotel. Let's park there. I don't have a home in Modu and am planning to buy a house nearby. Oh, sure. He'll arrange for someone. The Porsche sales manager smiled slightly, but his heart was racing. He doesn't have a house in Modu for now, so he plans to buy one. A freshman just starting school talks to him like this. Is he treating it like a trip to the market? Wang Jingwo finally regained his voice with a sense of resignation. Tang Luochuan, you first. Find a place to park the car. As for the punishment, he took off his glasses and wiped them. He'll go report to the department leaders later and see if we can lift it. Don't, teacher. Tang Luochuan panicked. 7 days are fine, really. I've already arranged it with my family. He was speaking the truth. He had already booked a suite at the W Hotel by the Bund for 7 nights, an executive Riverview room, planning to take this opportunity to try all the Michelin restaurants in Modu. If the punishment was lifted, wouldn't he have to come back for self-study? Senior sister, you should go to class. Don't forget to gather at the entrance in the evening. Oh, all right. I actually have nothing to do in the afternoon. Shen Mayan hurriedly said, as she had no classes in the afternoon. The freshman, on the other hand, had classes, and now that Tang Luochuan was sent home, he naturally had enough time. Hearing Shen Mayan say this, Zhou Ziyu was no longer angry. Her face was not just warm, it was completely red, hotter than a branding iron. Her own 911 was not cheap, but it was a rental. However, the actions of the other party at this moment had fully indicated that he had purchased them. What made him even more desperate was that Tang Luochuan's attention was either on the cars or on Shen Mayan. He hadn't even looked at him. I am a talented person. I am from the finance department. A talented person. A scream of despair erupted deep within him. He understood, but didn't want to admit it. The gap was just too great. He felt like a complete joke. Faced with Shun Muyan's hints, Tang Luochuan touched his nose. His plan was to hang out at the hotel in the afternoon, have dinner in the evening, and check out the rooms tomorrow. Did this senior ask him if he was free in the afternoon? According to his plan, that meant going to the hotel. I have plans this afternoon. Staying temporarily at the hotel. Tang Luochuan glanced at Wang Jiangua. Wang Jiangua gasped. He knew he couldn't stay here any longer, or he would witness a student directly dating. Hurry up and leave, he reminded hurriedly as he rushed back to the classroom. Shen Muyan's mind raced. Hey, I know a particularly good clothing store. Want to go check it out? Tang Luochuan responded. People around them had already started laughing. What did it mean to say a clothing store was particularly delicious? And then go have fun. Shen Muyan's face flushed. She rarely went out and had no idea what was fun. All right, let's go try the dishes at that clothing store. It should be entertaining. They'll come pick you up at noon. Tang Luochuan waved. Please hand me the Lamborghini key. I'll drive that one. With a car, of course, he chose the most expensive one. The prices for 3 cars were Porsche Taycan around 1.5 million, a Porsche Panamera 1.4 million, a Lamborghini Huracan 8 million. In total over 10 million, which was just a bit more than a tenth of Tang Luochuan's daily income. The Lamborghini's door opened and Tang Luochuan got in, waving to Shun Muyan. Just the two of us this afternoon. The girl replied decisively. Her gaze locked onto the boy's face, and with the backdrop of the luxury car, Shen Muyan's confidence solidified. The only concern was how to foster a deeper relationship between them, making their feelings more genuine and stable. She didn't want to be played with and then tossed aside. The car left under the gaze of many. Shen Muyan glanced at the dazed Zhou Ziyu. She knew that the latter would surely give up. There was no deep-seated enmity. The girl, being kind-hearted, gently said, Ziyu, I was too harsh earlier. I'm sorry. Please understand. At that moment, Zhou Ziyu's tears were about to spill. She was deeply hurt. Watching Shun Muyan's departing figure, the last shred of her dignity finally shattered. Returning to the classroom, Shun Muyan sat back at her desk. All the students were discussing the earlier incident as she pretended as if nothing had happened, quietly opened her phone and began looking for nearby places to eat and have fun. It can't be too expensive, otherwise I can't afford it. Shin Muyan smiled, slightly mumbling to herself. She planned to treat the boy to a meal, showing that she wasn't materialistic. After establishing a fair friendship, she hoped to develop further. Muyan, I envy you. Wang Fongfong leaned over. That Tang Luochuan is amazing. I'm not sure. It just felt really good to me. Shin Muyan continued scrolling through her phone. Wang Fongfong glanced back at another roommate, Li Jiaqi. Jiaqi, your eyes are generally poor. You said his clothes were fake. Now what? Do you still think they are fake? The lighting was bad last night. I might have misjudged. Besides, rich people are often stingy. There are also imitation goods. Driving a luxury car already proves that one is wealthy. Wearing imitation goods, no one would dare question it. Li Jiaqi remembered how she pretended to analyze things last night and felt embarrassed, although she couldn't tell the truth from the fake. But such things are hard to prove. Even if the boy was wealthy, in her eyes, he was just someone living on a monthly allowance of several thousand. Parents would surely control. Who knows, maybe he has parents who don't care, arriving in a luxury car, and still 4 of them. Aren't rich families supposed to be well-mannered? Not allowing him to study properly in college, spending every day indulging in pleasures? Even being wealthy shouldn't allow this. She clearly saw the scene downstairs. 3 luxury container cars were indeed eye-catching. Jealousy gnawed at her like a venomous snake. Muyan, Li Jiaqi suddenly spoke. Are you really going out with him? Shin Muyan didn't look up, her fingers still scrolling the screen. Yes, he's coming to pick me up in the afternoon. I advise you to be careful. Li Jiaqi lowered her voice, leaning in a bit. I've seen many boys like him. They cast their nets everywhere with a bit of family money, specifically deceiving innocent girls like you. Shin Muyan's fingers paused. Li Jiaqi caught this moment of hesitation and immediately intensified her warning. You know my ex-boyfriend, right? The one who drove a Maserati at that time. He was even more attentive than Tang Luochuan. And what happened? After sleeping together, he turned cold and switched to another girl. Shin Muyan and Wang Fongfong both knew about Li Jiaqi's ex-boyfriend. He wasn't a student, but a person in society. It was said that he started his own business. Back then, Li Jiaqi was extremely proud, claiming she had crossed social classes. She even said that feelings between students were too childish, while the older brothers outside knew how to care for people. She looked down on these boyfriend-girlfriend relationships in school, saying that sending breakfast flowers or picking someone up after school showed no sincerity. But in the end, she was still dumped. Luo Chuan is not that kind of person. You've only known him for 2 days. Li Jiaqi had a look of exasperation. Such a top-tier rich second generation, would he lack women around him? Why is he so nice to you? What does he want from you? Your sophomore status. Your position in the student council's literary and arts department. Isn't it just because you're pretty? Can't you figure that out? Shenmu Yin fell silent. She recalled Tang Luo Chuan's casualness when he swiped his card to buy an X7, his nonchalant remark about not wearing all his clothes, and how he casually mentioned spending 600 in the game. That kind of complete desensitization to money indeed didn't resemble anyone she knew. Seeing that the moment was ripe, Li Jiaqi sighed and spoke earnestly. I'm not against you dating, I'm just afraid you'll get hurt. Boys from this class are not in the same world as us. They can afford to play. How can you afford to play? Shenmu Yin didn't know how to respond. She couldn't discern whether he genuinely cared for her or had ulterior motives. Wang Fongfong beside her also remained silent, her expression serious. Because what Li Jiaqi said was indeed logical. So what do you suggest? Wang Fongfong asked, genuinely concerned for Shenmu Yin not wanting her friend to be deceived by a scumbag. Shenmu Yin bit her lip, also curiously looking at Li Jiaqi. Li Jiaqi's heart leaped with joy, but her face showed a troubled expression. How about this? He'll accompany you this afternoon. He'll help you observe and see what kind of person he is. If he's sincere, I'll wholeheartedly support it. If he's a scumbag, I can help you cut your losses in time. This? Shenmu Yin hesitated a bit, but I already agreed that it would just be the two of us. Just say your best friend also wants to broaden her horizons and insists on coming along. Ask him, piff him with Fong Fong, what do you have to worry about? If in the afternoon he wants to take you to the hotel claiming he forgot something, once you enter the room, you won't be able to get out. Think carefully if you end up drinking. TSK. Just consider it. If this gets out, even if nothing happened between you two, it wouldn't sound good, right? If it's the 4 of us, there will be no rumors, right? Upon hearing the word hotel, Shenmu Yin's face flushed. She hadn't thought much about it, simply believing that Tang Luo Chuan was staying at a hotel because he had been punished and had nowhere else to go. However, now that Li Jiaqi had pointed it out, she realized the underlying ambiguity. She glanced at Wang Fongfong. Compared to Li Jiaqi, she trusted Wang Fongfong more. At this moment, Wang Fongfong hesitated. She wasn't sure if the other party was a scumbag. But as long as Shenmu Yin maintained her integrity, there shouldn't be any problems. However, on second thought, perhaps this scumbag was highly skilled in deception, much like many telecom fraudsters. With so many tricks and high levels of cunning, even some self-proclaimed clever people could easily fall for it. Thinking this, she nodded, saying it's better to be cautious. Well, all right then, Shenmu Yin replied reluctantly. He'll let him know. At that moment, Tang Luo Chuan was lying in the surprise suite of the W Hotel in the Bund, stretching lazily. Over 4,000 for a night was not expensive for him. The car had parked in the hotel's underground parking lot and could only stay there for now. At this moment, 2 messages came in. Shenmu Yin, can I bring my roommate along this afternoon? They insist on coming and want to see the world. Sorry. Wrong, Jiang Jinhua, aren't you coming to class? Tang Luo Chuan looked at the 2 messages, slightly surprised. He didn't expect that Shenmu Yin would want to bring a friend at the last minute. Nor did he expect the cold and aloof Jiang Jinhua would actually ask him why he wasn't going to class. Jiang Jinhua was unaware that Tang Luo Chuan had been forced to reflect on his actions. However, she had naturally seen what happened in front of the teaching building. But the girl's attitude was always like this. It was already rare for her to take the initiative to ask. Sure. Tang Luo Chuan first replied to Shenmu Yin. He thought for a moment and felt it was quite normal. As a girl, it was better to be cautious, and he could understand. As for Jiang Jinhua, Tang Luo Chuan replied, show off, got sent home. Reflect for 7 days. At school, Jiang Jinhua was expressionlessly looking at her laptop. She casually browsed some study materials, feeling quite bored. There were currently no classes. Next to her was Chun Hao, who had introduced himself last night. He was a local from Magic City, his family and business, and he loved playing golf. Jiang Jinhua, what do you like to do for fun? Tonight my roommate and I are having dinner with your dorm's roommate. Are you coming? The boy was persistently sitting next to her, as university seating was generally casual. Jiang Jinhua, you didn't think much of it. But the girl found it amusing. He was going through too much trouble just to connect with her. Finding his roommate, and then finding her roommate. Then find her. I'm not going, I have plans. Who? Tang Luo Chuan. Chun Hao's heart skipped a beat. He was unsure who that was. It just happened to be Tang Luo Chuan. Last night in the freshman group, many people were chatting, idly talking. Some talked about games, some about rental incidents, while others made plans to hang out. There were even those seeking introductions for dates. And then there were the show-offs flaunting their 2,000 yuan laptops or their several thousand yuan shoes, and others boasting about charming hobbies. But only Tang Luo Chuan, after searching through the entire chat history, had said nothing. However, today's events made everyone understand one thing. It wasn't that Tang Luo Chuan didn't show off, he simply found these people too low-level. Do you know him? Chen Hao felt that Jiang Jin, you probably hadn't been won over by Tang Luo Chuan yet, at least not on the surface. Just met recently. Oh, haha, it seems he's with senior sister Shen, right? Chen Hao seemed to hint to her, thinking that with Jiang Jin Yu's character, she wouldn't be willing to be second best. Jiang Jin Yu continued to stare at her laptop, not looking at him, replying, I don't know. Well, I heard from others that you also talked to him. Is that true? Chen Hao's question echoed what many boys were thinking. In this small area, the boys suddenly fell silent. No, we are just classmates, don't spread rumors. The girl finally showed some emotion, but it wasn't shyness, it was seriousness. Jiang Jin Yu's tone carried a hint of threat, causing Chen Hao's heart to skip a beat, but he then felt happy. Since they weren't dating, there must be a chance. Perhaps Miss Jiang was not swayed by money, as she didn't seem to lack it. According to her roommate, her outfits ranged from a couple of hundred to several tens of thousands. 3 bags, one over 100, one several thousand, and another over 100,000. This was a typical cultured rich girl, not disdainful of lower-priced items, nor unable to afford higher-priced ones. Why don't we invite Luo Chuan for dinner tonight? Chen Hao suggested. Jiang Jin Yu rolled her eyes, saying, you can tell him. From beginning to end, besides warning him not to spread rumors, the girl remained aloof. Everyone was puzzled why she had this attitude. But only Jiang Jin Yu understood that her criteria for choosing a partner had, due to family reasons, naturally locked her in. This lock could not be opened without a certain level of strength. Either extremely outstanding or a match in social standing. She didn't lack a longing for love, but without her parents' blessing, and without an equal relationship, it was destined not to last. Whether it was her marrying down or climbing up, it was very risky. She had always been cold, not because she looked down on others or thought that other boys were necessarily bad. But she was afraid that if she truly encountered someone she liked, she might impulsively rush in without regard. As a result, due to these external factors, she could end up hurt. This could even harm both parties. Finding someone who could be approved by her parents and someone she liked was extremely difficult. Thus, this lock had initially helped her reject many people. She had tried to interact as friends. But would boys genuinely want to be friends with her? Which one would purely want to be friends unless in Chengdu, where pure friendships between the sexes could be found? Not here. Chen Hao was at a loss. How should he tell Tang Luo Chuan? Dinner tonight. Would he afford the high-end places while splitting the bill with him? Chen Hao had some money. His monthly living allowance was 6,500, which was relatively high among students. But for Tang Luo Chuan, that was just not enough. Chen Hao uneasily asked, where are you guys going for dinner tonight? Huang Tingyan. Upon hearing this, he felt even less confident. Clearly this dinner was on Tang Luo Chuan, and he absolutely wouldn't split the bill. He couldn't afford that. This meal could easily cost thousands. Adding drinks could range from tens of thousands to even more. Jiang Jin Yu picked up her phone, and after a while wanted to see if Tang Luo Chuan had replied. As she opened WeChat, she immediately saw Tang Luo Chuan's message show off, got sent home. Reflect for 7 days. The girl couldn't help but laugh out loud. Jiang Jin Yu's smile was like the first melting of ice and snow, leaving the several boys who had secretly been watching her in a daze. What brings you so much joy? Chen Hao couldn't help but ask. Jiang Jinyu quickly suppressed her expression, returning to her cold demeanor. Her fingers, typing rapidly on the screen, deserved it. After sending this message, she thought for a moment and added, do you need me to bring your textbooks for the royal banquet tonight? She felt no pressure chatting with Tang Luo Chuan, because the other party had already unlocked the first lock and was even opening the second. Facing Chen Hao's inquiry, Jiang Jinyu smiled at him for the first time and casually told Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi on the other side, Tang Luo Chuan was sent back home. Did you guys know? Zhang Ming turned back saying, yeah, he texted me and Lao Zhou. It seems like it's for 7 days. This annoying kid. Jiang Jinyu's tone carried a hint of playful reproach. This inevitably led everyone to suspect whether this girl was deceiving them. She had already started talking to the other party, just feeling shy about admitting it. On her side, Tang Luo Chuan replied, burn it over. With a lighter. Jiang Jinyu's smile widened, quickly replying, get lost. She put down her phone and looked around. Everyone looked at her with a bewildered expression. What's wrong? Jiang Jinyu reverted to her goddess image, her aura clearly indicating that if you had no money or status, you should just walk away. Chen Hao didn't say anything else, but felt quite distressed that this woman was just too to his liking. She evoked a strong desire to conquer. To be able to subdue such a girl was the wish of many boys. How about this? At that moment, another boy suddenly spoke up. It was Zhao Kai, the one who liked hand-brewed coffee. Let's invite Luo Chuan and some other classmates. Let's have a dinner gathering tonight. We are all freshmen and should get to know each other. Yesterday was just a simple self-introduction, and I didn't catch everyone's names. This proposal is good. Wasn't Luo Chuan also supposed to have dinner with you? Let's do it as a class. This. Zhang Ming frowned slightly. Zhou Qi was also a bit unhappy he hadn't been to the royal banquet yet. A class gathering. Where could they go? Just find a random restaurant. They'll contact him, one boy said, taking action and directly Tang Luochuan in the group. Tang Luochuan, let's have dinner tonight, class gathering. Are you coming? At that moment, Tang Luochuan was lying on a large bed looking at the nearby buildings. Most of them were large flats. His home had two properties. One was over 90 square meters in an old neighborhood where he lived with his parents, and the other was his grandparents' farmhouse. He preferred large flats over villas as they provided a better view. Over 400 square meters, 30 million. 785 square meters, 50 million. That's decent. A villa, 200 million. Too desolate. After searching for a long time, he planned to choose a 50 million large flat near the school. It could see the Huangpu River and was a 20-minute drive from the school. It was also close to the Bund and Lujiazui. A message popped up. He opened WeChat, which was the class inviting him to the class gathering. Tang Luochuan hesitated as he was still thinking about having a good chat with Shun Mayan tonight. Although he wasn't a scumbag, it didn't stop him from being lecherous. As long as he was responsible after sleeping with someone troublesome. Tang Luochuan wanted to refuse. But at this moment, many classmates in the class had already started responding besides him. Sometimes it's really hard to refuse such collective activities. Classmate A, where to? What time to gather? Classmate B, I searched, there's a nice farmhouse nearby. The price is reasonable. Chen Hao, I know a private chef who can give us a discount. Zhao Kai, how about we go to Juxian Go? It's about 300 per person, still affordable. Classmate C, too expensive, can't afford it, let's keep it under 100 per person. Classmate A, right, just started school, better save on living expenses. Tang Luochuan looked at the group, curling his lips in a cold smile, at this time still pretending. His finger hovered for a moment over the screen, just as he wanted to decline messages in the group, all started pointing towards him. Tang Luochuan, come on. Everyone is waiting for you. Luochuan, give us a face, your self-introduction yesterday was too brief, everyone wants to know you. Yes, Tang Go. Let's get to know each other, we are all classmates. Let's go together. Tang Luochuan. Messages flew up one after another, and in the blink of an eye dozens of messages had been sent, as if the entire class was waiting for him to express his stance. Tang Luochuan felt his eyelids twitch. Were these people in cahoots? Besides a few like Chun Hao who wanted to take this opportunity to observe the relationship between Jiang Jinhua and Tang Luochuan closely, the others genuinely wanted to get to know Tang Luochuan. The girls were looking for opportunities to become part of a trio, quartet, or quintet. The boys thought of him as a top rich young master. Making friends would be beneficial for the future. It's normal for rich people to be flattered. Tang Luochuan, all right then, I might bring a few people along. Is that okay? No problem, I'll bring my girlfriend too. Yes, those with partners can bring them. The group naturally had no objections, but those choosing to bring partners were mostly boys bringing their girlfriends. Currently, there were only about 3 or 4 boys in the class who were dating, and some were those who had come together from high school to the magic capital. The group chat came to an end. Tang Luochuan sent a message to Shun Mayan, plans have changed, we will continue to play in the afternoon. The royal banquet tonight has been changed to a class gathering, come with me. Shun Mayan, your class gathering. Isn't it inappropriate for me to go? Tang Luochuan, they said you can bring your girlfriend, a few classmates are bringing theirs. Girlfriend? Shun Mayan tightened her grip on the phone, carefully examining those words. She hadn't agreed to be his girlfriend, and Tang Luochuan hadn't clarified anything. He just said it was a class gathering, and you could bring your girlfriend, so he was bringing her along. Their relationship wasn't confirmed, yet could she go as his girlfriend to dinner? The ambiguous feeling surged throughout her body, and Shun Mayan instantly blushed. What to do? Continue being ambiguous? Or refuse? Or just simply reply with all right, and wait for the boy to boldly confess again? What are you thinking? Wang Fangfang noticed that something was off with her. Shun Mayan quickly turned off the phone screen and stammered that. Luochuan mentioned that the midday plan remains unchanged, he'll take us out to play. Then tonight. He wants me to attend their class gathering. Was it an invitation from their class for you to go as a senior? Or, he said you can bring a girlfriend in the class. Some classmates are bringing others, so he. This was quite clear, it was a class gathering. If a boy brought someone who wasn't in the class, it definitely couldn't be an ordinary friend or buddy. So isn't it just crashing a meal? It must be a partner. Girlfriend. Wang Fangfang's eyes widened, then she broke into an anti-smile. That's great, Mu Yin, things are progressing so quickly. No, it's not. We haven't. Shen Mu Yan's face turned as red as a ripe apple. Li Jieqi observed coldly from the side, pondering class gathering. Mu Yin, you need to think clearly, Li Jieqi said earnestly. Showing up in that capacity means solidifying the relationship. If he turns out to be a scumbag, how will you face people at school after a breakup? Shen Mu Yin bit her lip and said nothing. At this moment, she was not disturbed by Li Jieqi, just trying to gather her thoughts. She needed a clearer indication of what he meant. He'll go. Shin Muyan's gaze suddenly became resolute. She quickly replied, I can go, but what identity will I go as? Smile. She pushed the question back to Tang Luochuan. She waited for his reply, thinking that boys might need a moment to consider. But soon a message came back. Nothing special. A message that struck her like lightning. Upon seeing it, Wang Fangfang was also a bit stunned, angrily saying, what does this guy mean? Playing games with people, that bastard. Li Jieqi joined in. I told you people like him are tight-lipped. How could he easily give you a promise? If that's the case, then don't go play with him this afternoon. Shin Muyan's finger hovered over the screen, biting her lip, feeling quite disheartened. This answer was too disappointing. Is this what boys mean by dignity? Then forget it. Well, I seem to have something on. This afternoon. I just like senior sister. I want to get to know her better. Can I? Senior sister, give me a chance. I want to be friends with you, and then develop into a romantic relationship. Take this opportunity to get to know me better. Shin Muyan stared at her phone screen, her eyes slightly moist. It wasn't grievance, but a feeling of being struck. She had seen too many pretenses, some self-serving attentiveness, indirect probing, and those intentions hidden behind, by chance, and coincidentally. He. Shin Muyan's voice trembled as she handed the phone to Wang Fangfang. Wang Fangfang finished reading and slapped her thigh. Now this is a normal person. No beating around the bush, no empty promises. If he likes you, he says it directly, and if he wants to pursue you, he makes it clear. Hurry, agree. Go. Wang Fangfang urged anxiously. Shin Muyan couldn't help but smile as she thought the boy was being indirect for the sake of dignity. Just as she was about to send her message, Tang Luochuan's message came again. When you saw the first message, your roommate didn't say anything bad about me, right? Yes. Wang Fangfang turned her head to look, then glanced at the window. That bastard, he isn't secretly watching us, is he? Li Jieqi also laughed awkwardly and sat back down. The boy had been very direct. No matter how hard he tried to intervene, it was impossible to break them apart, but perhaps he still had a chance. Shin Muyan smiled slightly, knowing this guy was deliberately teasing her, still replying, Junior, why are you so bad? I'm angry. I have something on this afternoon. I'm not going. Angry emoji, smirking emoji. Tang Luochuan, then I'll drive back at noon, enjoy a 7-day holiday, and then kidnap you. After sending, Tang Luochuan was dumbfounded. What he meant was forcefully taking her out. His input method had malfunctioned, and the sinful word rape had come out. So he quickly retracted it, but the girl had already seen it. This guy did it on purpose. Wang Fangfang said, her face turning red as she imagined the scene. Shin Muyan forced a smile. I guess it was a mistake. Sure enough, Tang Luochuan sent back again, then I'll drive back at noon, enjoy a 7-day holiday, and then forcefully take you out. The two of them exchanged messages back and forth until almost noon. Tang Luochuan hurriedly tidied up and changed into the luxury clothes he bought yesterday. His hairstyle remained handsome, and he didn't need to dress up too much. Driving his newly bought Panamera, he arrived right at the entrance. Are you a student here? The security guard looked at Tang Luochuan. Yes, I am. You can go in. I'm not going in. It's fine as students can enter. I am reflecting at home. Why? Because I drove in. The rain gradually diminished. At lunchtime, Tang Luochuan waited at the entrance for a while. The girls finally came out, followed by Wang Fangfang and Li Jieqi. Shin Muyan changed her outfit specifically to go out, so it took a bit longer. The outfit she wore this morning felt too much like a neighborly sister, not sexy enough. So she quickly changed into another outfit. Shin Muyan walked out of the school gate, holding a black umbrella, her long black hair fluttering in the wind. She wore a white t-shirt paired with a black tweed Chanel jacket and black leggings that highlighted her long legs, elastic and full. This outfit showcased the senior sister's intellect while releasing a refreshing and proactive feminine charm. Shin Muyan. Tang Luochuan waved senior sister. Shin Muyan quickly responded, coming. The girl in high heels jogged a few steps, looking like a girl who hadn't seen her boyfriend for a long time. She quickly stood beside the boy, looking up and blinking at him. You seem quite tall. The girl smiled slightly. Upon hearing this, Tang Luochuan reached out his hand, placing it flat on top of her head, then smoothly moved it in front of his own eyes. You're just at eye level for me. This action startled the girl, warming her heart, almost like a head pat. Wang Fangfang and Li Jieqi stood by, unsure of what to say. Their feelings were as if they had known each other for a long time, very natural. Good to see you again, senior sister. Tang Luochuan greeted Wang Fangfang, who had played badminton with Shin Muyan yesterday. He also politely nodded to Li Jieqi. Hello. Hello. Li Jieqi couldn't help but size up Tang Luochuan. She wasn't capable of distinguishing real luxury items, as she hadn't seen many. But she could differentiate a scumbag from a decent guy. After all, she was a sea queen. At first glance, she judged the boy with 2 words, high quality. No, it should be 4 words, absolutely high quality. The junior's eyes were clear, calm, and collected. Some scumbags appear calm, displaying gentlemanly demeanor. But upon closer observation, they always show a hint of impatience. Or their words carry a flippant tone. trying to subtly express their interest in you. But when Tang Luochuan looked at her just now, it was merely polite. He had no ulterior motives, and his gaze towards Shen Muyin held more affection. Damn, am I good enough? Is this kid a fool? Li Jiechi felt a bit flustered. The boy was too wealthy, making her feel uneasy. But she also hoped he was easy to deal with. Although she couldn't compare to Shen Muyan's beauty, she wasn't bad. The key is that I have my own means. Tang Luochuan gestured for everyone to board the car. Its matte black Porsche Panamera gleamed with a cool, austere luster beneath the sunlit sky after the rain, so striking it left the three young women breathless. Shen Mayan, though never materialistic, found herself captivated by the vehicle. A flicker of vanity stirred within her. Li Jiechi suddenly stepped forward, beaming warmly. Junior, where are we headed? Let me navigate. We're in Shanghai and I know this city well. Her meaning was unmistakable. She wished to sit in the front passenger seat. Naive Shen Mayan took her at her word and quietly slipped into the rear. This was mid-tier charm, a classic move among seasoned charmers. Yet Tang Jr. played it refreshingly direct. But I'd really like to sit beside senior sister Mayan. Shen Mayan hastily touched her cheeks. Surely, she wasn't running a fever again. They'd flushed several times already today. Oh, Mayan, you don't go out much, do you? Li Jiechi glanced at Shen Mayan, her tone subtly suggestive. Shen Mayan nodded. Yes, I'm not familiar with entertainment spots around here. But I really want to sit beside you. Or, if anyone else can drive, I'll happily sit in back with senior sister. There's no barrier between us after all. Tang Luochuan's stance was crystal clear, and just a touch shamelessly persistent. He wasn't naturally so forthright, but newfound wealth had granted him an unshakable confidence that rendered subterfuge unnecessary. Of course, he wouldn't overstep. As long as his methods remained socially acceptable, most people would readily comply. Neither Li Jiechi nor Wang Fangfang could drive, so they reluctantly let Shen Mayan take the front passenger seat, while Tang Luochuan took the wheel. As soon as he settled in, Tang Luochuan tapped open the satellite map. I've picked them all. It has go-karts and plenty of dining options. Disneyland's off the agenda today. The rain makes it impractical. I'll take senior sister there separately another time. Each line was a deft stroke of flirtation, increasingly overt, yet never crude. Seated up front, Shen Mayan fumbled frantically for her seatbelt, growing more flustered the more she searched, her fingers slipping past the buckle entirely. Is this guy operating at an elite level? Li Jiechi's heart lurched inward at his words. Every sentence hovered delicately on the edge of intimacy, blunt yet polished, disarmingly sincere, infused with the guileless charm of a junior student, utterly impossible to dislike. Click, click. Shen Mayan's fingers scrambled blindly along the side of her seat, still failing to locate the belt. Tang Luochuan turned slightly toward her, voice lowered. Senior sister, I'll help you. No, I can manage myself. Before she finished speaking, he'd already leaned in. His left hand braced lightly against the edge of her seat. His right reached gently toward her waist, his entire upper body now spanning nearly the full width of the front passenger space. He was too close. Instinctively, Shen Mayan recoiled, only to feel the firm resistance of the headrest behind her, leaving her nowhere to retreat. Don't move, Tang Luochuan murmured softly. Found it. He held the pose, his profile grazing almost imperceptibly against her chest. From the rear seats, it appeared as though the junior had nestled his face into his senior sister's embrace. Shen Mayan froze, utterly rigid, afraid to breathe. She distinctly felt it, that fleeting instant when his earlobe brushed something soft. There was no doubt he'd felt it too. Okay, is it done? Her voice trembled, faintly edged with quiet dismay. Tang Luochuan secured the seatbelt with a smooth motion onto the buckle. Click. The belt clicked firmly into place. Only then did Tang Luochuan ease upright, calm and unruffled, as if nothing extraordinary had occurred, then flashed her a playful wink. All set. Senior sister smells wonderful. Let's go. He wore that same disarmingly innocent expression. Shen Mayan sat ramrod straight, paralyzed, not daring to stir. A strange contradictory sensation welled within her, a sense of being tenderly, deliciously teased by someone she truly liked. Though his boldness bordered on audacity, it was precisely him who made it bearable, indeed intoxicating. From the back seat, Li Jiechi watched the entire scene unfold, her pupils contracting in stunned disbelief. What level of mastery was this? She'd seen countless cliches, lecherous men manufacturing accidental contact, false gentlemen masking calculation behind polished manners, lowbrow types who grabbed without restraint. But Tang Luochuan's approach was pure artistry. Natural helping fasten a seatbelt. What could be more reasonable? Brief, a fleeting, seamless touch, leaving no room for protest or even pause. Innocent, that earnest, helpful expression paired with youthful, unspoiled features. How could anyone scold him? Intimate, yet that precise angle, that charged proximity, and that whispered compliment. You smell wonderful. Were unmistakably deliberate. Most crucially, He left Shen Mayan speechless. Could she accuse him of impropriety? He'd merely fastened her seatbelt. Could she deny feeling anything? Then whose pulse thundered so fiercely? Li Jiechi pinched her own thigh, her gaze fixed, complex, unreadable, on Tang Luochuan's nape. This junior wasn't just skilled. He was a master hunter of the highest order. I know I'm flirting with you. You know I'm flirting with you. And yet, you're utterly powerless to stop me. She glanced at Wang Fangfang beside her, still blissfully oblivious. Then at Shen Mayan in the front seat, ears burning crimson, stealing shy glances at Tang Luochuan's profile. Suddenly Li Jiechi realized she hadn't come along as a friend. She'd come to witness a masterclass. Yet all of this only worked because the boy was tall, wealthy, and handsome. Not a single inch could be compromised. Short, rich, and pretending to be younger. That wasn't charming. It was simply childish. Not wealthy. Then it was outright harassment, deserving of a slap across the face. Tall, rich, but ugly. Huh. Devoid of youthful charm and freshness, it would only inspire revulsion. Tang Luoquan pressed the accelerator, smoothly, effortlessly. The Panamera glided forward. Minutes passed in silence, tense, heavy, expectant. Junior, what do you usually enjoy doing? Only Li Jiechi could break the hush. Shen Mayan remained lost in the lingering warmth across her chest, just the faintest, most evanescent brush of contact. Wang Fangfang, meanwhile, remained clueless, purely absorbed in the spectacle. Oh, I play video games, basketball, soccer. Sleep, watch anime, films, scroll short videos. I love strawberries, grapes, cantaloupe, mangoes. And bubble tea, Luckin coffee, and Mishue Ice City lemonade. Oh, right. I have a Mishue Ice City purchase history. Can I actually spend money at Shanghai malls? Tang Luoquan dropped an internet meme. Rumor claimed Shanghai used its own local currency, hu bai, and prices were notoriously steep. Low-income earners weren't welcome, especially those with Mishue Ice City receipts instantly flagged as budget-conscious. Of course it was all in jest. Li Jiechi stayed silent, studying his silhouette once more. Whether he spoke often or not she couldn't say, but these many words clearly hadn't been meant for her. They'd been spoken solely for Shen Mayan, to help her discover shared interests, common ground. You also like anime. And bubble tea. Sure enough, Shen Mayan seized upon the connection. Tang Luoquan suppressed a private smile. He didn't particularly care for either. He'd simply tossed out a handful of popular hobbies, confident one would land. Senior sister, treat me to bubble tea. How about it? He added, pressing the accelerator lightly. Huh, me, eh? Shen Mayan snapped back to reality, startled, her expression bewildered. Li Jiechi rolled her eyes behind them. This wasn't a request for a treat. It was a carefully staged gesture delivered straight to her doorstep. A few cups of bubble tea, nothing extravagant. Yet later he'd return the favor with a gift of substantial value framed as repayment. Unobtrusive, unobjectionable, flattering to her generosity. Every detail, flawlessly orchestrated. This guy's got it down to an art form. Li Jiechi muttered silently to herself. In less than half an hour the car stopped at the underground parking lot of the shopping mall. 4 people got out of the car. Li Jiechi, feeling disinterested, had been chatting up a storm along the way. However, Tang Luochuan always managed to take the opportunity to flirt with Shen Muya. Instead, he became the wingman. Upon reaching the first floor, Tang Luochuan insisted on having milk tea, looking just like a cheerful little puppy. Just pretend. Keep pretending I've given up. I can't deal with this. Li Jiechi felt exhausted. Earlier, he had deliberately asked Tang Luochuan how many girlfriends he had dated, only for this guy to shamelessly claim he had never dated anyone. There were absolutely no flaws to be found. He then subtly hinted to Shen Muya not to accept gifts from others casually, or she would owe them. Tang Luochuan, looking somewhat silly, surprisingly agreed, and kindly told Shen Muya, Jiechi Sr. has rich experience, Muya Sr. should learn from him. This is all knowledge. What nonsense, it's just mocking me for having more relationships, right? Li Jiechi knew he had been seen through, but since he was already there, he had to bravely continue. Shen Muya took Wang Fangfang aside to buy milk tea, while Li Jiechi stood still waiting. He cast a glance at Tang Luochuan. Junior, a girl's voice carried a playful tone, which was a good opportunity to exchange WeChat. He wanted to take one last shot. All right, senior sister, stop the nonsense. Just enjoy life, I'm not interested in you. Tang Luochuan's expression suddenly changed, becoming sharp. Huh. Li Jiechi felt a bit dazed, as if he didn't recognize the boy in front of him. Tang Luochuan's tone was steady, completely devoid of any puppy-like demeanor. I've been tired all the way. I have a crush on Muya Sr. She's a good girl, but you're quite dangerous. Today I'll treat you to lunch while play go-karting and catch a movie. He then pulled out his phone and opened WeChat. Add me. Help me look after Muya Sr. If anything happens to her, let me know. Making friends is better than having more enemies. Li Jiechi was stunned. He hadn't expected the other person to change so quickly. Her anger also flared up. Are you having fun playing with me? I haven't played around, don't say random things. You? Are you saying it's fun to deceive us? Tang Luochuan chuckled lightly, quite certain The puppy act is a facade, but my happiness is real. If you hadn't been here today, I wouldn't have to act so dumb. Be honest, don't play tricks. Li Jiechi hesitated for a few seconds, then relaxed. Hee. All right. She had nothing more to say. Any further discussion would lead to a quarrel. But Tang Luochuan was right. Making friends was better than having more enemies. For a moment, Li Jiechi's fondness for the boy skyrocketed. Although she knew it was unlikely, it didn't conflict with her feelings. At least it proved that the boy was quite mature. The two added each other as friends. The milk tea is here. Shen Muya and Wang Fangfang came over holding the milk tea. Tang Luochuan switched to a friendly smile. Thank you, senior. Let's go eat. In front of the Japanese restaurant, Tang Luochuan also didn't want to be stingy. Let's try something new. He led the way inside. As soon as they entered, Shin Muya grabbed the boy's arm. Tang Luochuan turned back. What's wrong? Shin Muya glanced at the server nearby, awkwardly smiled, and leaned closer to Tang Luochuan, whispering, Luochuan, this place looks quite expensive. I know you're wealthy, but since this is our first outing, we can just eat something casual. I've been eating casually for years today, I don't wanna. And Tang Luochuan suddenly stopped mid-sentence. Shin Muya wondered what else. Sister, you really smell great. Shin Muya quickly stepped back, looking at him nervously yet reproachfully, as they had indeed been very close moments ago. The girl spoke. You're being inappropriate. Come on, it's my first time here too. Without further ado, Tang Luochuan took the girl's arm. Shin Muya obediently followed him inside. In the Japanese restaurant, the warm yellow light illuminated the wooden partitions, and a faint scent of sake wafted through the air. Tang Luochuan waved his hand and directly requested a private room. The server handed over the menu, and without even glancing at the prices, he swiftly tapped on the iPad. This, and this. 2 servings of sashimi platter, A5 wagyu beef. Do you have sea urchin? If it's fresh, bring 4 servings. Hey. Shin Muya quickly interrupted. We can't eat this much. I'm not very hungry. She clearly remembered that Li Jiechi had previously told her to be mindful of the prices when someone else treated them to a lavish meal. No free lunch if we eat well. But if the conversation doesn't go smoothly, what if they ask for split bills? This made sense, and Wang Fangfang also remembered it clearly. Shin Muya kept this in mind. Although she was looking forward to it, she didn't dare to let her guard down. It's fine, just eat. The junior is treating us, and don't embarrass him. Li Jiechi suddenly spoke up. Shin Muya and Wang Fangfang looked at each other. This girl hadn't said that before. What are you looking at me for? Luochuan is treating us. We poor students definitely can't afford it. Let's just enjoy the privilege. Li Jiechi smiled slightly with a hint of flirtation and suggestion, patting Shin Muya on the shoulder. Muya, mainly it's because of your charm. Good assist. Tang Luochuan felt happy inside. It was indeed very useful for Li Jiechi to turn around and help him. What does it have to do with me? Shin Muya whispered, looking down. She had no romantic experience, as she had been disoriented after being stirred up by Li Jiechi. Now the other party had changed their attitude again, and she didn't know what to do. The dishes were being served one by one. The few of them were hungry and began to eat, with Li Jiechi and Wang Fangfang feeling no psychological burden at all. They were enjoying their meal. Tang Luochuan chatted with them casually, mostly asking when the courses would become lighter in the first year. He thought to himself, having a wonderful university time wouldn't be too bad. Mainly relationships in college were still relatively pure, being able to date and find a girlfriend was pretty good. Upon learning that it wouldn't be until at least October 1st, during the National Day holiday, that things would ease up a bit, the boy felt somewhat disappointed. Meanwhile, Shin Muya, holding her chopsticks, was eating slowly like a peripheral character. But she knew that in this relaxed atmosphere, the course still revolved around herself and Tang Luochuan. Li Jiechi poured himself another glass of clear wine, saying, Luochuan, this toast is for you, thank you. Tang Luochuan smiled and clinked glasses with him. Li Jiechi looked at him, suddenly feeling a bit dazed. This guy is truly generous. She couldn't help but glance at Shin Muyin beside her. Muyin was nibbling on a piece of tuna. She was all too familiar with this feeling. Someone who was used to being poor suddenly being treated with real money, the first reaction is not happiness but panic. They say money is for women to see, not for women to spend. Little brother, you're quite alright willing to spend money on Mu, Yin, Li Jiechi suddenly remarked. The atmosphere became a bit ambiguous. Who says a junior can't be kind? I see he has ulterior motives. Huh. This statement amused Tang Luochuan, and he replied, sister, what you said seems reasonable, but in reality it increases the cost of dating for guys. Why? Because girls also understand this saying, and they're afraid guys will think of it as showing off to girls without spending money on them. So, he sighed, now girls they want act unless they see something tangible. They're getting smarter. Li Jiechi pondered, indeed. Girls have learned their lesson here, and naturally the cost of dating has gone up. Not including me, Shun Mu Yin suddenly interjected. Originally, it was just a casual conversation between Tang Luochuan and Li Jiechi, but Shin Mu Yin felt everything hinted at her. I wasn't talking about you. Li Jieqi rolled his eyes. Don't bring everything back to yourself, or we're just chatting. Oh, Shunmu Yin still nervously glanced at Tang Luo Chuan, who thoughtfully handed her a tissue, saying, sister, wipe your mouth. Li Jieqi had completely given up on flirting with guys, so she took the initiative to help the two improve their relationship. She nudged the boy hard. Can't you help her wipe? Can't you even do that? Tang Luo Chuan was taken aback. This girl was a bit too bold. No need, I'll do it myself. Shunmu Yin quickly took the tissue. After the meal, everyone was full. As they headed out, Li Jieqi put her arm around Shunmu Yin and whispered in her ear, Mu Yin, this boy is quite good. Make sure to seize the opportunity. How do I seize it? I don't know how. Just listen to him, he will. In front of the go-kart club, Shunmu Yin hesitated. 180 for 2 people, 8 minutes. This price-performance ratio was a bit low for her and Wang Fangfang. 180 for just a few minutes. That's not worth it. Shunmu Yin tugged at the boy's shirt. When you're out to have fun, don't talk about money. Let's play a few more rounds. But Shunmu Yin wanted to say something else, but recalling Li Jieqi's reminder, she gave up. She didn't have those tactics and could only listen obediently. Tang Luo Chuan rented a go-kart for Wang Feifei and Li Jieqi, each letting them play freely. Meanwhile, he and Shunmu Yin sat in a 2-seater go-kart. He gave the driver's seat to Shunmu Yin as he was here to flirt, not to drive. Sister, relax, don't be nervous. Oh, have you played before? No. It's my first time. Haha, sister's first time is actually with me. When Shunmu Yin just grasped the steering wheel and heard this, she was completely stunned. She didn't even dare to respond. What did it mean that her first time was with him? Tang Luo Chuan was quite pleased with the current situation as the girl was already blushing from his teasing. Just a little more push. Just as he thought this, the girl started the car. Vroom. Shunmu Yin slammed the accelerator to the floor, and the go-kart surged forward like a runaway horse. Holy crap. Sister, slow down. Tang Luo Chuan was thrown back against the seat due to inertia, nearly biting his tongue. Shunmu Yin gripped the steering wheel tightly. Her mind was blank, unable to hear Tang Luo Chuan's voice. She couldn't even feel the speed of the car, driving purely on instinct. Relax. Relax. Don't grip the steering wheel so tightly. Tang Luo Chuan's voice trembled from the back seat. He regretted it, truly regretted it. If he had known, he wouldn't have teased so much. This wasn't flirting, it was playing with life. I can't relax. Shunmu Yin's voice trembled. What you just said? My mind is so chaotic. I'm scared. Hit the brakes. Oh, just as he finished speaking, Shunmu Yin pressed the accelerator even harder and the car sped up. Bang. The nearby protective tire was dented and the go-kart finally came to a stop. Both of them were breathing heavily. Shunmu Yin leaned on the steering wheel, tears streaming down her face uncontrollably. She wasn't angry at Tang Luo Chuan, but hated her own helplessness. Clearly the boy was bullying her, but she couldn't retaliate with words like Li Jieqi. She could only endure in silence. It wasn't about falling out, but rather feeling unable to connect with Tang Luo Chuan. Moreover, she had crashed the car, which was truly foolish. Muyin, are you okay? Tang Luo Chuan hurriedly unbuckled his seatbelt and immediately held the girl beside him. On the other side, Wang Fangfang and Li Jieqi were having a great time and also noticed what was happening over here. Did Muyin crash the car? Wang Fangfang had just completed a lap and said, let's go take a look. Li Jieqi, driving the go-kart behind, shouted loudly, don't go over there. I can feel how happy this little brat Tang Luo Chuan is from here. Look at him holding Mu Yin in his arms, his smile can't be suppressed. Over here, Shunmu Yin was nestled in the boy's embrace, quietly sobbing. I'm sorry I messed up. It's okay. Let's not play this anymore. Let's see if there's something else. Is that all right? Tang Luo Chuan helped the girl get down. Shunmu Yin was completely unaware of how ambiguous their actions were. Still immersed in the earlier first time and the moment of crashing. This was not what she had imagined. It was supposed to be fun, yet she ended up crashing. Shunmu Yin felt very guilty. I'm sorry for ruining your fun. Tang Luo Chuan felt amused inside. I'm having a great time with you right now. But he said it's fine, it doesn't matter. On the other side in the classroom, the self-study period had long ceased to be a self-study period. Everyone was chatting and playing games. The location for the class gathering was set at a local restaurant costing just around 180. I think if it doesn't work out, let's eat Western food next time. My sister and I often go to a Western restaurant over at Xinyiandi. I think a private kitchen is good. $300 is actually not expensive. Chen Hao Sun, Lei Zhao Kai, and a few other boys were still chattering away. Zhang Ming leaned on the table and whispered, it's just that Luo Chuan isn't here, and everyone is pretending to be upper class. Jiang Jinyue was feeling a bit tired. Who could endure a whole day's self-study? It was almost 4 o'clock and class was about to end. She turned to Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi asking, what time is Tang Luo Chuan coming? Is he still coming to school? The girl's voice was cold, yet it did not create any discomfort. Zhang Ming glanced at his phone and replied, it seems he went to watch a movie with his senior sister. Zhou Qi subtly kicked Zhang Ming, signaling him to speak less. He secretly sent a message to old Zhang. Just said, he doesn't know, Jiang Jinyue is hard to read. I wonder if she has any feelings for old Tang. Let's not mention senior sister Shun. Zhang Ming replied, got it, it's a battlefield of love. I understand. Both boys were aware that Jiang Jinyue spoke to them not out of a desire to make friends. It was purely because of Tang Luochuan. Every two sentences seemed to revolve around him. However, Jiang Jinyue had a proud nature as she wouldn't take the initiative to chat with Tang Luochuan too much, merely pretending to be indifferent while inquiring about him through Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi. Ding ding ding, the class bell rang, and Jiang Jinyue stretched lazily. She couldn't help but think about whether Tang Luochuan was having a good time with Shenmu Yan. Taking out her phone again, she opened the selfie camera, looking at herself on the screen. She also thought about Shenmu Yan's face. It should be about the same. This guy, why didn't he invite me out to play? Throughout the entire afternoon, Tang Luochuan hadn't sent Jiang Jinyue a single message. It was understandable for the girl to be a bit proud, as she had been living this way for over a decade. Especially during high school, any boy who added her as a friend was exceptionally considerate. Yet this guy, their conversations would end in just 2 sentences, and he would say nothing more. Just as Jiang Jinyue stuffed her phone into her bag, a sudden commotion came from the back door of the classroom. Wow, what's going on? Is that a rose? She frowned and turned around only to see a crowd gathered in the hallway. Chen Hao and others also seemed puzzled. A rose. This must be a confession. In the next moment, a boy dressed in a high-end suit walked in, followed by several people carrying a large bouquet of roses. The bouquet was absurdly large, consisting of 999 Ecuadorian roses layered and wrapped in gold-foiled paper. Jinyue. All eyes turned to Jiang Jinyue, scanning back and forth between the two. However, one thing was certain, no one at school had heard of this person. The huge commotion attracted many students to watch. Some sophomores and juniors confirmed that this boy was not from their school. Who is this guy? A senior? No, the car parked outside is a Rolls-Royce Phantom. This guy looks alright. If he were a student here, I would have definitely heard about him over the years. Wow, this freshman girl is also quite impressive. Jiang Jinyue, I heard her family is well off. How do you know that? Any girl who is somewhat pretty has a lot of attention, isn't it normal to know a bit? The boy's appearance indicated he was older, and he didn't really look like a student from the school. His demeanor and posture resembled that of a successful person from society. Gao Gu. Jiang Jinyue felt a bit dazed. How could she not recognize this person? 10 years ago, they were good friends, as she was still in elementary school back then. He was the son of her father's business partner, Uncle Gao Mingxian. Gao Mingxian's voice was warm as jade, 4 years older than Jiang Jinyue. He was tall and leggy with an air of calmness unique to elite families. Congratulations on turning 18. He handed her the flowers, and his assistant presented a box which opened to reveal a luxurious Cartier necklace. Just a token of my appreciation. The classroom instantly erupted into chaos. This must be a confession. What's the situation? Called Tang Luochuan. Which Tang Luochuan? The one who drove the luxury car today. If he didn't drive home, that would be interesting. Jiang Jinyue bit her lip. If the gift hadn't been roses, she would have accepted it. But now it was different, as she was an adult, and she understood very well what roses represented. Does Uncle Gao know you are here? She wanted to confirm if Gao Mingxuan's intentions were his own, or if they were from the Gao family. Gao Mingxuan's smile faltered for a moment before returning to normal. Of course, my dad also asked me to send his regards to Uncle Jiang. The two families have had connections for many years. When you had your comingafage ceremony, I was abroad. I'm very sorry to have missed it, so I'm here to make it up to you today. Jiang Jinyue was taken aback. The Gao family had indeed sent him here, and her father had accurately guessed. Jiang Jinyue's father did not support family marriages. He was relatively open-minded, but would not allow Jiang Jinyue to mess around. There were still criteria for choosing partners. As for the Gao family, the current situation was grim, with tight funds, facing huge risks. Her father, Jiang Deming, had already anticipated some circumstances and specifically instructed her to keep her distance from the Gao family. Maintain basic courtesy, but do not get too close. Therefore, at this moment, Jiang Jinyue felt no pressure regarding family marriage, as she was merely astonished at her father's foresight. He truly guessed it. I want to accept the gifts and flowers, thank you, brother. Welcome back. If this were something Shenmu Yan said, it would definitely be incredibly gentle. But Jiang Jinyue almost recited it, as if reading lines. There was not a trace of emotion. Gao Mingxian maintained a polite smile. Did I overdo it? Haha, I'm sorry. He glanced at Chun Hao, Zhao Kai, and Sun Lei. Internally, he thought, no threat here. Average looks, average fashion sense. The aura is rather frivolous. So he couldn't appear too eager. Gao Mingxian retracted the gift box. If you don't want it, then don't. How about this? How about I treat you to dinner tonight? You used to follow me around all the time when we were kids. Although they had a good relationship during childhood, it was merely a friendship among children. Let's save it for another day. I have dinner plans with my classmates today. Another day? All right, I'll go with what you say. This excuse was rather satisfactory. Gao Mingxian remained unfazed and stepped forward. Genius, study hard. If you need help, feel free to ask me. I just returned and have taken on a project. He deliberately paused. A 200 million investment. The location is not far from your school, so call me anytime. Let me know when you have time, and I'll come to pick you up. The distance he maintained was just right. It prevented any discomfort. Jiang Jingyue nodded slightly. Okay, I'll contact you when I have time. Gao Mingxian returned a smile. He did not expect success today. In fact, he had no intention of settling things with Jiang Jingyue today. His purpose was to assert his claim. Learning that Jiang Jingyue had entered university and that classes had started, the Gao family could not afford to be slow. Jiang Deming was not budging, insisting on the freedom of love. Thus, Gao Mingxian hurried to Modu. He understood very well that after graduating from high school, once entering university, the primary goals are not just to study hard, but also to find a partner. Jiang Jinyu's looks. How could there be a shortage of pursuers? So today's Rolls-Royce 999 roses and that necklace were all displays of his strength. They weren't meant for Jiang Jingyue, they were meant for other boys to see. Want to pursue Jiang Jingyue? They better weigh their own strength. I am the benchmark. Gao Mingxian casually glanced over Chun Hao and the others. The expressions on the faces of the boys instantly became extremely unnatural. A 200 million project, the aura of social elites, a Rolls-Royce, a valuable Cartier necklace. None of this was something they could aspire to. Yet even so, Jiang Jingyue still decisively refused. They were not afraid of Tang Luochuan. After all, Tang Luochuan clearly had his heart set on Shenmuya, showing little warmth towards Jiang Jingyue. As long as they didn't provoke Shenmuya, there would be no issue. No one would be foolish enough to confront Tang Luochuan hidden. As for Jiang Jingyue, her relationship with Tang Luochuan was ambiguous. At least on the surface, they were merely ordinary friends, not even that. This also led Chun Hao and the others to harbor some false hopes, thinking they still had a chance. However, as soon as Gao Mingxian appeared, that glimmer of hope was instantly crushed. The man before them exuded an oppressive aura, even stronger than Tang Luochuan's. Throughout the encounter, Tang Luochuan had not sent a single message. Yet she had already been publicly cornered in the classroom by a top-tier rich second generation, making a grand declaration of ownership. Fellow students. Gao Mingxian's gaze locked onto Chun Hao and the others, who clearly had ulterior motives. Otherwise, why did their expressions look somewhat dejected upon her arrival? The others were quite candid. Fellow students, please take care of my Jingyue. Jinyu's friends are my friends, and I'll treat you all to a meal when I have the chance. Gao Mingxian's high-profile declaration of ownership made those with thoughts retreat. With the goal achieved, there was no need for him to linger, lest it provoke Jiang Jinyu's displeasure. Jinyue, I'm leaving now. The boy smiled slightly, and then turned to leave. Jiang Jinyue also made an effort to return a smile, but after he left, her expression finally showed some impatience. What a weirdo. After muttering a curse under her breath, she looked around again. The boys' gazes had cleared up considerably. There was no way around it, they had been outclassed. At this moment, everyone in the room thought of 3 words: Tang Luochuan. Chun Hao and the others were thinking about this new student they had just met, and the reason was simple: Gao Mingxian's appearance had stung everyone. Yet they had no ability to reclaim their dignity, so they habitually relied on a third party. That would be Tang Luochuan. If that guy were here, there would definitely be a good show to watch. At this moment, Tang Luochuan was in a movie theater. He had no idea what the movie was about, and the girl beside him was completely absorbed in it. He had arranged for Wang Fangfang and Li Jiaqing to sit in the middle of the theater while he sat in the best back row with Shenmuya. Senior sister, do you think that was a French kiss? Senior sister, the male lead's posture is so ambiguous. Senior sister, why did the screen suddenly go black? Why were the male and female leads breathing so heavily? Shenmuya didn't explain anything. It was a French kiss. It was ambiguous. The screen went black because it was rated 18. They were breathing heavily because they were tired. But she couldn't say that, and yet Tang Luochuan kept asking. She didn't believe this guy didn't understand. Luochuan, stop teasing me. I can't be teased like this. Don't mess around. Shenmuya finally begged for mercy. Tang Luochuan leaned closer to her. Sister, can you? I want to understand first. Let's take it slow. Shenmuya whispered. It had only been a little over 24 hours. How could she let a junior brother win her over? She wanted to save face, but couldn't get over the hurdle in her heart. Tang Luochuan was neither impatient nor anxious. I mean, sister, can I hug you? Like a younger brother hugging an older sister. Pervert, pervert, pervert. Younger brother. You're just being a rogue. But I really like it. Shenmuya struggled internally. It's very simple. Don't Westerners greet each other with a hug, and even a cheek kiss? There's nothing to it. Tang Luochuan quietly placed his hand behind the girl's seat, wrapping his entire arm around her back. Shenmuya felt her face flush, hesitating. You can't mess around. Not messing around. Just a hug. As he spoke, Tang Luochuan's arm encircled her shoulders. Well, just for a moment. Okay. Shinmuya was completely stiff and didn't dare to move. Senior sister, why are you trembling? He turned his head, his breath next to her ear. I am not trembling. Shinmuya bit her lip, her eyes fixed on the screen, but she hadn't absorbed a single word of what was playing. Oh. Shinmuya decided to play dead. Tang Luochuan didn't pressure her, maintaining their half-hugging position. The darkness of the back row became the best cover. Gradually, Shinmuya relaxed, her shoulders no longer tense, and even subtly leaned closer to him. The climax of the movie arrived, and the male and female leads finally embraced in a kiss. In the audience, there was another couple secretly kissing. Senior sister, look over there, it's more beautiful than the movie. Tang Luochuan pointed to a nearby corner. The two young lovers were already locked in each other's embrace. Shinmuya followed his finger and glanced over, but in an instant she quickly withdrew her gaze. What's so good about that? Have you tried it? No. Neither have I. How about we give it a try? What kind of absurd words were these? What sort of logic was that? Shinmuya felt the arm around her shoulders tighten, even more, holding her tightly. Shall we give it a try, senior sister? I want to try. But. Wang Fongfong and Li Jiaqing are in front, they can't see us. But, they're a couple. Who says so? I saw those two use student IDs to buy tickets earlier. They could also be a senior sister and junior brother. As he spoke, Tang Luochuan leaned down closer, gently pressing down on the girl's head, and they were mere inches apart. They could feel each other's breath. Just once, it'll be fun. Tang Luochuan continued to tempt her. Just once. Okay. Shinmuya's lips were softer than she had imagined, carrying a hint of sweetness. She had no idea what was happening, but Tang Luochuan was clear. Love could take its time, or wasn't it that the girl didn't want to establish a relationship so early? No problem. But that didn't prevent him from kissing her, nor did it prevent him from sleeping with her. This kiss was not a mere touch, and part Tang Luochuan had taken advantage, and it wouldn't be easy to retreat. His tongue gently pried open her teeth. Shinmuya felt somewhat breathless, instinctively wrapping her arms around his neck. Minutes later, Tang Luochuan had also grown tired of kissing. He leaned back in his seat, breathing heavily, savoring the sweetness lingering between their lips, boasting shamelessly, "Phew. Thank you, senior sister, for teaching me how to kiss." Tears welled up in Shinmuya's eyes, not out of grievance, but more from nervousness and daze. Her mind kept racing. What exactly did I do? He took my first kiss away. After leaving the cinema, Li Jiaqi and Wang Fongfong were still discussing the plot they just watched. Tang Luochuan bought ice cream for the two and gestured for them to go chat somewhere else. Neither he nor Shinmayan had watched for more than a few minutes. Shinmayan, however, was consumed by thoughts of the kiss. I should agree to be his girlfriend now. Because we kissed. But he didn't confess. How can I agree? Should I confess? But it's only been a day, what will others think? Just because he has a luxury car and took me out for an afternoon means I'm his girlfriend. For a whole year, no one could pursue Shinmayan. So just because he has a Porsche, he thinks he can get me in one afternoon. I'm not that kind of person. The girl was resolute in her heart, knowing she couldn't fall. But riding in a luxury car, I must admit, feels quite nice. Luochuan, you mustn't say such things. Shinmayan's voice was almost inaudible as she mumbled. Tang Luochuan nodded. Don't worry, I won't say anything reckless. If senior wants to kiss, she can just come to me. I will be the exclusive kissing brother of my senior from now on. You. Shinmayan felt like she was going crazy if this guy was too good at this. The car left the mall. It headed straight to the school. She wouldn't be able to go to the royal banquet tonight, so she dropped Wang Fongfong and Li Jiaqi off. Tang Luochuan was preparing to take Shinmayan to the restaurant they had agreed on. The local restaurant Jiang Nanli. By the time they arrived, the private room was already filled with classmates. Luochuan, over here. Zhang Ming waved warmly, then saw Shinmayan and nodded slightly. Senior Shun. Hello. Shinmayan relaxed upon seeing more people around. With so many present, this guy shouldn't act recklessly. But she was mistaken. Tang Luochuan was certain that as long as he brought Shinmayan along, everyone would assume their relationship was confirmed. Then there was no need for further explanations. He had convinced the girl that he wanted to get to know her better. The girl believed that Tang Luochuan had that intention, but she couldn't control what the other students thought. Many were whispering, "Hey, everyone has brought their girlfriends." Tang Luochuan brought a senior. It's obvious he's got it sorted. Impressive. If I had that much money, I could too. Oh, please, you look like Wu Dalong. Is Tang Luochuan Wu Song? No, he's Shimanqing. You just look at this guy, he's a playboy. At this moment, someone started to tease Luochuan. Why did you bring a senior? What's the relationship? Shinmayan, hearing this, didn't dare speak, wanting to see how Tang Luochuan would handle it. At this point, Tang Luochuan also stopped pretending to be innocent, boldly sitting at the boys' table. My girlfriend. What's wrong? Aren't you allowed to bring someone? He had thought it through. Shinmayan definitely wouldn't dare refute him. They had already kissed. How could she argue against it? If not, then why kiss? Then why kiss? I. Shin Mayan thought he should be a bit more subtle, explaining to classmates that they were still in the early stages. That was fine, a preemptive strike. Just as she was about to say something, her phone suddenly vibrated. A message from Tang Luochuan's sister. I need face. Help me out here. Everything was clear to Shin Mayan. It was all a trap. She understood that kissing was not a lesson in kissing, it was just this guy taking advantage. She knew that saying she was his girlfriend was not just for appearances, it was Tang Luochuan's overbearing possession. She recognized that it was all a pitfall, yet she couldn't help but jump in. I'm not. We haven't started dating, ew, I'm a senior. She thought. Shin Mayan replied, just this once. The atmosphere at the dinner table was still quite lively. Just that afternoon's events were still fresh in everyone's memory. Jiang Jinhua sat at the girls' table closely observing Shin Mayan's every move. In her heart, she had an answer. The two were definitely together. So, she should be next. This was a good opportunity to observe Tang Luochuan. After all, this was one of the few chances that might even satisfy both herself and her parents. But she overthought it. As soon as they entered, Tang Luochuan ignored her. He went straight to the boys' table, engaging in some futile socializing. Zhou Qi put his arm around his shoulder and whispered, Lichuan, do you know what happened while you were gone this afternoon? A tall, rich, and handsome guy came to our class. Tang Luochuan drank his beverage, feeling like the popcorn in his stomach was about to burst with no appetite at all. Oh really? A new classmate? No, he's pursuing Jiang Jinhua. Isn't that normal? As he spoke, Tang Luochuan yawned, finding no interest in such gatherings. It was all just pointless chatter. But he wasn't interested. The other boys were chatting enthusiastically. That guy drove a Phantom, 999 roses, and a diamond necklace. After hearing this, Tang Luochuan couldn't help but laugh. No wonder he found Chun Hao and the others so quiet when he entered. They had been overwhelmed this afternoon. However, thinking of this, he also planned to give Shin Mayan a surprise. But roses were a bit cliché, and the necklace was too expensive. Not the right time yet. Rolls-Royce. Internet celebrity car? Not my style. Just then, all the girls suddenly stood up. One girl said, we're all here, let's raise a glass together. The boys eagerly responded, standing up and walking into the middle to clink glasses. Jiang Jinhua and Tang Luochuan were the last to rise from their respective tables. Holding their glasses, both looked rather unenthusiastic. Suddenly, Jiang Jinhua walked through the crowd and approached Tang Luochuan. Was the movie good? I didn't pay attention. Tang Luochuan held his glass, glanced at the girl, and clinked glasses directly. Cheers. Jiang Jinhua didn't expect him to be so decisive. She hadn't come over just to clink glasses. She continued, how much was it? It was completely small talk. 78. How many can you watch? Anyone will do. What's it about? I only saw kissing. Luochuan. Shin Mayan was not far away, hearing the words kissing and thinking this guy's mouth had slipped. What? Shin Mayan walked over, her face flushed. Don't say such things. I didn't say anything reckless. Okay. I'll listen to my sister. Several people around gasped in surprise. Just now, the interaction between Jiang Jinhua and Tang Luochuan felt like the girl was a bit more enthusiastic while the boy was rather indifferent. But now, this bastard is pretending to be innocent. Jiang Jinhua was somewhat alert. Oh, what did this mean? Did Shin Mayan not want Tang Luochuan to talk to her? Is asking about a movie not okay? Oh, senior, you misunderstood. I just came over to ask if the movie was good, mainly because... Jiang Jinhua hesitated about whether to respond to such ambiguous hints. After all, she was a cool girl. So it must be subtle, mainly because no one invited me. Oh, I misunderstood. I'm sorry, Shin Mayan quickly apologized. However, Tang Luochuan looked at Jiang Jinhua with a hint of surprise. The girl felt a stir in her heart. This guy understood. Yes, I'm hinting for you to invite me to the movie. Your family is so wealthy. 78 yuan, and you still need someone to treat you. Why are you so stingy? Tang Luochuan faced the girl he liked, naturally exhibiting high emotional intelligence. In front of Jiang Jinhua, however, he was just a straightforward guy, only grasping the surface meanings. He did not delve deeply or contemplate. But Shin Muya understood. The girl's subtle thoughts were not particularly obscure. She merely accompanied that cold face, making it hard for others to guess. Luochuan, how could you say that? Shin Muya grabbed Jiang Jinyu's hand, saying, let's go, ignore him. Let's go to the side. Tang Luochuan stood there, still bewildered, with a confused expression. What did I say? Just speaking the truth. Jiang Jinhua was pulled aside by Shin Muya, feeling both amused and helpless. Sister Muya, I'm sorry. I know this isn't the right time. It's okay, I understand. Shin Muya glanced back at Tang Luochuan. He can't be the only one who I understand. You're also good. Can you teach me? What can I teach? I'm still confused myself. I can't explain my situation, mainly because... Jiang Jinhua also glanced at Tang Luochuan and then said, I want to know more about him. It won't be too much. But he might be too much. Shin Muya almost blurted out, then quickly closed her mouth. Many people wanted to know about Tang Luochuan. Almost every classmate was trying to strike up a conversation with him. Some even exaggerated, talking about how Gao Mingxian was in the afternoon, wanting to see how this young Master Tang would react. But Tang Luochuan showed no interest at all. After dinner, a day of activities finally came to an end. Watching Shenmuya and Zhang Jinyue walk hand in hand into the school, he then drove back to the hotel. He still had to buy a house and hadn't thought of an excuse to transfer money to his parents. There were many things to do. Returning to the dormitory, Shenmuya was immediately surrounded by her female classmates bombarding her with questions. Are you two together or not? What did you do in the afternoon? Wang Fangfang said you were sitting at the back of the movie theater. Did you kiss? How far has it developed? Are there any handsome guys he knows? Can you introduce one to me? Shenmuya felt a bit dizzy from the questions, but a sense of possessiveness also arose. She could tell that her classmates seemed to be quite envious, which made her feel somewhat pleased. It's going well. Progress is quite fast. We haven't officially started dating, but soon. This was already her boldest statement. On the other side, Zhang Jinyue was sitting in the dormitory feeling quite uncomfortable. Jinyue, do you want some milk tea? Her roommate Su Yuanyuan turned around with a bag of instant milk tea, but hesitated before speaking. Remembering Zhang Jinyue's family background, she felt that this cheap drink costing a few dollars might not appeal to her. This girl exuded an aura of aloofness, rarely engaging warmly with her dorm mates. I don't. Well, okay. Zhang Jinyue's words just left her lips when she suddenly changed her mind. Can I drink it? Zhang Jinyue's tone softened a bit, losing some of its usual distance. Of course. Su Yuanyuan quickly took out a pack of milk tea from her bag. It's not something fancy, don't mind it. It's fine. Zhang Jinyue accepted the milk tea pack, a smile on her lips. She seemed to have understood the reason behind Tang Luochuan's indifference towards her. That is, he was down to earth. One could easily see this from his lifestyle. This guy never put on airs, and Shenmuya was the same. If Su Yuanyuan offered Shenmuya milk tea, she would definitely drink it. Zhang Jinyue thought, while looking at the milk tea pack in her hand. The next day, in the morning, Tang Luochuan turned over in the large bed of the hotel, checking his phone to find an additional 100 million in his account. Tomorrow is the weekend, and he planned to take Shenmuya out to have some fun again. It was already past 9, and he sat up. Holidays are great. Then he took out his phone and sent a message to Shenmuya. Tang Luochuan, good morning, senior. Ready for a kiss? Kiss. At this moment, Shenmuya was attending class. Upon seeing the message, she quickly looked around. Nobody was paying attention to her. The girl was unsure how to respond, feeling a bit excited. After thinking for a while, she turned to Li Jieqi, who was focused on his computer. Jieqi, I feel like I'm going crazy. She handed her phone to him, feeling aggrieved. What should I do? I didn't agree to him yesterday. But he's too arrogant. Li Jieqi, an experienced hand, glanced at the phone and sneered. Do you want me to help you? Is that okay? This is the kind of work Li Jieqi enjoyed doing. He directly took her phone and started typing. Shenmuya hunched over, afraid others would notice. When she saw what Li Jieqi was typing, she quickly tried to snatch the phone back. No, don't say it like that. It's too embarrassing. What are you afraid of? The more you fear it, the prouder he becomes. Just do it. Tang Luochuan lay on the bed waiting for a reply on his phone. Ding, a message popped up. Shenmuya, a kiss is fine, but sister wants to see brother's abs 8-pack, okay? What the hell? What's going on? A contrast. Tang Luochuan was a bit confused. Did she want him to show his abs? Shenmuya, does brother have them? Do you still want to kiss? Tang Luochuan, I don't want to kiss anymore. Are you scared? TSK. Li Jieqi looked at this message with disdain. I thought he was impressive. Shenmuya scolded. It's all your fault. He must think I'm very casual now. What does it matter? You're too submissive. If this guy has figured out that you are afraid, so he keeps pushing the envelope. Just as they were talking, Tang Luochuan sent another message. Tang Luochuan's sister, I'll show you my smooth abs. Can you show me your smooth chest? Li Jieqi. Shenmuya. What the hell? Li Jieqi blushed. Who knew this guy had such guts? Tang Luochuan, come on. Hurry up. Can we? Tang Luochuan, is sister still there? Tang Luochuan, do you want to find a place to video call, or should I come pick you up now? Should we go to the hotel and see it live? Li Jieqi picked up the phone and directly sent a voice message, go to hell. Then he handed the phone back to her. Shenmuya looked at the already chaotic chat window and asked again, Jieqi, what should we do? Li Jieqi rolled his eyes at her. If it were me, I would just give it to him. You definitely can't handle him. Hearing Li Jieqi's scolding, Tang Luochuan laughed directly. Trying to compete with me. Still a bit too naive. Without waiting for a reply, Tang Luochuan got dressed and headed straight to the nearby real estate office. He had already set his sights on a neighborhood. A prime area, a 780 square meter flat, around 60 million. The view was excellent, mainly because it was close to the school, just a 7 or 8 minute drive. Stepping out, Tang Luochuan chose his flamboyant Lamborghini as today's vehicle. A few minutes later, the car smoothly parked in front of the sales office. Upon entering, a salesgirl approached him. Hello, do you have an appointment? Yes, I sent the documents yesterday. My surname is Tang. Tang Luochuan replied. The sales staff nodded but couldn't take their eyes off him. What a handsome young man. She glanced behind Tang Luochuan and asked, Where are your parents? Huh, are you checking household registrations? Tang Luochuan was confused. He had contacted them last night. They required proof of assets. After all, this wasn't a house worth a couple of million. Any random person coming to look would overwhelm the sales staff. No, what I mean is, did you come by yourself? The salesgirl asked. Tang Luochuan nodded seriously yes. A hint of surprise flashed in her eyes. She had seen young people buying houses before. Couple spouses. But she had never seen such a young man. Even calling him young would be an understatement. Instead, he seemed quite inexperienced. Then please follow me. The girl led the way, still curious about which wealthy family this young man belonged to. She casually asked, Is this your marital home? No, it's for the school district. School district. The girl was even more surprised. Could she have misjudged? Was this young man already a father? Or perhaps he just took good care of himself. He might be in his 20s or 30s, and she couldn't tell. Sir, how old is your child? Our elementary, middle, and high schools here are all quite famous. Oh, I'm in college. I don't have children. I'm buying this school district property for myself. The salesgirl was left speechless. Other people's children were already old enough to be on their own, yet this young man was buying a property for himself. Besides, who buys a university's school district property? Arriving at the model room, there were already other salespeople showing the house. This house is still quite good, just a bit pricey. A middle-aged couple was in the living room, and the woman spoke with a strong accent from the city. Tang Luochuan followed the salesgirl inside, exchanging glances with the couple. They nodded at each other as a greeting. Sir, we still have 7 units left for this house facing south and well ventilated. The girl spoke fluently, introducing it to him. Then she added, Where do you study? Tang Luochuan pointed in a direction, at Mo City Jiaodong University. Oh, a high achiever, huh? The girl smiled. However, these words caught the attention of the middle-aged couple. The man suddenly whispered, Jiaodong University, isn't that the same school as Yeah? The woman also paid attention to the young man. Oh, is that so? Yeah is not attending classes. How much is your unit on the 12th floor? Tang Luochuan asked. The salesgirl hesitated for a few seconds, glancing at another salesperson. A look passed between them, conveying information. The current market isn't optimistic, but due to national regulations, the lowest price we can offer you is 5,900. What do you think? 5,600, I'll pay today. As soon as these words came out, everyone fell silent. The middle-aged couple had negotiated down to 5,900 at the lowest. We're really in a tough spot. We genuinely can't offer any discounts on the price. The girl didn't seem to be faking. 5,700. Tang Luochuan didn't know how to bargain. He had no psychological price in mind. It was purely a matter of you stating a price, and I would counter. You lower it a bit just to give me a face. That's all. Mill check. Are you sure you can pay today? In full. Okay, please wait a moment. A few minutes later, the salesgirl returned, politely saying, Mr. Tang, we've done our utmost. It's 5,800. We'll also give you 2 years of parking and a set of appliances. What do you think? Just when everyone thought this guy wouldn't agree, Tang Luochuan said, All right. Can I move in tomorrow? Yes. Once you make the payment, you can move in any time. We will notify you after the property certificate is processed. The salesgirl was almost jumping with joy. This handsome young man seemed like he knew how to bargain, yet he struck a deal chaotically. He managed to get a deal that suited him. If he weren't already married, she would have tried to flirt with him. Oh my, how impressive. Today's youth are truly remarkable, a middle-aged woman couldn't help but exclaim. The middle-aged man nudged his wife. He's from Jiaodong University. Go ask him. Maybe he knows Yaya. Thinking of this, the middle-aged woman quickly walked over. Young man, where are you studying? Auntie M from Jiaodong University. Tang Luochuan replied politely. Oh wow. You're so young and impressive. My daughter is also from Jiaodong University. What year are you in? I'm a freshman. My daughter is also a freshman. What are you majoring in? Digital media. Oh my daughter is also studying digital media. The middle-aged woman was stunned. Could it be this coincidental? Tang Luochuan looked at the two of them. They were here to buy a house, and their daughter was in his class. What a coincidence. The man grinned and walked over. Young man, why aren't you in school today? Oh uncle, I was called back for reflection. The middle-aged woman shot her husband a glare. Are you out of your mind? Are you losing your memory? Then she put on a smile and said to Tang Luochuan, Don't mind him, my husband isn't thinking straight and doesn't know how to speak. No, it's the truth. Oh, what I mean is, it is true that I was called back. As he spoke, Tang Luochuan also sized them up. He couldn't help but recall Jiang Jinyu. Indeed, the middle-aged woman said, Young man, what's your name? My daughter's name is Jiang Jinyu. Do you know my daughter? Oh, Jiang, classmate, yes, I know her. Just then the salesgirl came over. Mr. Tang, you're paying in full, right? Our contract is ready. Oh, would you like to take a look? Sure. Excuse me for a moment, ladies. No problem, you go ahead, the middle-aged woman smiled. The two were Jiang Jinyu's parents, Jiang Deming and Ma Ying. Another salesperson responsible for them also came over. Uncle, auntie, are you still looking at the house? What are you looking at? Ma Ying rolled her eyes at him. So much money, and you aren't trying to negotiate. Besides, she looked at Tang Luochuan's departing back. My daughter might not need us to buy a marital home here. Someone might buy it for her. Ha ha. Ma Ying was a typical wealthy lady, and she was quite talkative. Jiang Deming looked at her with disdain. Stop talking nonsense. Now you think everyone is your son-in-law. The Jiang family was well off, but they weren't the type of conglomerate executives most people imagined. The rise of the Jiang family began with Jiang Jinyu's grandfather's astute investments during the reform and opening up period. After making the first pot of gold, the old man did not stop. Instead, he established a solid financial foundation for the Jiang family through prudent investments and financial management. By the time of his father Jiang Deming, the family business had reached new heights. He established an investment company, expanding their business scope and enjoying substantial profits over the years. Interestingly, both generations of entrepreneurs in the Jiang family maintained a rare simplicity. However, this simplicity transformed into an obsession with pampering when it came to Jiang Jinyu. The family had already reached a higher level, and the elders were determined to raise their only daughter to be a true princess adored by all. Thus, Jiang Jinyu never faced much hardship growing up. After all, she was their only child, and they hoped she would marry into a good family. When it comes to the assets of the Jiang family, they have at least 2 to 3 billion. Moreover, they possess a substantial amount of cash and can easily produce 1 billion. Jiang Deming is shrewd and places great importance on cash flow. He would never let his pockets run empty. However, having money doesn't mean one is foolish. When it comes to a house worth over 50 million, he would still negotiate. But he didn't expect the emergence of Tang Luochuan, which truly shocked both of them. In Jiang Deming's mind, this house was only worth 54 million according to the market. This kid doesn't know how to negotiate. Jiang Deming sighed. Ma Ying pulled him forward, saying, come on, let's see if he really intends to buy it. I need to tell you, she has an extraordinary young man in her class. Jiang Deming was being dragged forward by his wife, muttering, why are you so anxious? The kid is buying something. Why do you have to join the excitement? What do you know? Ma Ying turned back and glared at him. With Yeya's personality, if she can't find a partner in 4 years of university, what will she do? I'm just doing some preliminary investigation. Jiang Deming huffed. Yeya has good taste, as she won't miss out on the good ones. Nonsense. This girl doesn't know whom to follow. How can she have good taste? Think carefully about what kind of personality your daughter has. Speaking of which, they had already followed Tang Luochuan to the signing area. The female sales representative greeted them with a bright smile, looking at Tang Luochuan as if he were a god of wealth. Mr. Tang, please take a look. This is the purchase contract, 58 million to be paid in full. Tang Luochuan took the pen and signed his name with flourish. He had practiced for this. You can't write it down stroke by stroke. Ma Ying nodded approvingly from the side. The penmanship is quite good, showing some skill. Oh my, are you selecting a calligraphy teacher? Jiang Deming couldn't help but chuckle. After signing, Tang Luochuan pulled out his phone to prepare for the transfer. Ma Ying, quick-witted, grabbed her husband, saying, quick, take a picture and send it to Yeya. What are you taking a picture for? Jiang Deming complained, but he honestly took out his phone. Mind the kid's privacy. I'm just taking a picture of his back. At that moment, Jiang Jinyu was sitting in her classroom, gazing out at the rain. After the uproar caused by Gao Mingxian yesterday, her world had quieted down significantly. But it wasn't completely silent. Her background had gotten around, and many knew she was a rich girl. Therefore, some boys with average backgrounds and abilities no longer pursued her. However, there were still some outstanding boys, and some with decent families who extended their olive branches to her. Sigh. The girl sighed. Oh, she still held a yearning for love. She lowered her head to look at her phone and had added a few friends. This boy comes from a good family, but he's a bit ugly. This one is decent too, looks okay, but he's a bit short. This one is too pretentious. This one has capability and is quite humorous, but he thinks too highly of himself. This one is even more reserved than I am. Jiang Jinyu wasn't sure what kind of person she was looking for, and she felt hesitant to chat with Tang Luochuan. Every time they exchanged a few words, he would retort back at her. Just then, both her mother and father sent messages simultaneously. They were all photos. This is the... Jiang Jinyu quickly opened them, and her heart skipped a beat. The back view was very familiar. It was Tang Luochuan. Jiang Jinyu, Mom and Dad, how do you know Tang Luochuan? Ma Ying, he's really your classmate. He came here to buy a house. We just met and chatted for a bit. Jiang Deming, do you have his WeChat? Jiang Jinyu, yes. Ma Ying, great, having it is good. I think the young man is quite talented with extraordinary temperament and has acquired a property. He seems to be planning to settle down in the Magic City. You two should get to know each other well during your 4 years. The young man seems good. Mom will help you filter well. Jiang Jinyue, oh please don't interfere. Mom is just offering a suggestion, it's just that we ran into him. In school you wouldn't see him buying a house. You can't help your dad's business. You need to find a helper? Jiang Jinyue couldn't help. With her talent, she could completely drag the family down. Some things require talent. Jiang Jinyue is a noble princess who doesn't partake in the mundane. Asking her to step into the secular world to seek help and build connections. According to her mother, she can't even produce a fart in half a day. Jiang Deming also understood that wanting to invest in good projects isn't about them begging you to invest. Those seeking you are usually high risk. You must have the ability to discern. Quality projects are the ones that feed you investors. A crowd of wealthy people scramble to get in. You need connections to gain opportunities. How to build connections? Drinking and dining are unavoidable, and while he's still young, he can drink a bit. Accompanying leaders, accompanying clients, finishing one after another. But the matters within are too complex. He doesn't want to see his daughter follow in his footsteps. Because he understands that in men's gatherings they compete in drinking capacity and indulgence. For women, wanting to join it means compromising themselves. In this circle there are too many wealthy people, and Jiang Jinyue's advantage lies only in her looks. Family group chat, Jiang Jinyue, he bought a house. Mine, 58 million, your dad said it was overpriced by 4 million. But this kid didn't even blink. Off. Jiang Jinyue hurriedly opened her friend's circle thinking that at this moment Tang Luochuan should have posted something to show off. But his friend's circle was completely empty. There was nothing at all. After a long time, she felt conflicted in her heart. Ultimately, she sent a message. Jiang Jinyue, Mom and Dad, I can handle my own affairs. I really like this boy too, but please don't talk to him randomly. Ming looked at the message from her daughter, her eyes lit up, and she quickly shoved her phone in front of Jiang Deming. Look. Yaya said she likes him. She said she likes him. All right. Jiang Deming maintained a calm demeanor, but the corners of his mouth couldn't help but lift. Let the child handle her own matters, let's not interfere. What do you mean by interfere? Ming put her phone away and rolled her eyes at him. What I'm doing is strategic support. At this point, Tang Luochuan had completed the payment and received the keys. However, the property certificate would take some time to obtain. Uncle and Auntie, how did you come here? Do you want me to take you? Tang Luochuan was just being polite. No need, we have a driver. Young man, where will you be having lunch? Why not come to Auntie's house? Auntie will cook for you. The excessive enthusiasm made Tang Luochuan a bit dazed. Or was it just because he was classmates with Jiang Jinyue? No, I have other matters. What other matters do you have? Aren't you not attending school anymore? Ming spoke directly without thinking. Jiang Deming poked her from behind, and then smiled. Luochuan, don't take it to heart. Your aunt's mind isn't quite right, as she got confused. Come by our house for a visit. Since you're Yaya's classmate, we hope you can take care of her a bit more. Give uncle a favor. After you graduate, if you need any help, feel free to come to me. His words were quite tactful, but still a bit sudden. Tang Luochuan thought for a moment. He really had nothing else to do, just left with furniture and appliances. But the premise is that he must arrange for off-campus living. Currently, he can still stay at school. Just as she was thinking, Ma Ying's hand had already reached out. Grasping the other person tightly, her face filled with enthusiasm, she pulled him forward, saying, Luochuan, my uncle, and I have been operating in Magic City for many years. We're familiar with the situation here, so if you want to start a business or do something in the future, just let us know. You and Jean, you should get along well. After all, your classmates. Young people have their own ways of making friends. Don't be shy. Tang Luochuan listened with some confusion. He understood the earlier part, but was unsure about their intentions. Don't be shy, you say? Your daughter seems to be the shy one, as she always has a cold expression and looks uncomfortable when she sees others. However, she is indeed beautiful. That's undeniable. Unknowingly, they arrived at the nearby parking lot. Tang Luochuan realized he couldn't evade the situation. They insisted on treating him, and he quite agreed with this couple. Unlike Jiang Jinyue, who is so frosty, he found it curious how such a warm and hospitable couple could have a daughter with a demeanor like -40 or 50 degrees. He took out his car keys, saying, Uncle, Auntie, I'll follow behind you. Meeting wealthy people was not a bad thing, and he was also curious about Jiang Jinyue's upbringing. Later, he'll send her a message, scaring her a bit, could be quite amusing. Seeing Tang Luochuan's car, Ma Ying smiled, even more joyfully, pointing at the emblem and saying, oh my. This is a Lamborghini, right? That's right. Huh. Tang Luochuan was infected by the couple's warmth, saying, Auntie, it'll be crashing at your place for lunch. They'll send a message to Jiang classmate to tempt her. Huh. Sounds good. Let's go. Jiang Deming patted his shoulder from behind and led Ma Ying towards his Maybach. Lunchtime. Jiang Jinyue finally had friends, her dormitory roommates, Su Yuan and Lu Xian. It was also because of yesterday's milk tea that Jiang Jinyue, this little princess, finally touched the mortal realm. The milk tea was exceptionally delicious and her roommates were very warm. Yuan Jinyue. Yesterday, a boy from the management department asked for my WeChat. What do you think should I give it to him? He even said he'd treat me to dinner. Lu Xian said a bit proudly. Su Yuan's eyes immediately lit up. What does he look like? Is he handsome? He's okay. A decent guy. I casually mentioned that I wanted to watch a movie, but didn't have a streaming membership. He helped me recharge for half a year. That's pretty good. Jiang Jinyu frowned, thinking handsome. Just for a streaming membership. He said he'd treat me to dinner. What's so special about him? Lu Xian, what do you think? Is he good? Well, he's okay. So I wanted to ask you guys for your opinions. Jiang Jinyu felt that perhaps she didn't understand this kind of pure love and continued to ask what touched you about him. This question surprised the other two, as it wasn't something typically asked. Touched. He just seems nice, quite thoughtful, and gentle with me. Jiang Jinyu. The boys around her were like this too. There were no less than 800 suitors. Even back in middle school, every single one was thoughtful and gentle, who otherwise how would they pursue girls? Even those who didn't pursue her treated her very well and were patient. He's coming. Lu Xian suddenly leaned closer to the two girls, feeling a bit excited. A few boys suddenly approached from the opposite side. The boy in front had evidently dressed up on purpose. He walked straight over, barely glancing at Su Yuan, but couldn't help stealing a few more glances at Jiang Jinyu. His eyes shifted from shock to envy, finally turning to regret. This girl was excessively beautiful. Xian, do you have time for lunch today? Can I invite you and your friend to eat? Zhang Wenxiang, how many of you are there? Lu Xian asked cautiously. The boy named Zhang Wenxiang glanced back at his friends behind him. Oh, there are me and my 3 friends, so it's 4 boys and 3 girls. He paused noticeably when mentioning the 3 girls, wanting to gauge the reactions of the other 2 girls. They were from the management department and didn't know Jiang Jinyu. They had only heard of yesterday's incident involving Tang Luochuan. Su Yuan maintained a smile and intentionally pushed Lu Xian forward. At that moment, Jiang Jinyu was not being cold, but stood there in a daze. She wanted to see how others pursued love, especially this kind that started from pursuit. Zhang Wenqiang's 3 brothers stood aside, their heads huddled together, whispering. Yet their eyes couldn't help but frequently glance towards Jiang Jinyu, their astonishment evident. Today they were egging Zhang Wenxiang on to organize a meal, not just to help a brother save face. Having heard that Zhang Wenxiang was pursuing a girl, they urged him to invite her roommates and friends along, claiming it would liven things up. In reality, they were all calculating, hoping for a small social gathering to possibly meet someone they liked. Who would have thought they would encounter someone as stunning as Jiang Jinyu? With her chilly yet stunning features, she exuded an aura that left the boys a bit dazed. This was definitely an unexpected delight. Zhang Wenxiang also felt a bit regretful. Lu Xian was already decent looking, but who knew she had such a stunning roommate? Is that okay? Zhang Wenxiang asked. Lu Xian turned to look at Jiang Jinyu and Su Yuan. Su Yuan tugged at Lu Xin's sleeve, blinking hard, indicating yes. Jiang Jinyu hesitated. She didn't want to join such a meal gathering, but she thought about wanting to be friends with the 2 of them. It was because of that cup of milk tea, because she finally felt grounded and integrated into ordinary life. So she hoped to change, no longer carrying the halo of a bun princess, but to be an ordinary college student. Jiang Jinyu. I have no objections. All right then. Lu Xian, feeling like a pursued one, stepped up, saying, we can just eat something casual. We have self-study later. It's fine, we can come a bit late for self-study. We won't be going. Just check in and head back to the dorm. Zhang Wenxiang took the umbrella from the girl's hand, kindly holding it for her. A few boys also walked over. Beauty, let me hold that for you. A tall boy stood in front of Jiang Jinyu, extending his hand, hoping for a chance. Jiang Jinyu shook her head, saying, no need, I can manage myself. Then can I help you with your bag? Another boy approached. The girl tightened her grip on her bag, saying, I'm not tired. Thank you. The girl's indifference left the 3 boys at a loss. Never had they seen someone so unapproachable. The 7 of them headed towards the school cafeteria. This cafeteria not only served large pots of food, there was a dedicated small stir-fry section on the 5th floor where students could indulge in a little treat. On the 6th floor were guest rooms. At this moment, there were quite a few students dining, and Jiang Jinyu was the center of attention wherever she went. This was not hard to notice even for her classmates. Chun Hao, Zhao Kai, and Sun lay the 3 previous suitors, along with Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi. Chun Hao exclaimed, what the hell is going on? What does Jiang Jinyu mean by this? Zhao Kai sneered, the 3 of us are competing fairly, and yet that guy from yesterday just threw down a gauntlet. Today Jiang Jinyu is having lunch with another boy. I don't think this is about money. Sun Lei asked, then what is it about? Zhao Kai replied, it's just directed at the 3 of us. Do those boys look wealthy to you? Chen Hao was also feeling a bit frustrated. Yeah, I was really shocked by that guy with the surname Gao yesterday, but thinking about it, that's not the case. In relationships, it doesn't matter if you have money. If Jiang Jinyu likes him, that's enough. Besides, I don't think Jiang Jinyu likes that guy. Let's not forget we're not broke either. It's all about ability. Zhao Kai and Sun Lei echoed. It's all about ability. Meanwhile, Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi were equally bewildered. What is she doing? With friends. Zhang Ming scratched his chin. Zhou Qi chuckled. I think this is revenge on old Tang. Come on, she has nothing to do with old Tang. Wait, let me ask old Tang what he's up to. Saying this, Zhou Qi dialed a video call. The call connected. Tang Luochuan was eating crab. Old Tang, why are you enjoying some good food? Zhou Qi teased right away. Tang Luochuan wiped his mouth. What's up? Is there something going on? Are we drinking tonight? Zhou Qi said mysteriously. Guess what I just saw? What? Zhou Qi flipped the camera, capturing Jiang Jinyu's back. Our class Jiang Jinyue is eating with boys from another class, did you know? Over here, Tang Luochuan, holding the phone in one hand and a crab in the other, was completely frozen. Ma Ying, who was plating beside him, had already heard the commotion. Oh no, that's impossible. Our Jinyue isn't that casual. They must be just ordinary classmates. She quickly came over, and sure enough, the screen showed Jiang Jinyue surrounded by 3 boys. The 3 boys were vying for her favor, but the girl remained unmoved and did not distance herself from them. Clearly, they were just having a meal together. That little girl. Stupid girl. Luochuan, don't take it to heart. It must be a misunderstanding. Ma Ying grew anxious. Tang Luochuan set down the crab leg. Well, I seem to have no issue with it. Annie, your cooking is really good. Ma Ying completely ignored his compliment, dialed the number, and asked, Luochuan, do you know those boys? I don't know them. Aren't they from your class? No. Zhou Qi on the other end was also feeling confused. Old Tang, where are you? Who was that auntie just now? Oh, I'm at Jiang's house for dinner, and that auntie was Jiang Jinyu's mom. Zhou Qi exclaimed. Let me hang up. Pressing the hang up button, Zhou Qi fell into deep thought. What does this mean? Tang Luochuan went to Jiang Jinyu's house for dinner. Jiang Jinyue is having a meal with other boys. Wow, this is so chaotic. For someone in a normal situation, it would be hard to believe. Clearly, Tang Luochuan had only just met Jiang Jinyue. How did he end up at her house? And Jiang Jinyue had always been cold towards everyone. How did she suddenly go out to dinner with a group of boys? Zhang Ming sharpied exclaimed. Wait, aren't those Su Yuan and Lu Xe? Maybe they're friends of her roommate. Just like how we're connected through Luochuan, aren't we benefiting from his influence? That's plausible, but, Old Zhang, do you know where Luochuan is? Where? At Zhang's place. In the cafeteria on the 5th floor, the small stir-fry shop was bustling with customers. Jiang Jinyue and her friends were gathered around a small round table. Su Yuan and Lu Xin sensed something was off. The restaurant had indeed attracted more customers, but they were all from their class. Do the boys from their class really love eating here that much? Over there were Chun Hao, Zhao Kai, Sun Lei, and their respective roommates. On the other side, Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi were sitting alone at a table. Old Zhou, this doesn't seem right. Luochuan didn't say he was pursuing Jiang Jinyue, Zhang Ming remarked. Zhou Qi wore a knowing expression, pretending to be profound. You eat a meal one bite at a time, and you walk a path step by step. At school, old Tang first has to deal with senior sister Shun, and outside. Haha, winning over Jiang Jinyu's family. And then, he made a gesture as if grasping something tightly. I want it all. That's true, going to someone's house for a meal right after meeting them is quite. Just then Jiang Jinyu's phone rang. Hello, Mom. I'm having dinner with classmates. What classmates? Just my roommates. What are those boys doing? Are you spying on me? No. It's Luochuan and his classmates on video. I accidentally saw it. Tang Luochuan. Right, I invited Luochuan over for dinner. Oh my, that young man is really nice. He's handsome and can talk well. You should have a good chat with him. Tang Luochuan came to our house for dinner. Jiang Jinyue suddenly stood up, startling everyone. Hearing this, Chun Hao quickly whispered, What? Tang Luochuan. Does this mean we're all competing fairly now? Zhao Kai also felt a bit uneasy. Let's see how it goes. This is getting complicated. Ma Ying was still praising the other person over there. Jiang Jinyue slowly sat down, feeling a mix of emotions. Excitement, happiness, and a touch of worry. He didn't even give me a heads up. It was me who invited him. Why would I need to tell you? You still haven't explained to me what's going on with you. Oh, what I meant is that a friend of my roommate invited us both for dinner. Jiang Jinyue subtly recounted the situation. Ma Ying naturally understood someone was pursuing her roommate, and they were kind enough to invite Jiang Jinyue and another girl along. Oh, okay. No problem, just get along well with your classmates. Ma Ying felt relieved and quickly hung up the phone. Luochuan Ye's roommate is dating. That young man also invited Ye along. Tang Luochuan was munching on a rib, nodding repeatedly. Oh really? That's great. Jiang Jinyue usually doesn't talk much. Having friends is a good thing. Right, you thinking that way is good. Hearing Jiang Jinyue say that Tang Luochuan went to her house, Chun Hao and the others felt a bit regretful about coming here to eat. Their intentions were obvious, yet they were somewhat overestimating themselves. However, the key still lies in Jiang Jinyu's attitude. Zhang Wenxiang and the others seemed to be out of touch, staring blankly at Jiang Jinhua. Who? Who went to your house? A boy asked. Su Yuanyuan seemed to have discovered some huge gossip, her excitement evident. Tang Luochuan went to your house. Tang Luochuan. That name sounds familiar. Who is he? Zhang Wenxiang, not being from their department, hadn't paid much attention. Lu Xian explained, he is the super rich second generation from our class, the one who caused a stir at school a couple of days ago, the boy who rented the cars. Renting cars? Oh, I remember. What happened? Is it true? Another boy asked. In fact, this matter had primarily caused a bigger commotion within Tang Luochuan's own college. Moreover, 3 luxury cars had appeared simultaneously right in front of their teaching building. Students from other departments had only heard a bit about it and didn't pay much attention. Su Yuanyuan, looking proud, said so. Tang Luochuan directly bought 3 luxury cars. A Porsche, another Porsche, and a colorful sports car. This girl didn't know much about cars and couldn't differentiate between the Porsche Taycan and the Panamera. As for that Lamborghini, if it were in a solid color, the girl might have recognized it. But since it was a flashy design, it was indeed hard to tell apart. No one cared whether Su Yuanyuan actually knew about cars. They were shocked by her description. No way, you must be joking. Several boys didn't believe it at all. They'll show you the video I recorded yesterday. Su Yuanyuan was eager to prove it. Lu Xian also took out her phone. I have it too. The 2 tables beside us are our classmates. Over there, Zhangming. Zhangming, you are Tang Luochuan's roommate, right? Zhangming, being called out, awkwardly raised his head. He. Yes. Quick, tell us, did Tang Luochuan really buy 3 luxury cars? Lu Xin's eyes sparkled like searchlights. Also, did he really go to Jiang Jinyu's house? Zhangming adjusted his glasses, his gaze shifting back and forth between Jiang Jinhua and Shin Mayan. Well, Luochuan is indeed very rich. He spent over 600 on a game directly. But whether he went to classmate Jiang's house, you can ask classmate Jiang yourself. At that moment, Jiang Jinhua was furiously sending messages to Tang Luochuan. Jiang Jinhua, did you go to my house? Jiang Jinhua, what did you talk about with my parents? Jiang Jinhua, I heard you bought a house. What are you buying a house for? Jiang Jinhua, are you going to reply or not? Jiang Jinhua, what did my parents say? Jinhua. Lu Xian hurriedly asked the girl beside her. Did Tang Luochuan really go to your house? I always thought you two are a good match. Su Yuanyuan nodded vigorously. Yes. That guy is so handsome. And so wealthy. And very humorous. Humorous. He always argues with me. Jiang Jinhua looked down at her phone, feeling anxious. She was eager for an answer. But this guy just wouldn't reply. Argue with you. It's a sign of affection. It's just a playful bickering of a couple. Did he go to your house to propose? Don't joke around. He's developing a relationship with senior sister Shun. What does it have to do with me? Oh dear. Su Yuanyuan rolled her eyes, pretending to be clever. He is a top-notch rich second generation. It's normal for him to marry a few more. He probably fears it would be awkward for you and senior sister at school, so he's developing his relationship with senior sister. And developing with you outside of school. This statement made little sense, but at that moment, especially when Jiang Jinyu's mind was in turmoil, it suddenly felt reasonable. Does this guy have an interest in me? Thinking this, she turned to Su Yuanyuan. Really? Absolutely. Otherwise, why would he go to your house to eat? What does he want? Does he want to eat your family's good food? Hearing this, Jiang Jinhua suddenly put down her phone. This is stable. Yes, exactly. Then why doesn't he tell me? Isn't there still senior sister Shun? There has to be a sequence in relationships. That makes sense. The boys nearby felt their scalps tingle. Zhang Wenxiang and the others felt a wave of sorrow and jealousy in their hearts. They had just watched the video and were shocked, though somewhat reluctant to believe it. The facts were laid out before them. The surrounding environment was clearly the school, and the cars were real, not AI generated. It turned out that this beauty had long been taken. Su Yuanyuan wasn't bad, but without comparison there would be no harm. Once they had seen something better, they looked at Su Yuanyuan with no interest at all. Meanwhile, on Shun House side, a few of them picked up their teacups and drank tea quietly. Not a word was spoken, and the atmosphere was dull. They thought Jiang Jinhua didn't like that Gao Mingxian from yesterday, and perhaps they still had a chance. But then a more impressive guy showed up. Gao Mingxian was a socialite and couldn't always compete with them. But if Tang Luochuan was willing, he could slap them in the face every day. The dishes arrived, and everyone had no mood to eat. However, Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi ordered a few small dishes, not daring to spend too much, and were enjoying themselves. The two felt no pressure. Jiang Jinhua held her phone, a faint smile on her lips. At this moment, Tang Luochuan also replied to her message. I'm full. Your family's food is really good. Tang Luochuan, auntie is very hospitable. Tang Luochuan, I did buy a house and happened to meet your uncle and aunt. It's hard to refuse such hospitality, but I think your parents want me to date you. Tang Luochuan simply replied to Jiang Jinyu's message. The girl stared at the reply, her heart in a chaotic state. Her mother wanted her to date him, but he left the conversation hanging. What does this guy mean leaving mid-sentence? Tang Luochuan was currently sitting on Jiang's family's sofa looking at the ginkgo tree in the yard. The old Western-style house was indeed beautiful. Uncle, how much is this house? Jiang Deming was quite pleased he had decorated this house himself and had lived in it for many years, considering it a piece of art. The current market price is probably over 300 million. A bit expensive, but not bad. Suitable for retirement. A bit. It really wasn't just a bit. It would take Tang Luochuan 3 to 4 days living expenses to afford one. Tang Luochuan realized he had been showing off and quickly said, Uncle, I mean, it's really nice. Quite good. Could you do me a favor? What is it, child? Please keep an eye out for any old Western-style houses for sale. I want to take a look someday, or I want to get one too. When my parents get older, I want to bring them here to live. This. Jiang Deming's mouth twitched. In his impression, this kid was indeed rich. But that money definitely came from his parents. He was supposed to spend according to his parents' wishes. For example, spending over 50 million to buy a house. He didn't believe Tang Luochuan's parents were unaware. They must have instructed him to train their son. But why did this kid suddenly want to buy an old Western-style house? What do your parents think? Well, they don't know. I want to give them a surprise. Jiang Deming remained silent, staring hard at him, trying to catch a hint of insincerity on the boy's face. Even if it were just a little. But there was none. This kid was serious. After a moment, Jiang Deming said, All right, I'll keep an eye out for you here. However, opportunities are rare, so we'll have to wait. Tang Luochuan expressed his gratitude. Meanwhile, Jiang Jinhua was growing impatient, glancing at her phone while eating slowly with chopsticks. Any conversation was met with simple replies. Jiang Jinhua, what do you think? Jiang Jinhua, aren't you leaving yet? Jiang Jinhua, what else did my mom say? After much urging, Tang Luochuan replied, Just left your house, the renovations look great, your family is quite wealthy. Jiang Jinhua, what else? Tang Luochuan, what? Jiang Jinhua screenshot. The girl directly sent a screenshot of Tang Luochuan's earlier message. Your parents want me to date you. Tang Luochuan, oh, I see. That's your parents' intention, I got it. Jiang Jinhua, are we playing the nonsense literature game here? Jiang Jinhua, what do you think? Tang Luochuan, I think your parents are really nice, not at all the kind of lofty people I imagined, always acting like teachers. Jiang Jinhua, and then, Tang Luochuan, I'm driving now, we'll talk later. Jiang Jinhua. After that, Tang Luochuan stopped replying. What's wrong, Jinhua? Su Yuanyuan noticed she wasn't eating much and assumed something was off. Jiang Jinhua glanced at her. Yuanyuan, help me. The girl for the first time handed her phone to Su Yuanyuan with a hint of pleading. Su Yuanyuan took a look, her expression gradually becoming ambiguous. Jinhua, Tang Luochuan is flirting with you. Flirting? What do you mean? Can't you see? Your parents want you to date him, that guy. He's just teasing you to make you anxious. Let me see. Can I see it? Lu Xin also leaned in. Jiang Jinhua nodded in agreement, believing in the power of numbers. Lu Xin scrolled through the chat history. Jinhua, how did she meet your parents? He got to know them when he went to buy a house. Buying a house? Su Yuanyuan's voice suddenly shot up. The boys nearby lost their appetite, feeling overshadowed. Did he buy a rundown place? A house in a suburb set for demolition? It must be. Definitely must be. Where's the house? Lu Xin asked nervously, having a hunch. Someone like Tang Luochuan would never buy anything ordinary. It's probably Jinggan Mansion. Jiang Jinhua casually mentioned, I saw it in the chat history with my parents when he met them while buying a house. Jinggan Mansion. A house set for demolition. A boy couldn't help but ask, feeling the name sounded mediocre. With a clatter, Chun Hao's chopsticks slipped from his grip and fell to the ground. His smile was rather forced and helpless as he addressed Jiang Jinhua's table. Jinggan Mansion. All are large flats ranging from 400 to 900 square meters. But it's cheap now. The cheapest is 30 million each. How big did Tang buy? The boy had no interest in knowing the relationship between Tang Luochuan and Jiang Jinhua. It was obvious he had no chance. But he felt sour about Tang Luochuan, wondering if that guy took out a loan of over 20 million, borrowing a few million from relatives and friends to make a down payment. Over 700 square meters, full payment. 58 million. Tang seems to have overpaid. Lu Xin calmly stated this after looking at Jiang Jinhua's chat history with her parents. She wasn't indifferent, she was just shocked to the point of not knowing how to express her feelings. No one spoke. Jiang Jinhua furrowed her brows slightly. Forget about the house, Xin Yuanyu, and help me figure out how to reply. The young lady is still a young lady, millions, billions, she had heard of it from her father since childhood. Though shocked, there was more joy. This guy definitely deserved her. No, rather she might be worthy of him, and he came to her house for dinner, indicating he didn't mind her family's situation. Su Yuanyuan said, Jinhua, 2 options. Either flirt with him if you're confident, or lay your cards on the table. Lay my cards on the table. I can't do that. I never said I liked him. Jiang Jinhua was startled by the last 2 words. What was happening to her? Just a few hours ago, she thought they weren't even friends. Now she was getting her roommate to help her pursue Tang Luochuan. Stop pretending, or he won't pay you any attention. Su Yuan continued. Then create some opportunities tonight. Invite him out to play. Be a bit proactive. But don't say everything too perfectly, a still watch his response. Jiang Jinyue, oh how specifically. Tomorrow is the weekend, watch a movie, have a meal. It's best to invite some friends along so it doesn't feel awkward. Jiang Jinyue glanced at Zhang Wenxiang and the others beside her, realizing these people did this. She somewhat understood and nodded woodenly. Are you two free tomorrow? Lu Xian and Su Yuanyuan quickly nodded. Yes. Jiang Jinyue glanced at Zhang Wenxiang and the others. The boys, no time. No time. We're not familiar with him. Not even a dog would go. They're all boys, would they go just to watch Tang Luochuan show off? Crush her. She glanced at Chun Hao behind her. I'm full. Jinyue Zhangming Yuanyuan, take your time. Chun Hao and the others immediately stood up, not wanting to stay even a minute longer. Zhang Ming raised his hand. Jiang class made him free. Zhou Qi also raised his hand. Me too. Can I bring my girlfriend? Su Yuanyuan poked Jiang Jinyue. Agree, it's a good opportunity. I also want to get to know Zhang Ming. Let's go out together tomorrow, and it'll create a chance for you two to be alone. Jiang Jinyue looked at Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi, both raising their hands, and glanced at the winking Su Yuanyuan and Lu Xian beside her. A rare blush appeared on her usually cold cheeks, and she steeled herself to nod. All right, let's go together. Meanwhile, Zhou Qi had already recorded the current situation and sent it to Tang Luochuan. Inside the hotel, Tang Luochuan had just returned, preparing to check out home furnishing stores online. Upon seeing Zhou Qi's message, he opened it to find an earlier conversation between Jiang Jinyue and Su Yuanyuan. Tang Luochuan thought for a moment if Jiang Deming and Ma Ying were the kind of arrogant upper-class people, he wouldn't even want to think about it. Unexpectedly, this pair of future in-laws were quite nice. Jiang Jinyue was just too reserved, but it was also quite amusing. Just as he was about to reply to her message, a call came in from an unfamiliar number. Hello, Mr. Tang. I'm the manager of XX Bank. My surname is Zhou. Bank. Tang Luochuan's heart sank. All the money provided by his system was legitimate income. There should be no problem. What's the matter? Mr. Tang, first of all, congratulations. Manager Zhou's voice radiated professional enthusiasm. Our system has detected that your account has had active fund movements recently, with an average daily inflow of 100 million yuan, and the sources are completely compliant. Moreover, there are several large pending transfer projects currently being processed, and your asset level has directly upgraded to our bank's top-tier private banking client. The reason I'm calling you today is purely to bring you benefits. Starting now, you will automatically enjoy the highest level of private butler service privileges at our bank, whether it's high-speed rail, airplanes, airport VIP lounges, or free upgrades at 5-star hotels nationwide. Everything will be arranged for you, with no limit on the number of times throughout the year. Additionally, various high-end gifts, exclusive rights, and customized services will be sent to your home one by one. You just have to enjoy. Tang Luochuan's lips curled slightly as he listened to the series of privileges on the other end of the phone, fully aware. With money, one can indeed enjoy life, wherever they go. He casually replied, got it, thanks for the hard work. I'm at the hotel, I'll give you an address, just send it over. Manager Zhou quickly expressed his surprise, not a problem at all. Serving Mr. Tang is our honor. If you have any needs in the future, just call me, I'm available 247. The two then exchanged contact information. Manager Zhou directly sent a link where he could choose his exclusive gifts for each month. Completely free. The only requirement is that this guy's money is deposited in our bank. Tang Luochuan opened the page and was somewhat surprised. The gifts offered each month were quite generous. Each month the amount is within 600 yuan, but it cannot be cashed out. Only items can be selected. From Chanel Hermes fruit phones to essential commodities like tea, rice, oil, salt, furniture, tissue, and toilet paper. Such tangible gifts are actually the least important. The crucial ones are those exclusive services. For instance, private doctor's membership at major hotels, exclusive concierge services, and if you want concert tickets or limited edition sneakers, there's no need to worry about missing out. The bank will handle it directly. High-speed rail VIP lounges, first-class tickets at half price. Of course, the prerequisite is that it must be first class. The bank is not at a loss in this regard. Moreover, his annual interest rate has been directly raised to 4.5. However, Tang Luochuan was not in the mood to pay attention to these things and casually selected a few small items. 2 mobile phones and 2 luxury necklaces, just right at 600 yuan. Chasing girls. Tang Luochuan muttered a couple of times. He opened his phone and Jiang Jinyue had not sent any more messages. However, Shenmu Yin sent several messages. Shenmu Yin, what have you been busy with today? Shenmu Yin, shall we have dinner together tonight? It's on me. Completely ignoring the matter of chest muscles. Tang Luochuan's sister, are you missing me? As soon as he sent it, he noticed the other party was typing. Clearly this girl had been staring at her phone. Shinmu Yin, I'm not as good as you, don't tease me crying. Can't we just get to know each other properly? Actually, Shinmu Yin quite enjoyed Tang Luochuan teasing her, as she just didn't have the resilience to counter it, and wanted to resist, but had no means. Tang Luochuan, no teasing is fine, but there must be kisses. In the afternoon at 4 o'clock, a day's classes finally ended. Shinmu Yin packed her things and had already arranged to treat a boy to dinner at a restaurant nearby. And she was the one paying. After earning a few thousand during the summer job, she could afford a meal for 200 or 300. She was still wearing the outfit from yesterday, and the black tight pants made Tang Luochuan's heart race. Senior. The colorful Lamborghini was quite eye-catching. Today was Friday. Many students were also heading outside, and at this time everyone wanted to go out and have some fun. After all, there were no classes tomorrow, so they could enjoy a bit of wine and stroll through the night market. Luochuan, here's this for you. Shinmu Yin, showing no signs of being a senior, jogged over and said, Hey, a classmate gave this to me. It's just a piece. Just one, I couldn't bear to eat it. It's pretty tasty. I saved it for you. As she spoke, Shinmu Yan's cheeks turned slightly red. This was her imagined love, where they were not just flirting, but sharing sweet words. Then I'll share half with you. Tang Luochuan opened the chocolate, bit one end, and said, sister. He then leaned forward, bringing the chocolate from his mouth to the girl's lips. Shinmu Yin felt like laughing, not out of happiness, but because she should have seen this coming. This guy never takes things seriously. I am not eating. I saved it for you. Just try a bit. There are too many people. It's just chocolate. I'm not asking you to eat anything else. Tang Luochuan ignored that and directly wrapped his arms around the girl's back, their faces very close. The chocolate in the boy's mouth had already touched the girl's lips, but Shinmu Yin was forcefully retracting her neck and lowering her head. Unexpectedly, after kissing yesterday, this guy was getting bolder. The taste of chocolate melted on her lips, yet she stubbornly kept her mouth shut. No. However, ultimately, she could not withstand the boy's strength. Perhaps it was the rapid rise in temperature that made Shinmu Yin dizzy. She only felt that the chocolate had entered her mouth, accompanied by the softness of the other's tongue. The sweet and rich flavor spread between their lips. Senior. You've eaten more than half. Tang Luochuan held her. I haven't. Shinmu Yin buried her head in his neck, too shy to look anywhere else for fear of meeting someone else's gaze. Senior. Tang Luochuan gently stroked her back. My. The girl's voice was very soft. Can I take you home after dinner tonight? Such an almost naked hint was not lost on Shinmu Yin. Her body stiffened, and her mind was suddenly thrown into chaos by this guy. For a long while there was no sound. Tang Luochuan squinted his eyes, and a smile suddenly appeared on his lips. Although the girl did not speak, she nodded in his embrace. He felt it. Then today I'll enjoy a meal for my sister. Tang Luochuan released the girl, and they were about to leave. The restaurant was closed, just a 5-minute walk. Just as the two turned around, Jiang Jin, you stood dazedly in the crowd. Why was that Tang Luochuan? Su Yuanyuan seemed to see this man with new eyes, so impressive. Lu Xin's cheeks also flushed. If it were me, my legs would have gone weak. Jiang Jin, you turned to the two strategists. What should we do? In Dragon Country, one can marry multiple wives, and she wouldn't mind. But the problem is that Tang Luochuan hasn't acknowledged her. This made her a bit anxious. But the boy's standards were somewhat high, as she just wanted to get to know him first and be friends. Su Yuanyuan said, Yeah, if he wants to feed you chocolate, will you eat it? If you don't, there might not be another chance. Jiang Jin, you only felt her scalp go numb. I don't know. What will happen if I eat it? If you eat his chocolate, then he'll eat you too. Just after she said that, Jiang Jin's phone rang. It was Tang Luochuan. Tang Luochuan, I'm with my senior today. Jiang, classmate, let's talk tomorrow. Are you free? Reply that you're free. Lu Xian hurriedly said. Jiang Jin, you where I'm free. Tang Luochuan, then will you eat chocolate? The chocolate one. Lu Xian. Su Yuanyuan, I think we've been discovered. Jiang Jin, you felt quite wronged. What should I do? This guy is too bad. At this moment, outside the W Hotel on the Bund of the Magic City, the hotel manager approached the front desk and said, Mr. Tang just contacted us. Make arrangements immediately. Prepare the water by 9 o'clock, sprinkle rose petals on the window, and send a couple's fruit platter. At a small restaurant near the entrance of the Magic City University of Transportation, Shinmu Yin held the menu, considering her dining habits, ordering at most 4 dishes and a soup. However, today she decided to splurge, having 5,000 yuan in her pocket, including over 3,000 she saved from her part-time job. Order whatever you want. After confirming that the menu had no dishes she couldn't afford, Shinmu Yin handed it over to the other person. Tang Luochuan also put down his phone, having just received a reply from the hotel that everything was arranged. He'll have the couple's lung slices. Tang Luochuan began ordering without hesitation. The nearby waiter quickly took note. Flirtatious eggplant. Passionate shrimp dumplings. Tumultuous clouds and rain. Inseparable. Harmoniously blended. Wait. Wait, Shinmu Yin snatched the menu back, having only noticed the prices earlier and not the names. She thought this guy was just talking nonsense. But after grabbing the menu, she found those dishes actually existed. You didn't have these dishes before. Shinmu Yin complained a bit, feeling teased while ordering. The waiter explained, there are many young couples near our university town, so we added these dishes to cater to the market. Well, okay then. Shinmu Yin returned the menu to Tang Luo Chuan. You can order. There are still some normal farm-style stir-fried dishes and sweet and sour ribs, right? She gestured for him to order something normal, as those names were too strange. Flirtatious eggplant, passionate shrimp dumplings. Those at least made some sense. But tumultuous clouds and rain. Inseparable. Harmoniously blended. She had no idea what those dishes were. Tang Luo Chuan stroked his chin, starting to search. Shinmu Yin picked up her teacup to drink tea. The waiter, used to such situations, directly pointed at a dish and gave Tang Luo Chuan a knowing look. Upon seeing the name of the dish, Tang Luo Chuan couldn't help but smile, secretly giving the other person a thumbs up, and said, "Let's also have a pillar of heaven." That's it. Puffed. Just as the tea entered her mouth, Shinmu Yin heard the name of the dish and spat it out. Not a single drop missed, landing squarely on Tang Luo Chuan's face. "Senior, that's a bit too much," Tang Luo Chuan said nonchalantly as he pulled out a tissue. "You can deliver it to my mouth, but you can't spray it on my face." Tang Luo Chuan. Shinmu Yin stomped her feet anxiously. "Stop talking." The waiter secretly gave a thumbs up and politely said, "They'll go place the order right away. Please wait a moment." During the wait, Tang Luo Chuan took the opportunity to reply to a message he sent to Jiang Jinyu. This girl is someone he could consider now. At least Jiang Deming and Ma Ying are very sincere, not the kind of people who look down on others. Tang Luo Chuan, are you coming or not? What time are you free tomorrow? I heard there's a drone show at Construction Square until 11 p.m. Are you going? At this moment, Jiang Jinyu was having dinner with her roommates. Su Yuan looked at her enviously and said, "Yue, you eat so elegantly, taking small bites and savoring each one. It's very graceful." Huh, really? Jiang Jinyu didn't think there was anything special about herself. She naturally exuded a goddess-like aura, remaining calm and composed in every move. At the same table, the other two girls were slightly hunched over, appearing casual and relaxed. Only she sat up straight, taking small bites of food. Even the ordinary act of eating seemed to exude elegance and grace. But in the next moment, her phone rang. Jiang Jinyu's goddess-like aura instantly vanished as she hurriedly picked up her phone. "He's nagging me again." After reading the message, Jiang Jinyu pondered for a moment. This isn't bad. He's inviting me to watch the drone show. It's over at Construction Square. You all should join. What's good about that? Su Yuan swallowed her food hard. Did he say what time? 11 p.m. Exactly, he's doing it on purpose. It's already too late to return to school by 11 p.m. He definitely wants to take you to stay outside. He has you under his thumb. Jiang Jinyu frowned slightly. Is that so? Maybe. Tang Luo Chuan doesn't mean it like that. He might just be giving you a treat. Su Yuan thought they were overthinking it. We can just ask him directly. How should we ask? Jiang Jinyu replied. Give it to me. Su Yuan reached out for her phone. It'll help you. Jiang Jinyu, how much candy do you have? Tang Luo Chuan, 1 piece. Jiang Jinyu, all for me. Tang Luo Chuan, half, for each. Jiang Jinyu, break it apart. Tang Luo Chuan, melt it down. Jiang Jinyu, but the school doesn't allow entry after 9 p.m. If we play until 11 p.m., or I definitely won't be able to return. Tang Luo Chuan, the hotel I booked has staff 24 hours. Su Yuan took a deep breath and returned the phone to Jiang Jinyu, her face flushed. I can't handle this, Jinyu. Sister, I'm powerless. Looking at Su Yuan helping her chat, Jiang Jinyu felt dizzy. I just need to be myself. As she spoke, she sent a message. Jiang Jinyu, being upright means not fearing shadows. Let's not miss each other tomorrow at noon. Yes, that's how to say it, just be yourself. Su Yuan also agreed with this message. Tang Luo Chuan, okay, tomorrow I'll see how upright you are. What does that mean? Lu Xian couldn't help it and snatched the phone, sending him a voice message. Go to hell. At this moment, Tang Luo Chuan couldn't stop smiling, having already received several dishes. Shinmu Yin looked at his expression and without thinking already knew who he was chatting with. Jinyu. That the dishes are ready. Tang Luo Chuan hurriedly put away his phone. Let's eat. He picked up his chopsticks, about to grab some food. The girl also picked up her chopsticks, catching his. Is it her? Yes. I. Seeing Tang Luo Chuan flustered for the first time, Shinmu Yin found it quite amusing. The dynamics had shifted between the two. The girl continued. I've noticed for a while now her gaze towards you is different. She mentioned it to me during yesterday's class gathering. What? She wants to get close to you. Shinmu Yin released her chopsticks, her voice suddenly serious. Tang Luo Chuan. I like you too. I know you must have many women, but I am serious. I have never been playing around. Tang Luo Chuan set down his chopsticks, also serious. I will take responsibility. I am not casual either. Moreover, the chaotic matters in some families are basically due to money. You can be assured that there won't be such issues with me. If you're with me, I will be responsible to the end. A meal was quickly finished. The two chatted happily, finally getting into Shun Muyan's rhythm. A sense of sweetness and happiness surged within her, especially at the moment she sat in the Lamborghini. Shin Muyan felt as if she had been suddenly spotlighted. Nearby students stopped in unison, some lifting their phones to take pictures. Some covered their mouths, whispering to their companions. A few girls looked at her with envy, their eyes almost overflowing as they stared at her, then at the car, and back to her. Her vanity soared like it was on a rocket, and she couldn't help but smile, quickly suppressing it to pretend to be calm. She thought to herself, so this is what it's like to be seen in a luxury car. It's too intoxicating. The feeling of being envied was truly delightful. No, I must be composed. I can't be like this. The car belongs to him. He's the one with money. How can I be so vain? Just as she thought this, a hand reached out in front of her holding the latest smartphone. Sister, this is for you. Shin Muyan stared at the phone, her heart racing to her throat, pounding wildly. The little composure she had been maintaining, that bit of dignity that resisted being wrapped in money, shattered into pieces. The car belongs to someone else. But this phone was a gift for her. A phone worth around 10,000 yuan would take her 4 to 5 months of saving without eating or drinking to afford. Even asking her parents would barely suffice. Her father's monthly salary was over 6,000 and her mother's was 5,000. Just enough to buy one. But this guy just gave it to her without any effort. The feeling of getting something for nothing is too exhilarating. The girl secretly thought, her face twisted in a conflicted expression, instinctively declining. Isn't this inappropriate? Actually, when I kiss you, you become my girlfriend. Muyan, I was just teasing you before. Don't take it to heart, just take it. At this moment, Tang Luo Chuan restrained his frivolous demeanor. He knew better now. He couldn't play around anymore. Flirting could enhance feelings, but when it came down to it, he had to be sincere. He understood. By establishing her identity as his girlfriend and presenting the phone alongside the luxury car and his own looks, there was no reason for her to refuse unless she was blind. Shin Muyan didn't dare reach out to take it, yet the boy directly placed the phone on her lap, and surprisingly, she didn't push it away. She looked down at the phone on her legs, reached out to touch it, and softly said, "Thank you. You're welcome. Actually, this was a gift from the bank. I got two. Tomorrow I'll give one to that girl. You both will have the same." "Oh, a bank promotional giveaway." "No, it's for having over 100 million in deposits. You can choose the color. I got both of you starry orange." "Don't be picky," Shin Muyan replied. "Picky? Am I so idle that I'd be picky about this? Is the phone the main point? Didn't he just say over 100 million in deposits?" She felt a tightness in her chest. Previously, she had seen wealthy individuals worth tens of billions, hundreds of billions, or even thousands of billions. But what did that have to do with her? She had never felt any connection. Those numbers seemed so far from her life. But if she found 100 yuan on the street, she could be delighted for a whole day, because that money in her pocket was truly hers. The car started heading towards the hotel. Along the way, the girl held the new phone without unboxing it. Her heart raced as she knew what was about to happen. She was certain she would be handing herself over to him, but she wondered, would it hurt? Following him, Shin Muyan would never take the initiative to show her ID or ask about the bed size or if the hotel view was nice. She wouldn't mention anything about the hotel. Just following the boy was the most agreeable attitude she could have. "Ma'am, please show your ID." Without realizing it, they had arrived at the hotel front desk. Shin Muyan looked up in confusion at the receptionist. "ID, we need to verify your identity." "Oh, let me find it." She hurriedly rummaged through her bag, knowing full well she had brought it when she left. To be frank, she had prepared herself. Handing over her ID, she secretly observed the hotel environment. It finally dawned on her that what she had just done must be what they call checking into a hotel. My goodness, checking into a hotel with a boy. Perhaps being too conservative, just thinking of those two words made her feel embarrassed, yet it was thrilling and nerve-wracking. "I've grown up. I can check into a hotel now." Tang Luo Chuan gently wrapped his arm around her waist, took the ID from the receptionist, and handed it to the girl. "Sister, all set. Let's head up." The elevator doors slowly opened before them, the mirror-like metallic interior reflecting the two figures. She was half cradled in his arms. So this is what it's like to be held by him. Shin Muyan couldn't help but glance at their reflections in the metallic surface. The elevator doors closed, and Tang Luo Chuan pressed the button, the numbers beginning to change. The boy's hand began to slide down. Shin Muyan bit her lip, her heart stealing. "Let him touch. Just give it to him. I'm not afraid. There's nothing to be scared of, right? Just let him touch." Finally, Tang Luo Chuan's hand landed on her pert bottom, giving it a light pat, whispering in her ear, "Call me husband." Shin Muyan gasped at the pat, her voice trembling. She was already a bit dazed. Hearing this, she felt as if she was suffocating, her body heated, and her breathing became labored. Call me sister. Tang Luo Chuan pinched her again as if reminding her. Husband. Husband. Give your husband a kiss. Oh. Shin Mu Yin tiptoed and lightly kissed the cheek that the boy extended towards her. Moi? At this point she had completely melted doing whatever he said. Inside the room at the very moment they entered, the girl felt a wave of intimacy. She was no longer using her brain as the boy pressed her down by the bed. You sit for a bit. There's drinks in the fridge. If you're thirsty, I'll go take a shower. The girl said nothing, just nodded. At this moment, let alone drinking, even moving her legs felt like a struggle. She didn't dare go anywhere. After the shower, is it time for? The sound of the shower running from the bathroom added to the intimacy of the dim light in the room. The girl imagined the scene that awaited. Would he just pounce on me as soon as he comes out? Or would he sit beside me first and kiss me? Or would he strip first? Or, sister, bring me the shampoo. Suddenly a shout came from the bathroom. Huh, what? The shampoo, it's on the table, bring it over. Oh, let me find it. Shin Mu Yin stood up, feeling her legs turn to jelly as she walked to the desk. The bottle of shampoo was right there, and just as she reached for it, Shin Mu Yin noticed a small box nearby. Ultra-thin version. Her heart raced, curiosity mingling with anxiety as she didn't pick up the shampoo. Instead, she picked up the small box, secretly checking the product information. Did he buy this? Is he going to use it later? How many are in here? Shin Mu Yin stood frozen, her brain starting to fill in the blanks. But seconds later a hand reached over and snatched the small box away. Tang Luo Chuan was right behind her. Shin Mu Yin hurriedly turned around and saw that the boy was only wrapped in a towel. Are you washing? I washed yesterday. In front of the girl, Tang Luo Chuan began to open the box, taking out the small package, pulling it apart gently with both hands. That's good. Shin Mu Yin just watched him, observing his series of actions until she saw that transparent little thing and the boy demonstrating how to use it. In the room, the temperature gradually rose. After a long while, Shin Mu Yin lay on the bed, her eyes hazy as if she had been crying. Luo Chuan. How many are in this box? 10. Are we going to use them all? Don't mess around. Please. Just let it be for one more. Huh. All right. The next morning, the two of them slept in late. The hotel delivered a sumptuous breakfast with freshly baked croissants, eggs Benedict, and cold cuts of cheese. There were also juices and coffee. Additionally, there were Su-style noodles and soup dumplings. Tang Luo Chuan was the first to get up, while the girl remained sprawled, revealing her smooth back. Since she didn't bring sleepwear, he thoughtfully tucked the blanket around her. In the living room, he portioned out the food, leaving a separate serving for the girl. Checking the account, a new 100 million had already been received. He immediately transferred 399 million to his mother. His mother, Zhu Xiaomei, clearly received the mobile notification quickly. The phone rang right away. Luo Chuan, what's going on? Where did you get the money? Mom, I was just about to tell you I won the lottery. 5 million, and after tax, I took home 4 million. I kept 1000 for myself. The rest is all for you. Lottery. Zhu Ziyumia's first reaction was to believe it, as there was no other explanation. If her son transferred her 399 yuan, claiming it was from a part-time job, she could understand. But 399 million. For an 18-year-old boy, how could he possibly earn so much in just a few days? Winning the lottery. Oh my. This child. Oh dear. Zhu Xiaomei was clearly shocked by the amount of money, somewhat at a loss for words. After a while, she finally organized her thoughts. You must save the money. You kept 1000 right. Remember not to flaunt your wealth. Her first thought was still about her son, giving him a reminder. Tang Luo Chuan chuckled. Got it, Mom, you keep it. Don't work too hard with Dad. I know. I'll tell Dad in a bit. Where's Dad? He hasn't gotten up yet. Luo Chuan, with this more than 3 million, it's great. Mom will save it for you. When the time comes, we can buy a bigger house. If you want to stay in MO, this will be enough for a down payment. The two of them chatted about the lottery and the 399 million. Zhu Xiaomei then asked, how have you been lately? Can you adapt? I can adapt. My adaptability is strong. That's good. What about studying? Is there pressure? Not at all. Very relaxed. He had been called back directly. How could he not be relaxed playing all day? No doubt about it, my Luo Chuan, my son, is simply outstanding. Instantly grown up. Zhu Xiaomei felt very gratified. The impact of 399 million was not small. But what she was more concerned about was this flesh and blood of her own after all it had fallen from her. Of course, I grew up overnight. Tang Luo Chuan implied something and sneaked a glance at the situation in the bedroom. I also helped my classmates. So good. Definitely, I also helped my classmates grow up. Matured overnight. Stop bragging. You little rascal, don't be so smug. Be down to earth and work hard. How is that bragging? It's true. Yesterday my senior sister kept saying how amazing I am, and really amazing. So amazing that it's unbelievable. Saying this, Tang Luo Chuan was amused. All right, Mom, don't worry, I'm doing just fine. Okay, hearing you say that, I'm relieved. Hey, your dad is up. Oh, I'll hang up now. All right. Tang Luo Chuan smiled bitterly and hung up the phone. His old man always did this, he always slept in on his days off. It wasn't until nearly noon that Shen Muyin finally got up. The breakfast had long gone cold, and the girl dressed up her face pale. Are you okay, Muyin? I'm fine just. Shen Muyin pressed on her waist. My back hurts. Then just stay here for the next couple of days, it'll take you back tomorrow afternoon. No, I. Shen Muyin fell into contradiction. This situation actually felt quite nice. But she couldn't handle it for now. Oh, if this guy came again at night, she felt she wouldn't need to attend classes for the next week. Didn't you arrange to meet Jinyu? Sitting at the table, Shen Muyin. Tang Luo Chuan ordered delivery service, having the hotel send hot meals, right? What do you think? You don't need to worry about this, Jinyu is great. We get along well, he'll handle it. If she accepts you, she should be prepared too. I promised you, don't worry. I will definitely do it. Tang Luo Chuan held the girl's hand. I believe in you. Lunch was only eaten by Shen Muyin, but if she wanted to leave, she truly couldn't. Tang Luo Chuan had arranged to meet Jiang Jinyu for lunch. In the afternoon, you stay here to rest, don't leave. Stay with me for 2 more days, I'll come to pick you up in the afternoon, and we'll go to the night market to see the drones. But, my back really hurts. Shen Muyin felt a bit wronged, hinting to the other party that she couldn't be messed around anymore. Tang Luo Chuan smiled, understood, rest well. I won't mess around. But in his heart, he thought, of course I'll mess around with someone else. The car started. There were quite a few people out to play today. Zhang Ming Zhou Qi, as well as Jiang Jinyu, and 2 roommates. However, Tang Luo Chuan was still driving a Lamborghini. Even those 2 Porsches couldn't fit so many people. Others just suggested they take a taxi. The colorful Lamborghini parked at the entrance. Jiang Jin, you had just arrived with her roommates, and Zhang Ming. Thinking about this guy's nonsense from yesterday, she felt her face flush. Wow, a Lamborghini. Su Yuan's eyes widened. Hey, let's take a look. The front passenger seat is yours, right? As she spoke, she nudged Jiang Jinyu with her elbow. The latter didn't respond. She quickly walked over, and the first thing she said was, where's the senior sister? I have something to say to her. Tang Luo Chuan was stunned for 2 seconds. Perfect, it'll take you to meet her in the afternoon. She has something to say to you too. I understand as she understands. Actually, no need to say much. I just don't know if you understand. What do you mean understand? Do you understand candy and hotel rooms? Tang Luo Chuan faced Jiang Jinyu without any ambiguity. It was all accompanied by a hint of rogue charm. Because she was different from Shen Muyin was a senior sister, but she was a little woman. That rogue charm would make her feel repulsed. Acting like a puppy would be the best choice, evoking the other party's maternal instincts. Whereas Jiang Jinyu was a high-cold leading lady, if he wanted her to not engage, he could only act like a rogue, pretending to be a puppy in front of her. She would only regard you as garbage. Calling her sister. The response would definitely be, get lost, don't disgust me. The aura has to be strong enough to control it in the future. Facing Tang Luo Chuan's shamelessness, Jiang Jin, you did not hesitate, as she had been prepared all night. Of course, I know kissing and sleeping. I'm willing to get close to you, but you also need to show your abilities. His Tang Luo Chuan took a step back. All right, classmate Jiang. Haven't seen you for a night, you've grown a lot. The two got into the car, and Tang Luo Chuan transferred 1,000 yuan each to Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi as a reimbursement for today's travel expenses. Hey, race, a gift for you. Tang Luo Chuan took out his phone from his bag. Jiang Jinyu's expression became tense. Was he going to give her candy? Instead, it was a new model phone. What is this? Jiang Jinyu glanced at it and took out her own phone, as she already had one. Senior Shen has one too. You both have one each. Have you already considered me yours? Isn't that a bit premature? Jiang Jinyu's straightforward nature shone through. Giving the same gift to 2 girls meant that Tang Luo Chuan was already 100 confident. Love it or not, Tang Luo Chuan didn't indulge her, casually tossing the phone in front of him as he started the car. When it came to Jiang Jinyu, neither a car nor money could pique her interest. The girl was unusually calm today. Along the way, Tang Luo Chuan initiated several topics, but the girl only responded coldly. The atmosphere fell into awkwardness. Lunch was on Jiang Jinyu at a restaurant near the construction square. Su Yuan and Zhang Ming were chatting enthusiastically, while Zhou Qi brought his girlfriend. Only Lu Xian, who had established a relationship with Zhang Wenxiang the day before, was unwilling to join the lunch gathering. Mainly because of Tang Luo Chuan, she didn't want to be outshone, preferring to avoid seeing him. Jinyu, why don't you sit at that table? He'll sit over here with Zhang Ming and the others. Su Yuan intentionally created an opportunity for the two, as the restaurant had divided into 2 tables. Tang Luo Chuan and Jiang Jinyu didn't mind. Only the 2 of them were at their table. Tang Luo Chuan, what did my parents say to you yesterday? Jiang Jinyu took the initiative to ask as they sat down. Tang Luo Chuan seemed to have anticipated her question and replied, nothing much, they were quite warm and served food. They talked about some family matters. Oh, what do you think? I think it's fine, Tang Luo Chuan said, having lost his patience with her earlier coldness. She wasn't like Shin Mayan, who could easily raise her emotional value with just a few flirtatious remarks. I just want to get to know you first, though I don't want candy. And I certainly don't want to get involved with you so soon. That's reasonable. Reasonable. Jiang Jinhua put down the menu, frowning slightly. What she anticipated was a defense-probing questions, or at least a bit more emotional fluctuation rather than this. Perfunctory acknowledgement. Jiang Jinhua was eager to know the other person's stance. What about you? What are your thoughts? Tang Luochuan actually pondered seriously. It wasn't impossible for the other party to want to take things slow, but the question was how slow. A week, a month, or even a year. I generally go with the flow. I don't have any specific plans, but I also respect your opinions. Jiang Jinhua observed the expression on his face. It didn't seem like he was joking, which made her feel a bit better. Let's eat first. Okay. As lunch began, half an hour passed, and neither of them knew what to say. Zhou Qi watched the two and quietly asked at his table, "What's going on? Are they not talking over there?" Zhang Ming was chatting happily with Su Yuanyuan. Hearing Zhou Qi, he also looked over. The atmosphere was indeed a bit dull. At this moment, Tang Luochuan genuinely felt a bit regretful. Initially, he thought Jiang Jinhua was cold, assuming her family must be equally unfriendly. However, upon getting to know them, her parents were warm and left a very good impression, leading him to naively think that Jiang Jinhua would gradually warm up as well. She indeed had changed, but it was far from enough. That ingrained self-awareness and clarity couldn't be altered by a few words from others. One had to experience pain and setbacks to truly understand. He was willing to provide emotional value, speaking with a bit of flirtation and coaxing, eagerly waiting for her to respond in kind. Yet every time he threw out a line, he only received her bland, emotionless replies, not even a hint of warmth. He had taken the initiative several times, probing the waters, only to find her as calm as a deep pool, with not a trace of emotional fluctuation. He offered emotional value, but didn't even get an echo in return. No matter how passionate the heart or how skilled the flirter, in the face of such indifference, he slowly lost his motivation. Tang Luochuan felt a gaze and turned to look at Zhang Ming. Zhang Ming blinked and gestured with his mouth for him to find a topic. Tang Luochuan shrugged, indicating, "I've been trying all along. This guy is the ultimate topic master." Tang Luochuan, what do you usually like? Perhaps it was too dull. Jiang Jinhua threw out this question. Tang Luochuan repeated what he had previously shared with Shin Mayan. Regardless of how it went, he listed a bunch of hobbies and interests. Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi gave him a thumbs up, indicating that this move was very smart. Jiang Jinhua remained impassive, chewing slowly before saying, "Quite broad." "What about you?" Tang Luochuan asked. "Equestrian, visiting exhibitions, global travel." Tang Luochuan nodded, waiting for her to continue. That was it. Just those 3 words, like the interests section on a resume. The conversation hit another dead end. Tang Luochuan took a sip of water, his gaze drifting to the next table. Zhang Ming was making Su Yuanyuan laugh so hard she lay on the table. Zhou Qi and his girlfriend were whispering closely together, very intimate. He felt something was off. He was being led by this woman, and he needed to regain control. "Hey, can you stop being so cold? If you want to connect, just talk properly. But I'm just being myself. If you can accept me, you should adapt to me. Then you need to adapt to me too. Adapt to your flirtation." That's not flirting, it's just a subtle expression of affection. Isn't dating all about discussing these issues? What do you mean, these issues? We need to clarify about future life, career, and plans, right? But those things need to be worked out together. The future is uncertain. Don't we gradually discuss things after being together? Besides, your family is so wealthy, and I have money too. We don't need to think too much about these things, right? Is that all you aspire to? I swear. Tang Luochuan was annoyed. This was indeed all he aspired to. He didn't want to start a business or be a boss. To put it bluntly, it was all about making money, talking about ideals. His ideal was to reap without sowing, and even if he wanted to change the world, that would be a gradual process. At least for now, he just wanted to enjoy life. However, Jiang Jinyu's aspirations were too high. After living a wealthy life for 18 years, simple material satisfaction could no longer bring her joy. She was strong-willed, and her man had to be even stronger. At that moment, Tang Luochuan understood that they were not suited for each other. Upon hearing the word swear, the others at the table straightened up and looked over. Did the conversation break down? It's a disaster. Jiang Jinyu's brows furrowed even more. Can you please speak properly? Tang Luochuan was left speechless, looking at the food on his plate, and continued, "We're not suited for each other. Let's finish the meal. You do your thing, and I'll head back to the hotel." Not suited. Jiang Jinhua put down her chopsticks lightly, but her heart jolted. She had already tried hard, but didn't understand why it had come to this. You're not suited. Tang Luochuan took another bite of rice. You find your domineering CEO, and he'll find my sweet senior. We won't interfere with each other. You. Jiang Jinhua took a deep breath, her chest rising and falling, but she ultimately suppressed it. Tang Luochuan, are you really so impatient? I am. Tang Luochuan said sincerely. I invited you for candy, you called me a rogue. I gave you a phone, you said I was controlling you. When I talked about the future, you said I lacked ambition. What's the point of discussing anything with you? Being classmates is fine. We've also interacted, you're right. We need to interact to realize that you're FM 985 and AM 520 and forcing us together produces nothing but static. Yesterday, Tang Luochuan discovered that all his attempts to flirt with her were in vain. A few minutes later, the meal was finished. Tang Luochuan stood up. I'm heading back first, you all enjoy yourselves. Luochuan, how about we stroll around some more? Zhou Qi stood up trying to keep him there. Tang Luochuan shook his head. I'm tired, didn't sleep well last night. This meal is on me, I won't owe anyone any favors. After saying this, he walked to the front desk to settle the bill, without looking back, leaving Jiang Jingyue at the table with a face full of disappointment. Watching the boy leave, the girl could only think, he shouldn't be like this. How could he do this? Why is he like this? Upon stepping out, Tang Luochuan's mood remained unaffected. If something is unsuitable, it simply is. There was no conflict between the two. It was just that in the context of being a couple, they truly had nothing in common. Not to mention whether he had money or not, even if he were broke, he disliked being led around by someone else. Moreover, such a relationship felt too cold and overly rational, which made him uncomfortable. Love requires mutual effort. If one party feels uncomfortable, then there is something wrong with the relationship. In the afternoon, Shin Mayan learned that the two had broken up, and she was somewhat surprised. She thought Jiang Jinyu's looks were comparable to hers, and her family background was decent. They should have been able to converse well, but in reality, it was quite the opposite. How have you been resting? Tang Luochuan gently stroked her forehead while sitting on the edge of the bed. Pretty good. Luochuan, I'll stay tonight, but I have class tomorrow. Shin Mayan initially wanted to leave, but unwilling to part with her first love, she ultimately decided to stay and keep him company. All right, I understand. Can I use one tonight? As he spoke, the boy leaned in and kissed her cheek. Shin Mayan was half-hearted, not saying a word, merely nodding silently. Just after that, Tang Luochuan's phone rang. It was a message from Zhang Ming. He had left, and things weren't stagnant on the other side either. Zhang Ming and Su Yuanyuan seemed to be getting along well, and he sent a text to inform that he and Su Yuanyuan were nearly inseparable. Tang Luochuan, congratulations. Zhang Ming, the atmosphere is even more off now. Jiang Jinyu's surroundings feel frozen. Lao Tang, what a great girl, why don't you give it another try? Tang Luochuan, I can't be a simp. I have already been too much of one today, it was so awkward trying to make conversation. He didn't want to concern himself with that matter any longer. He had more important things to focus on. The system's rewards. He suddenly remembered that the system mentioned there would be extra rewards for handling a girl. But why hadn't he received any notifications? Opening the system panel, he realized that the system had indeed given a notification, but he had been too exhausted from the previous day's activities. After that, they both fell asleep directly. At that moment, he looked at the various special abilities in the system. Tang Luochuan read through them carefully and found that there were 5 he most wanted to exchange. Ultimate AI System, Body Enhancement, Infinite Energy, Extreme Brainpower Calculation, Black Card Privileges. These 5 corresponded to Ultimate AI System, Superior AI Assistance, Body Enhancement, Prolonged Lifespan and Health. Infinite Energy, the control of energy is backed by the state, expanding power and connections. Extreme Brainpower Calculation, enhancing one's learning capabilities, not just limited to school knowledge, but also being able to analyze complex physical objects and instantly determine the optimal choice. Black Card Privileges. This would be even more convenient. Whatever he desired with a phone call, he could spend his money. Others would handle matters for him. At least he wouldn't have to personally oversee buying a house or decorating it. Actually, AI and extreme brainpower would be best paired together. Tang Luochuan looked at these 2 choices, feeling quite hesitant. AI might provide him with a controllable nuclear fusion plan, but he would definitely not understand it. If the 2 could not work in conjunction, then no matter how advanced the technology was, it wouldn't be within his grasp. He felt like a mere tool, unable to take charge, unable to continue optimizing. As for body enhancement, he was still young and healthy. He wasn't at the age of 70 or 80. Energy. It could produce infinite energy. Foreigners would definitely try to take me down. I certainly don't want to be protected like that, as it would mean losing my freedom. Moreover, it would easily expose the system, and then it would be over. Black Card Privileges provide a daily spending limit of 5 million. That amount isn't small, but it's mainly about the privileges. More efficient than banks. But currently I have no use for it. After a moment's hesitation, Tang Luochuan decided to choose Extreme Brainpower Calculation, first to enhance his learning abilities and IQ. Using this as a foundation, he would later deal with other girls, and then select AI assistants. Maximizing advantages. System notification, host selection successful. Extreme Brainpower Calculation has been activated. Effect: neural activity in the brain increased by 500, information processing speed enhanced by 1000, logical analysis ability, memory, spatial imagination, and language comprehension abilities comprehensively strengthened. Learning: any knowledge efficiency increased by over 20 times. Passive effect: photographic memory, ability to infer and cross-disciplinary understanding. Active effect: deep thinking mode. Able to enter an overclock state within a short time, conducting multi-threaded parallel analysis on complex issues to derive the optimal solution. Tang Luochuan only felt a buzz in his head, as if a cool liquid was pouring in from the top of his head, instantly coursing through his entire body. He closed his eyes, feeling this wonderful change. When he opened his eyes again, the world seemed different. He could see the floating dust in the air. He could hear the faint sound of the waiter pushing the food cart, the wheels scraping against the carpet. He could smell the lingering scent of shampoo from Shun Mayan's hair. Even more astonishing was that his brain was automatically processing this information, categorizing, analyzing, and storing it. Luochuan, what's wrong with you? Shun Mayan noticed his unusual state and waved her hand in front of his eyes. Tang Luochuan came back to his senses and held her hand. It's nothing, I just suddenly thought of some things. He looked out the window. The skyline of the magical city was glowing gold under the sunset. However, the change in ability did not mean a change in character. If some tech mogul obtained this ability, they would surely be the first to promote technological advancement. But Tang Luochuan still continued to lie flat and planned his grand operation to pursue girls. Afterward, Tang Luochuan disappeared for 4 days. During these 4 days, he contacted furniture stores and renovation companies. It was originally a well-decorated house, just slightly modified. For now, he had only set up 4 beds, a sofa, a TV, a washing machine, and a refrigerator. Also, there was an esports room that would take another 2 to 3 days to complete. Additionally, many areas were still empty, waiting for future plans. During these days, Shun Mayan rushed to the hotel whenever she had free time. The restrictions for second-year students weren't as strict. Unlike the first year, where they checked on dorms every day. Their relationship quickly heated up, while the news of Jiang Jinyue and Tang Luochuan's breakup spread rapidly. This was not good news for Jiang Jinyue, but for some boys, it was a tremendous blessing. The penalty period was over. Today was Tang Luochuan's first day back at school. A Tank 700 rolled into the campus, which was Tang Luochuan's newly purchased vehicle. Everyone recognized Biye, although this car was slightly less known. He had been here for 9 days, and the expenditure was less than 80 million. Having money is such a hassle, this kid casually remarked as he pushed the car door open and stepped out. In lecture hall 601, Tang Luochuan was the first to arrive. He casually found a corner to sit down, opened his laptop, and didn't feel like studying. But just flipping through the textbook and looking at things, it was hard not to remember. When the acquisition of knowledge became so effortless, and he possessed a distinct advantage far surpassing others, the desire to show off and be ostentatious could not help but emerge from his heart. No, I must keep a low profile, Tang Luochuan thought to himself, yet his body was honest, spending another 10 minutes reviewing the first semester's freshman courses. He had already mastered more than half. Perhaps due to the changes in his brain, the time he spent sleeping had significantly decreased during this period. 4 hours of sleep each day allowed him to remain alert throughout the day. Students gradually arrived in the classroom. Almost everyone who came in unconsciously paused their gaze on Tang Luochuan for a few seconds. This boy, who had vanished for 4 days and was accompanied by the legend of luxury cars, had suddenly returned to school, naturally drawing attention. Will this guy cause any more trouble? Many girls, while looking for seats, intentionally or unintentionally gravitated towards the corner where Tang Luochuan was sitting. Some chose positions diagonally in front of him, stealing glances with their peripheral vision from time to time. Others simply sat directly at the desk next to him, their elbows nearly touching, clearly looking for an opportunity to strike up a conversation. Finally, a girl with a ponytail mustered her courage and shyly said, "Tang, long time no see." "Hey, hello." Tang Luochuan looked up at the girl in front of him with no impression at all. "What are you studying?" "I'm playing games." Tang Luochuan, not wanting to look at any study materials, had only glanced at them casually, his mind clear as day. "So what games do you usually play?" Another stylishly dressed girl leaned over, exuding a strange fragrance that was pungent yet pleasant. Just some card games." "Oh, like what specifically?" "Landlord." "Huh." Several girls surrounded him, trying not to be too obvious, chatting back and forth, until a commotion at the door announced the arrival of a group of people. Jiang Jinyue reluctantly walked into the classroom, surrounded by boys. The news of her unfinished business with Tang Luochuan had spread throughout the department. It wasn't just in their class. Upperclassmen from other classes and even other grades began to fawn over her. Yet the girl still wore that familiar expression. Upon entering the classroom, her eyes immediately found Tang Luochuan, whom she hadn't contacted in days. There was a hint of resentment in her heart, and she was quite unwilling. Glancing at the seating arrangement, she deliberately chose a position that was relatively far from him. The boys felt a bit awkward as well. Jiang Jinwei remained composed sitting down and opening her textbook and laptop. She also unscrewed her water bottle and poured a small cup of water. Her movements were swift yet tinged with a bit of defiance. It was clear to everyone that her mood was not pleasant. Jinwei, would you like to go watch a movie together? Brother Chunhao was fired up again, feeling that Jiang Jinwei held a higher position in his heart, unaffected by Tang Luochuan, the playboy rich second generation. From a wealthy family, a good girl who wasn't materialistic. What a rare opportunity. What movie? Jiang Jinyu's voice slightly rose, her gaze involuntarily glancing back. She wanted to see Tang Luochuan's reaction to her words. Would this guy get jealous? Would he be unhappy? If only Tang Luochuan would apologize right now, she would definitely forgive him. Come over and say sorry to me, Jiang Jinwei thought restlessly. Brother Chunhao's eyes lit up. This was the first time the goddess had looked at him. Let me see, it's called The Pursuit of the Bund Princess. Chunhao blurted out the name, surprised himself as he hadn't even booked tickets yet. It wasn't even a particularly popular movie, it was just a niche romance film. But it was suitable for watching with a girl. Yet the name of the movie was too suggestive. Jiang Jinwei knitted her brows tighter, turning to look at Chun. How are you doing this on purpose? No, it's just called that. Should we change it? Jiang Jinwei sat up straight, as if talking to the air. Let me see if I'm free tonight. We'll talk then. She was hesitant to commit fully, still waiting for Tang Luochuan to apologize or show jealousy. If she agreed outright, everything would be over. Last time she went home, Su Yuan and Lu Xian had scolded her for a long time, saying she was being too proud and lecturing the boys. They wouldn't bother with you anyway. Jiang Jinyu's peripheral vision still caught sight of Tang Luochuan. If he wasn't looking at me, it meant he was deliberately trying to annoy me. If he was stealing glances at me, it meant there was still hope. But what Jiang Jinwei didn't expect was that Tang Luochuan was staring straight at her. Is this little girl showing me attitude? He muttered to himself. As soon as she entered, Jiang Jinyu's gaze met his, then she rolled her eyes at him without saying a word. Just now her series of actions, taking out books, getting her laptop, and opening her water bottle, were all a bit too forceful. Tang Luochuan was genuinely afraid that this girl might suddenly throw her notebook at his head. He wished he had chosen to strengthen his body earlier. Yet he felt no embarrassment at all. If he wanted to look, he would. Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi also arrived at this moment. Both clearly hadn't slept well last night. When they saw Tang Luochuan, they intended to sit down, but found no available seats. They casually found a seat, but didn't expect Tang Luochuan to actually get up and sit next to them. What's wrong? Surrounded by beauties and still unhappy. Zhang Ming teased with a smile. Tang Luochuan replied, come on, they've all doused themselves in perfume. Go smell it, it's pungent. Zhou Qi hooked his arm around his shoulder and whispered, Jiang Jinwei has been secretly cursing you these past 2 days. I heard it. What did she curse me about? She said. Zhou Qi rambled on, and Tang Luochuan's eyes widened in disbelief as he glanced incredulously at Jiang Jinwei not far away. Did this woman curse that harshly? Was this what she said? And Jiang Jinwei also noticed the boy's new position, which was now closer to her. He must be doing this on purpose. Definitely. He wants to talk to me, but is too embarrassed to do so, so he's trying to get closer to me by changing seats. And Zhou Qi must have helped me speak. He must have noticed that my mood was terrible these past 2 days. If Tang Luochuan knew, he would definitely feel sorry for me. And he still says he doesn't care about me. The more Jiang Jinwei thought about it, the more convinced she became. Her heart had already quietly rehearsed an entire scene. However, the habit of wanting to sleep as soon as class begins has not changed, especially since I have already mastered this knowledge. The only moments of clarity come from chatting with Shenmuya. Students who can attend this university are not academically weak. Even Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi are listening attentively. Of course, whether they can understand and how much they comprehend varies from person to person. Yet the attitude towards learning remains earnest, except for Tang Luochuan and Jiang Jinwei. Hearing one sentence, he already knows what the professor will say next, showing complete disinterest and feeling that it is a waste of time. As for Jiang Jinwei, she listens for a while, takes notes, and then sneaks a glance at Tang Luochuan. He's distracted because of me. He must be having a hard time these days, probably thinking about how to ease our relationship later. The girl begins an internal dialogue, but it feels more like a form of self-strategy. No one tells her that if she continues thinking this way, she will fall for this boy. After 3 classes in the morning, the last period is still self-study. Returning to the fixed classroom, the atmosphere becomes even more awkward, because Jiang Jinyu's seat is right in front of Tang Luochuan.